Prologue. Just like the previous volume, this book doesn't come with a prologue, so this is a small snippet from chapter 1. Damn it, where did she go? Search every corner of this place, from the curtains to the drawers in the closet. Make sure you don't overlook the trash cans or the toilet. Her ability to hide herself should not be underestimated. I was woken up from my sleep, but a bunch of angry voices and stomping feet coming from the hallway. Did a criminal escape or something? This has got to be one of the worst ways to be woken up. I even rented a room in a slightly more upscale inn than I usually used, and was planning to enjoy my day off. An escaped fugitive, huh? I have a bad feeling about this. They aren't looking for Dust, are they? If he really got into trouble again, I'm going to blast him into next week. I took up my staff and went to the door, and the sight that awaited me on the other side was beyond anything I could have imagined. In the hallway stood an elderly man sharply dressed in what can only be a butler's outfit along with several maids, all of them diligently searching for something. There were also a few people dressed like soldiers searching a short distance away. What is going on? This might be a slightly more upscale inn, but it's not the kind of high-class establishment that nobles with their entourage of maids and servants would stay a night at. And I don't think I've ever seen these people in town before. Make sure you check the attic and under the carpets too. Knowing her, it wouldn't be impossible for her to hide in such places. Throw away your common sense and search. If you find her, notify me immediately. Don't try to approach her alone. And don't listen to a word she says. She's a prodigy at psychological warfare and acting. Looks like a little too much to catch just a thief. In the first place, I have no idea why butlers and maids would be out looking for thieves anyways. It doesn't seem like they are talking about Dust, and it feels like it'd be best not to get involved. I still feel a little sleepy, so I suppose I can catch a few more hours of rest. The moment I moved to close the door, my eyes met with the elderly butler. He pointed a trembling finger at me. I thought that perhaps there might be someone behind me, but turning around revealed nothing. I faced the butler again, who was in the middle of taking a deep breath. "We've found the princess. Everyone, secure her." With that, all the maids and soldiers turned towards me. Wait, what? Everyone lunged at me at the same time. I tried to close the door, but the maids grabbed my hands before I could and refused to let go. What's the big idea? I didn't do anything. This isn't because of something Dust did, is it? What kind of nonsense are you saying? Princess Leonore, you should learn when to give up. Wait a minute, did you just call me a princess just now? I'm Lynn, an adventurer. Take a closer look. I don't look anything like a princess, right? If I'm being mistaken for a princess, then it should be simple enough to set things straight. The butler and maids leaned in close and stared at my face. I know I was the one who suggested it, but it is still a little embarrassing. Well, you know you've got the wrong person now, right? So hurry up and let me. No matter how I look, you're Princess Leonore. Did you really think you could fool me by just turning your hair brown? Could it be some high-level technique where she's trying to pass herself as someone else by just changing her hair color? Knowing the princess, it wouldn't be unexpected from her. The maids and butler seemed to grow more suspicious of me rather than less. Hey, that's enough. Let's pay a visit to the guild. You'll be able to verify if I'm an adventurer or not in an instant. We won't fall for that. Everyone, please carry the princess to the carriage. Understood. For ignoring my words, the maids wrapped me up in ropes and lifted me onto their shoulders. Carrying me like a piece of luggage, they brought me to a carriage waiting just outside the inn. The interior of the carriage is filled with cushioned seats, and from the opulence on display, I can tell that the person who owned it is someone of great wealth and means. Hey, you've really got the wrong person. I won't get angry, so release me now. Princess, please give it up. Having served you since you were born, there's no way I could mistake you for someone else. Do you think my eyes are just for show? Yeah, they probably are. They wouldn't listen to a word I said, and the carriage set off to places unknown. Just what is going to happen to me now? At times like this, that idiot's grinning face appeared in my mind. It really doesn't sit well with me, but, Dust, come save me. Chapter 1 The Disturbance of That Tomboy Princess Part 1. Right, we have everything we need. I'm done toot. As I gave my gathered luggage one last look over, the young silver-haired girl, Fate 4, raised her hand and cheerfully reported. Ooh, nice work. Good girl. Right, then, let's set off. I gave Fate 4, whose expression was as unchanging as ever, a pat on her head before heading out of the inn. With this, I can set off on a journey at any time. I really want to get out of this town as fast as possible, but I thought I should at least tell my companions about it, so I headed into the Adventurers Guild first. Keith, Taylor, and Lynn were seated at our usual table. I pulled on Fate 4's hand and approached my companions. Sorry, I'll be lying low for a while, so I'll leave the rest to you. Hey wait, what did you do this time? Were you caught peeping? Molesting someone? Running a scam? No, that can't be. It's just business as usual for you, so there's no need for you to run away. Hey, you didn't cross the line, did you? I'll make sure to visit you at least once a year, so take care. Taylor grabbed my arm to prevent me from running away, and Keith said something that sounded sympathetic but were anything but. As for Fate 4, she was happily digging into the large salad that Lynn offered her. Does she understand the situation we are in? I didn't do anything. It's just, for various reasons, it'd be bad for me to be in this town for the next few days. Hey, come on, listen to me. I really don't have the time to be messing around with these two. Damn it, I think Taylor actually tightened his grip, that bastard. Then tell us the reason why you need to be lying low. If you can convince us, I'll let you go. Otherwise, I'm turning you in. There is a reason why I can't go into detail. There's no way for me to explain things to you without revealing my past. Well, we can't make progress like this. Hey Lynn, why don't you say something too? Taylor turned towards Lin as he tried to keep me from escaping. No matter what you say, I'm getting out of this town. Oh, why do you need to get out of Axel? Lin took a close look at my face and smiled for some reason. Normally she'd be calling me an idiot or lecturing me, so what's with her sudden change in attitude? Wait, is it just me, or does she feel different today? She was sipping tea while brushing a hand through her hair. And she hasn't even touched her favorite vegetable sticks. She almost always starts every morning by nibbling on a vegetable stick, so this is really unusual for her. Say, does Lin look more mature today or something? You think so too, huh, Keith? How do I put it? She feels more refined than usual. It seems like the two of them felt something was off too, as they started whispering to each other away from Lin. Is something wrong? It seems like she noticed that all our gazes were squarely focused on her, and she put down her cup before looking our way. Her movements and mannerisms looked just like that of a noble lady at some afternoon tea party. Oh my, Dust, you're looking awfully pale, you know? As she said that, she made an expression like she was trying to hold back her laughter. It's Lin's face staring back at me, but something is off. Looking down, she's dressed in her usual outfit, but the size of her chest has massively increased. Hey, you didn't pad your chest, did you? No, that's not it. As someone who's followed women's SS and chests all this while, I can state for certain that those breasts are natural. Even if she had a growth spurt, there's no way she can grow up so quickly. That means... No, wait, it can't be. The blood drained from my face and I broke out into cold sweat. Why you are? As I was rendered speechless by surprise, she stood up and brought her lips close to my ear. It's been a long time, Rain Shaker. As our gazes slowly met, she let out a laugh like a child who had just succeeded at a prank. It's the very same face that has caused me no end of trouble back when I was still a dumbass knight. Princess Leonore. That name forced its way out of my mouth in a hoarse whisper. I immediately realized my mistake and covered my mouth. But fortunately, it seemed that neither Keith or Taylor heard it. Why did I take so long to notice it? She's a wild and willful princess that is nothing like what you would expect of royalty. She's the best at acting proper in front of others only to pull pranks on them once they had their guard down. When Fate foretold me that she was going to pay this town a visit, I wanted to make myself scarce before I could be dragged into some troublesome matter, but to think that she'd arrive before then. I never would have expected that she would change places with Lin. I already knew that their faces were similar to the point where they could be twins, but to think that they would look this similar when they had the same hairstyle. Normally, it'd be easy to tell the difference by their hair color. Lin had brown hair, while Leonore had blonde hair. But the princess sitting in front of me had brown hair. She probably used that magic item to change the color. It's a trick she often used when she snuck out of the castle to play. There are a few other small differences between the two, but they are so minute that I only picked up because I'm familiar with them both. The first time I saw her, I was completely taken in by her disguise just as Taylor and Keith. Come to think of it, when I first came to this town, I mistook Lin for the princess and approached her, didn't I? So now the situation is reversed. Lin, I have something to discuss with you, so please come over here. What is it, Dust? Please don't answer so sweetly. You look just like Lin, so it's really scary. I moved away from Taylor and Keith and set up in a corner of the guild where few people pass through. What are you planning? You've become quite bold since I last saw you. What erotic things are you planning to do in broad daylight? Kaya. She placed both hands on her cheeks and wriggled around like she was embarrassed. Oh, that's enough, Princess Leonore. Come on, let's enjoy our conversation a little longer. It's been quite some time, after all. She gave me a bewitching smile as she slid her fingers across my chest. A man who's met her for the first time would probably have been completely taken in by that smile, but I've gotten used to it. Sigh. What's a princess like you doing out here? And what did you do with the real Lin? You received the message from 4chan, didn't you? I came here to visit you. And Lin-chan got mistaken for me and was taken away in my place. Seriously. Deadly serious. When I reached this town and escaped, I happened to run into the same inn that Lin was staying at. In the commotion, she was mistaken for me and was respectfully taken away. Sniff. Poor Lin. She wiped at her eyes with her handkerchief, but not a single teardrop was visible. You didn't happen onto this place. You came here on purpose, didn't you? I have no idea what you're talking about. She's playing dumb, but I'm certain that's what she did. She has always been good at coming up with elaborate plans for escaping and tricking people. I'm sure she researched my circumstances thoroughly and already knew of Lin when she entered the inn. She's the kind of person who can do that without batting an eye. You used that magic item to change the color of your hair again, huh? It's a pretty sloppy disguise, but I suppose it's enough to imitate Lin. Back when I was wandering outside the castle, you would have seen through my disguise instantly, but with Lin here, it'd be hard to tell the difference between us. I was surprised too, you know? I heard that we looked similar, but I never expected us to look this much alike. Yeah, even knowing who she really is, I still have to constantly remind myself that it isn't actually Lin standing in front of me. If someone told me that they were actually long-lost twins, I would have believed them. Lin isn't actually a hidden child formed by some dalliance between a member of the royal family and some commoner, is she? Don't worry, that girl has absolutely no relation at all with royalty. I did my research on her. Though, if she was an illegitimate child of my father or something, it'd be interesting to get a hold of her. Thanks. I don't know if I was just that simple to understand, or if she was that sharp. It's probably a mix of both. Well, that's the story, so I'll be living as the adventurer Lin for a while. Please take care of me. Just asking to be sure, but don't I have any right to refuse? Of course not. It'll be fine, I'll make sure to give Lin back to you once I'm bored. Or Rain. No, wait, you're Dust now, right? Dust, do you want to appeal to them directly to get Lin back? They are staying at a noble's mansion in this town. She knows very well that I can't do that. After losing everything in that one incident, there's no way I'll be able to show up before them now with my head lowered. Well, Lin should be safe for the moment. If Lin were to protest that they got the wrong person, I doubt the people in charge of looking after the princess would treat it as anything other than a joke. Even if they managed to figure out her true identity somehow, they wouldn't treat her badly. I understand that very well from my time as a knight. You know, it's really hard for me to call you Dust. Princess, you were the one who asked me to use this name. I raised my voice without realizing in the face of such an unreasonable statement, and hastily brought my hands to my mouth. Several of the people nearby were pointing towards me and whispering. I'm sure he asked for another loan and got rejected again. He just called her princess, didn't he? He's gotten to the point where he's pulling out all the stops. Ah, I don't envy being in Lin's position. I chased them off with a casual wave. Oh yeah, I did come up with that name, didn't I? You could have just ignored what I said and went with your own name. Isn't that what you always did back then? Oh, just leave me alone. That sword of yours is the very same one I gave you back then, right? I'm glad to see that you've been taking good care of it. She said after glancing at the sword hanging from my waist, and gave me a mischievous look. Fufu, I always liked that part of you. Anyway, I'm Lin-chan now, so dispense with the courtesies and act normally around me, okay? I unders. Okay, fine. This feeling that I've just been dragged into an unbelievably troublesome situation. I've almost forgotten what it felt like, but this happened pretty much daily back when I was still a knight. Being dragged around, earning the sympathies of my companions and captain, while getting glares from the important people up top. Those really weren't the kind of days you could look back on and reminisce over. It really was tough. CEI. What are you letting out such a long sigh for? Even though you're happy to see me. I wanted to say something to the princess who started elbowing me in the ribs, but I let out a huge sigh and choked back my reply. Come on, let's get back to our companions. Make sure to back me up so they don't catch on to who I really am. Yes, I'll do that. That's good. It's been quite some time since I met her, but I ended up getting pulled into her pace before I knew it. This kind of willfulness is just business as usual for her. She'll probably be satisfied after 2 or 3 days. Though, just imagining just what kind of load those few days will put on me gave me chills. Part 2, aren't we going to take on a quest today? Princess Leonore remained quiet for a while after we went back to Keith and Taylor, but it seems like that's the limit of her patience. We've made quite a bit of money recently. We have plenty of money right now, so we won't need to accept a quest. Damn it, with her in front of me, all my old habits and speech patterns are springing up again. I need to pay more attention to how I speak. I can pretty much guess at what she's thinking. After assuming the role of an adventurer, I'm sure she wants to do something adventure-like before giving it up. But there's no way I can let her do anything dangerous, so I took the initiative. There's no telling what the bearded butler will say if she ends up getting injured. Dust, weren't you complaining that you are broke? I thought you spent all that money paying for Fate 4's food. Taylor glanced to the side where the young girl was carefully stacking the empty plates into an orderly tower. A smirk appeared on Princess Leonore's face upon seeing that. She definitely just thought about something devious. Then, we have no choice but to take on a quest, right, Dust? She waved me over and whispered into my ear. If you work with me to keep my identity from being revealed, I'll have Fate 4's food expenses be taken care of by the Kingdom of Bridal's treasury. What do you think? Alright, you bastards, let's get to work. I shouldn't say anything, but is that really all it takes? She doesn't understand just how much damage Fate 4's appetite has done to my wallet. I couldn't go out to drink at night anymore, and my debts have increased dramatically. But well, I suppose that's just business as usual. Still, this is the solution for my biggest worry. I can ask for a bit more money and fatten my wallet in the process too. If I can benefit from it too, there's no reason for me to refuse. Well, it's nice to be fired up and all, but there are almost no quests posted on the notice board. The ones remaining are all quests of extremely high difficulty, or ones that look like they'd be really troublesome. Just then, the large-chested receptionist, Luna, happened to pass by, so I called out to her while admiring her wobbling peaks. Can I have a moment? She covered her chest with her arms after noticing my gaze. How naive. When you've gotten to my level, the dents and distortions that take place when you cover your chest out of embarrassment are a reward in itself. What is it this time? Did you commit some kind of crime and made trouble for the cops yet again? Oh, well, I guess it's time to finally take your adventurer's card. I haven't done anything yet. Stop trying to snatch my card away. Don't try and take away my card with such enthusiasm. In the first place, you guys will be troubled if an exceptional adventurer like me were to disappear, right? I suppose so. Why do you sound so reluctant when you say that? Well, never mind that. Why are there so few quests up? Normally, the notice board would be covered in them. Are you guys slacking off? That's not it. We aren't like you, Dust-san. It's simply that most of the adventurers who regained their senses got right back to taking quests all at once. That's why there are so few left. Oh, right, the Serena thing. Serena is a female priest that came to Axel not too long ago. She was turning those idiots from the guild into her followers one after another, and ended up causing quite a crisis. Incidentally, Taylor and Keith were amongst those idiots. Anyway, apparently, she turned out to be a demon king's general and a dark priest. Thanks to Kazuma's actions, her true identity was revealed and she was arrested. After that, the people who were brainwashed by her regained their senses. Anyway, please stop teasing the other adventurers. It was a big headache to clean up after that. Luna put a hand to her forehead and sighed. She must be talking about the huge brawl that we had in the guild the other day. The tavern at the guild had been practically deserted a few days ago, but when the people who were brainwashed came back to their senses, things have quickly gotten as lively as they were before. After getting pretty tipsy, I called out to an adventuring party that I was familiar with. "Oh, hey, it's those adventurers from Serena's posse. What's the matter? Are you sure you don't have to chase after her anymore? Weren't you going on about how she feels like a mother to you? Come on, why don't you tell me again about all the wonderful things that Lady Serena can provide?" I repeatedly tapped against the head of the stony-faced man. He's normally the serious sort, but he blushed bright red after being reminded of what happened back then. "Oh, your face is red. What's the matter? Do you feel lonely without your mom around?" He looked at the ground and trembled. It seems like the memory of being tricked by a Demon King's general is too much that he was rendered speechless. It may have only been for a short time, but there were a lot of adventurers who ended up as Serena's slaves. His companions and the adventurers around us were in the same state, so they could only stand by in silence. This is fun. I should tease him a little more. Sigh, all of you fell for her charms so easily. You should learn to be more like me, who never once fell for a pretty face. Is this what they call a difference in quality? In the first place, who would be tricked so easily by that Demon King's general? She's so fishy she practically smells like the sea. If someone really fell for her charms, it'd be the height of comedy. Oh right, you guys all fell for it. Sorry, my bad, Jaya haha. As I let the alcohol speak for me, the sound of chairs scraping against the ground suddenly echoed around me. Looking around, most of the adventurers in the guild were standing up, including Keith and Taylor. All of them stared at me as they slowly approached. Hey, what are you bastards up to? Don't blow your top because I spoke the truth. Bullying a kind-hearted adventurer like me with such numbers doesn't look good, you know? I'll get down on my knees and apologize, so give me a break, okay? Screw you. X3 None of them listened to a word I said and immediately rushed in. Damn it, if it's going to be like this, I'm going to charge right in and grab a breast or two. Abua. Why are you grabbing my pecs? Why do you have such a misleading chest? If you don't want me to squeeze you dry, then go on a diet. Surround him. Don't let him escape. I ducked, weaved, and counterattacked, and at least 3 people were knocked out by me, but I was unable to stand up against such overwhelming numbers and eventually got beaten black and blue. Thinking back on it, it really is their fault. That level of teasing should be easily laughed off and forgiven. I really didn't do anything wrong back then. Only you can genuinely believe that you aren't at fault. Sigh. She let out a huge sigh, but it really was their fault. Back to the original topic, there aren't any monster extermination quests left up at the moment. We do have a few odd job quests available around town, if you want. Odd jobs, huh? What the princess is after is to feel like a proper adventurer, right? From her demeanor, I can tell that what she really wants to do is to blast away a few monsters with magic. If she was too weak to contribute to combat, I could have just told her it'd be too dangerous for her to come along, but she can actually use magic. Back in the castle, rather than learning stuff like etiquette and history, Princess Leonore much preferred learning magic. And she's actually pretty talented at spellcasting, capable of using multiple types of spells. Within Axel, she'd probably be one of the stronger spellcasters around. Still, if I exposed her to danger and something happened, it'd become an international incident. Odd jobs will be fine, so can you please find me an easy quest or two? Really? Normally, you would say that odd jobs aren't fitting for someone as great as me, and wouldn't even consider it. It's fine this time. If I don't pick up a quest and let her run around on her own, I'll end up with even more trouble on my hands. I know from experience. Part 3, say, why are we working as sales promoters? As we stood in front of the general store that I occasionally frequent, No, Princess Leonore said as she held a sign in her hand. She seems to be pretty disappointed by this unexpected turn of events. This quest is put up by the general goods store owner to sell the stuff that he ordered a large amount of by mistake. He doesn't expect us to sell all of them, but he hopes that he'll get rid of at least 80% of them by the end of today. Experiencing the life of a commoner is important too, isn't it? Keith and Taylor aren't taking part in this quest, so I used my old way of speaking on purpose. It sure is nostalgic hearing you speak like that. You used to be so serious and honest, but now you seem so pitiful. How did your personality become so twisted? It's all because you dragged me around. On the eve of her marriage, I smuggled her out of the country at her request. During the week we spent together, I became influenced by her carefree personality. That incident is definitely why I ended up this way. If I hadn't met Princess Leonore, I would probably still be a dragon knight right now. Do you regret smuggling me out? She looked up at me with a strange expression on her face. Not at all. I was the one who made that decision. And I quite like living my life freely like this. I see. That's good. Oh, and your manner of speech is back. I'll be cautious. Right. I need to take care not to slip up in front of my friends. Hey, handsome, young miss, come take a look. We've plenty of moderately useful goods. Leonore sounded really reluctant earlier, but when it came time to attract customers, she threw herself into it with gusto. She is a princess who frequently sneaks out to mingle with the crowd out in the city, so she's used to interacting with commoners. Hey, Fortune, you have a cute face, so follow after me and say some words to attract customers. Come take a look. That's good, you're going to capture the hearts of all Lalicons. You're going to be shorter than them anyways, so make sure to look up at them with wide puppy dog eyes. That'll surely have them wrapped around your finger. She readily gave advice to Fate4, who was standing next to her. Even back when she was a dragon and used to being around people, the two of them were particularly close. Now they look as close as a pair of sisters. Though I'm not quite sure she's teaching her the right things. Please stop teaching her strange stuff. What are you saying? What's wrong with using the gender your mother gave you and your natural good looks? We're going to sell everything in this store by the end of the day. Seems like Princess Leonore got really into it. She's always been the type to ignore what anyone else says the moment she has her mind set, so it's best to leave her be. Say, Dust, I appreciate her enthusiasm, but did Lin eat something strange before coming here? She seems a little different than normal. The old man that runs the store, who suddenly appeared behind me, asked with his arms crossed. So he picked up on the princess's behavior, huh? As expected of a man who works in the service industry, he seems to pick up on even the slightest change. Let's just whip up an excuse for him. Yeah, she had a little bit to drink, so she's in particularly high spirits right now. I see, that explains. Wait, what? Why did you drink before coming to work? Hey, now, there's no way I can take on such a shabby job while sober. What's wrong with having a glass to boost our spirits before work? What did you say? Are you looking down on my job? Saying that, the old man came swinging at me. As we stood there exchanging blows, most of the goods ended up being sold. The job that I had planned to last the entire day was complete in only a few hours. Princess Leonore's enthusiasm and glib tongue, along with Fate 4's cuteness, seemed to be really effective at attracting customers. Now, what should we do next? We should take on another quest. The princess looked at me with sparkles in her eyes. No, there aren't any left. She leaned back with a satisfied look on her face. Alright, then, in place of a quest, can you show me around town? Understood. Yeah, sure. She shot me a glare, and I hastily corrected my words. I guess we can kill time by sightseeing around town. We could join up with Keith and Taylor, but those guys have spent a lot of time around Lynn. It wouldn't be surprising for them to see through the princess's disguise. Yeah, it'd be safer if we were to keep our distance. Part 4. The store you see there is one of the most favored stores amongst adventurers. Standing in front of the succubus shop, I explained to Princess Leonore, who took a good look at the store before shooting me a doubtful gaze. It looks just like a regular cafe, but I keep feeling that there's something off about it. Is it just me? Oh, she saw right through this store's disguise. Say, it seems like the only customers walking into this store are all men. And why do they keep shrinking away in embarrassment after seeing me? Upon seeing the princess disguised as Lin holding Fairfor's hand, some of the cowards immediately turned red and walked the other way. Well, coming across a woman and a child just as you are bursting with perverse fantasies is bound to make anyone embarrassed. Being the only one suffering in this town doesn't quite sit right with me, so it's only right for me to spread some of that misery around. Who knows? I brought you here because you wanted to see the places I frequently visit. I didn't originally plan on bringing her here, but it's become a habit for me, so before I knew it I was walking towards the store. I can't bring her inside, but showing her the store itself should be fine. Ha! Dust-san and Lin-san. I heard someone call my name, so I turned around to see lowly succubus there. She was wearing her village girl outfit rather than the lingerie she usually wears in the store and had a full basket in her hands, so she's probably on her way back from shopping. Oh, good day. What a cute girl. So she's an acquaintance of you and Lin-chan, huh? Even though it was the first time they met, Leonore readily greeted her, and whispered the rest to me in a voice soft enough to be inaudible to anyone else. Hey, Dust-san. Lowly succubus pulled me aside, away from Princess Leonore. You can't bring Lin-san and Fate 4-chan here. What, are you trying to get in the way of our business? Of course not, it's just a little hiccup. We'll be heading somewhere else soon. Well, that's fine then. So she didn't see through the princess's disguise. Well, she hasn't spent as much time around Lin as we have, so I suppose it's to be expected. Seems like we'll be able to fool almost everyone like this. Right, let's go somewhere else. See ya, Lolisa. Take your work seriously, you hear? I don't want to hear that from you, Dust-san. Lin-san, Fate 4-chan, see you later. Lowly succubus waved at the two of them, who returned the gesture. A short while after leaving the store, Princess Leonore gave me a wide grin. Hey, who was that girl? Come on, tell me. She placed her chin on my shoulder and stared at me at close range. Don't get her involved in this. Her name is Lolisa. She's great at mind-affecting spells, so we occasionally get her to help us out when we are short-handed. There's no need for me to reveal that she's actually a succubus. I feel like there'd be nothing but trouble if she found out about that. Really? Aren't you two actually much closer than that? Hey, come on, be honest with me. 4-chan, do you know anything about Lolisa? When I didn't say anything, the princess switched to a different target. Fate 4 looked between me and her and frowned. I told her with my gaze not to say anything, and Fate 4 nodded and covered her mouth with both hands. Seeing that, Princess Leonore let out a sly smirk. If you tell me, I'll treat you to dinner tonight. She is a succubus, and that store lets you see sweet dreams. Hey. She switched sides the instant she heard a promise of food. Oh, so succubus and humans coexist in this town, I see. So you like those kinds of dreams, huh? Ah no, that's just, a man's instincts. It's a dream, after all, so there's nothing wrong with it. You don't need to make excuses to me. You didn't even try to lay a hand on me back when we were living together. Those words really sting. Please keep this a secret. If the women find out about the succubus shop, it'll cause a riot. It's an open secret amongst male adventurers, but very few women know the truth of that shop. There was an incident not too long ago when a bunch of them came sniffing around, and that was a headache and a half. It doesn't seem to be doing any harm, and I'm not a citizen of this country, so I'm fine with keeping quiet. But, Dust, you owe me a favor for this, okay? Yeah, fine. Owing a favor to the princess is one of the most dangerous things in the world, one that I have plenty of personal experience with. But if I didn't agree to that, things will end up even worse. I have personal experience with that too. So, where are you taking me next? Princess Leonore, walking slightly ahead of me, turned around and let out a soft laugh. This girl is really expressive. Her face looks similar to Lin's on the surface, but I can't see Lin being able to laugh like that. Back when I was a knight, after seeing free-spirited and uninhibited ways of expressing her emotions, I just go to some place you frequently go that serves food. I'm tired of walking around. I want to dig into something delicious, right? Right. She and Fate 4 both seem in agreement. Food, huh? There's nothing you don't like eating, right? Not at all. It's only right for those in power to eat anything that the people prepare for us. I can eat anything too. Yes, I already know. Right, I'll just find us a place to eat, then. I think I'll just go to one of the streets stocked with restaurants and pick a place that doesn't seem too crowded. Part 5, young lady, please come visit our store. I'll give you a discount. Our food is far better than what that store sells. Come visit us now, I'll give you one meal for free. A more elegant shop would be a better fit for a young lady like you, yes? We have a lot of sweets too, so you can enjoy them after your meal. The moment we arrived on the street, several store clerks rushed out and crowded around Fate 4, passionately trying to entice her business. What's going on? Hey, don't push. Despite my protests, they seemed to pay me no heed and continued fighting over Fate 4. Ow, damn it, just what is up with that? She seems to be a great hit. Guess she's just too cute. No, that can't be all of it. Every one of them has bloodshot eyes. Ah, I get it now. News of Fate 4's huge appetite must have spread to every restaurant in town. Someone who eats that much food every day is bound to become a hot topic in the food industry. Looking around, the stores that were selling all-you-can-eat services were in a flurry of activity as they hurried to close down their stores. Come to think of it, the last time I brought Fate 4 to such a restaurant, the owner ended up begging me to please take her home, didn't he? Of course, I didn't leave. Come to think of it, you ate a lot this morning too, didn't you? I'm surprised you can pack away so much food in such a tiny body. The princess knows that Fate 4 is actually a white dragon, but it seems like she yet to understand that the amount of food Fate 4 eats as a dragon is the same as when she looks like a young girl. She eats as much as she does as a dragon. You're lying. You said you were going to pay for Fate 4's food, didn't you? I'll be counting on you. Princess Leonore took out her wallet, weighted it in her hand, and gave me a teary-eyed look. I turned away. Knowing her, she'll definitely sneak out quite a sum of money with her whenever she runs away. She'll most likely be able to afford Fate 4's meal today, but I doubt she'll be able to keep it up for long. Part 6. The store clerk who won the battle for Fate 4 let out a joyous cry of victory, and led us into his restaurant where we were assigned to a large table which quickly became filled with Fate 4's orders. Thanks for the food. Yeah, eat as much as you want. Oh fine, go ahead and eat your fill. Princess Leonore was originally taken aback by how much Fate 4 ate, but it was soon replaced with admiration as she egged her on. Seeing Fate 4 happily dig into her meal, she let out a smile. Seeing her enjoy her meal like that makes me not care about everything else for a bit. Hey, now, don't eat that quickly. You're getting sauce all over your face. I feel like something similar to this happened in the past. Back then, the place, our standings, and even her form was different, but I recall Princess Leonore helping out with feeding Fate 4 every so often. It's kind of nostalgic, isn't it? The princess gave me a somewhat forlorn smile. It seems like she was thinking along those same lines. Yes, I suppose. This isn't good. When the three of us are together, I can't help but look back and remember the past. If it is like this, even if there was a chance of my identity being blown open, I would have rather met up with Taylor and Keith. As I looked around the store to distract myself, I met the gaze of a girl sitting at another table. She was sneakily glancing over with looks of envy. The girl who was sitting alone at a corner table as usual is one of my companions. Is enjoying a meal with someone else really something to be that envious over? Well, I suppose I should call out to her. Being the loner that she is, I doubt that she would be able to notice the difference in Lin's behavior. Yun, you're alone as usual, right? Why don't you come join us? When I called out to her, she took a moment to look around to make sure she really was the one being addressed, and coughed softly before getting to her feet. Well, if you insist, I don't mind eating together with you. If you don't feel like it, you don't need to force yourself. I want to eat together. Please let me sit with you. Yun walked over with tears in her eyes. Then don't put on airs in the first place. What a troublesome girl. Hey now, don't bully her. Does Lin know her? I whispered back to the princess. She's Yun. She's a crimson demon and a loner. Oh, those crimson demons? Princess Leonore sounded somewhat surprised, but her face remained calm. Truly, her skill at acting really is world-class. Lin-san, may I take this seat? Of course, I'll be glad to have you. Thank you. Yun patted down her chest before taking a seat. Food tastes better if eaten with company. Yeah, I totally get you. Eating together with someone makes food taste way better. Why yes, I suppose. Yun enthusiastically nodded and leaned closer, and the princess seemed taken aback by her passionate response. Dust, can I order more food? Just then, Fate 4, having cleaned off everything on the table, turned her gaze towards the menu and tugged on my sleeve. Yeah, go ahead. Lin is treating you, so go ahead and eat till you're full. Okay. Now that it's come to this, you can go ahead and eat till your belly is bursting. A normal person would be despairing at the sight of the mountain of empty plates at the table, but I suppose this is the difference between commoners and royalty. I'll pay for my portion. She still has a long way to go if she can't bring herself to take advantage of such a situation. If I were in her position, I would have happily helped myself to a free meal. Princess Leonore watched the new set of plates laden with food arrive at her table for a while, before seemingly snapping to her senses and snatching up a menu, at which point she started looking between the prices and what remained in her wallet. From the looks of things, she's going to run out of money soon. It's just the three of you here? What happened to Keith-san and Taylor-san? The two of them are on a different quest. We finished our assigned quest early. That's why we are free. Ah, right, we are planning on taking a walk through town after this. If you are free, do you want to join us? Can I? I'd love to. I want to know more about you, Union, and your relationship with Dust. I really wish she'd stop muttering such ominous words under her breath. And don't grin at me like that either. After that, using her eloquence that she practiced as a member of the royal family and her natural charms, the princess practically had Yun tell her everything she could find interesting. Dust-san refused to help me during the chieftain's trial too. Don't you think that's too much? That's horrible. I'll make sure to lecture him later. Thank you, Lin-san. You seem much more reliable today. Make sure you lay into him. The two of them seem to hit it off really well. Princess Leonore seems to be aiming to get more information about me, but that's not going to be that easy. Yun isn't used to talking to others, and she doesn't interact much with me anyways. Even so, she seems more than happy to listen to Yun recount tales about the quests we've taken together and the trip we took to Alkenrisha that I really just want to forget all about already. Come to think of it, there was a time when I mistook Dust-san for the rumored Dragon Knight. It really was a great disservice to the great Dragon Knight. Wait, what about me? Of course not. Having someone as noble as him be associated with someone as lowly as you is a slight to his reputation. Why you? Why did Yun seem to be in such a bad mood? The one who should be angry is me. Oh, a Dragon Knight, huh? You are talking about the one from that story, right? Yes. Didn't I tell you about that before? I don't really remember it too well. Can you repeat it for me? Sure, I don't mind. Yun's cheeks flushed red. It seems like she's happy to be the center of attention for once. I couldn't see this heading anywhere good, so I opened my mouth to interject. See, cut it out. A sharp pain on my foot cut me off. Princess Leonore stomped on my feet with her heels. I glared at her, but she simply gave me a placid smile. Oh, what's the matter, Dust? You shouldn't interfere with a talk between girls. Why you? I really wanted to lodge my complaints, but I know full well that she wouldn't pay any heed to anything I said, so I simply settled with letting out a huge sigh. Well, I heard the story from Alice-chan. In the neighboring country, there was a talented young man who was the youngest to acquire the rare class of Dragon Knight. He's said to be the best in the kingdom with a spear, and was loved by dragons ever since he was born. He is a man of great patience, conscientious and noble, like the very ideal of a knight. Ooh, so he was such a person. He sure sounds wonderful. Don't look at me like that. You're just mocking me now. I know, right? It's really popular amongst young women like us. Oh, if such a person really exists, I'd really want to meet him. Seriously, please stop giving me that smirk while saying such things. Thus, at a young age, the knight was appointed as a personal bodyguard to the princess, being close in age to him, so it was only a matter of time before she fell in love with the knight. However, the princess already had a betrothed, so this love could never be realized. Wow, isn't that forbidden love? She purposefully dabbed at her eyes with her handkerchief. Doesn't seem like she shed even a single tear, however. The young knight learned of the princess's feelings by chance, and, despite knowing that it would result in a huge incident, took her with him on the back of his dragon. A week later, he returned to the castle together and was captured. He only managed to avoid being executed, but his rank as a knight of the realm was stripped from him and his house was destroyed. There were a few parts that were wrong, but the overall idea is there. Still, who in the world is spreading this story in the first place? The only people who know about this incident should be under strict orders by the king not to say a word. What a wonderful story. I want to hear more about it, so why don't we pay a visit to your friend, Vanir-san, after this? Yes, that sounds great. Wait a minute. Let's not trouble Sir Vanir with this. I mean, it's still business hours, after all. Sir Vanir might be busy. Paying a visit to Sir would be bad. He'd be able to tell who Lin really is at a glance, and knowing his personality, he'll definitely tease me over it. Negative emotions from humans are a great treat to devils like him, after all. But the magic item shop is almost always deserted. Well, that might be true. Right. You don't want to go there either, right? You said that Sir Vanir rubs you the wrong way, right? I grabbed Fatefor's shoulder and turned her around, only to see her with her cheeks stuffed full to bursting with food. White dragons have the holy attribute, so they don't get along well with devils. I'm sure she'll agree with me. Glup. I'm fine with going there. Why? You said you felt strange when you went there the last time, didn't you? I gave him one of my hairs, and he gave me a lot of sweets. When did you get paid off? No, wait, when did you pay a visit to him in the first place? I thought I smelled something bad, but when I followed it, he gave me a lot of sweets. I did find it odd that every so often, she'd come back saying that she wasn't hungry, but to think that Sir Vanir was the one feeding her. I need to properly lecture her someday not to be so easily taken in by food. Snacks in return for a strand of hair, huh? Sir must be making money hand over fist. The body parts of white dragons are highly prized as materials. A single hair or nail clipping could go for quite a sum. Thanks to the wasteful spender of a shopkeeper that Sir Vanir is tied to, he's always hard on for money. If he could get a strand of white dragon hair in exchange for a few snacks, he would do it without hesitation. Actually, if I did the same thing, I would probably be able to make a small fortune myself. I placed a hand on Fatefor's head, who was staring longingly at the empty plates on the table. What is it? Don't worry about it, it's nothing. Nah, I wouldn't want her to go bald or anything. I can make a fortune by hitting it big at one of the games without having to do such things. Then, there's no problem, right? I'm curious about this Vanir person too. You've met him before, haven't you? Well, it has been a while. That's because you don't get along with sir. You never visit that store if you can help it. I quickly tried to cover for the princess's misstep. Please don't carelessly say such things. There's Lin's safety to worry about, of course, but the absolute worst thing that could happen is if others found out how similar the two of you looked. The people I know will definitely pry into what exactly her relationship is with me. And if the people in power found out that such a perfect doppelganger of the princess existed, we'll definitely be dragged into trouble. I want to eat sweets, so let's go. Despite just having eaten, Fate 4 seems to already be hungering for more food and eagerly jumped up and headed for the exit. Yunyun left some money on the table before hurriedly chasing after her. Princess Leonore stood up and headed for the exit after her, so I grabbed her by the shoulders to prevent her from leaving. Let go, this is really rude to a princess. She shot me a glare, but I'm long past the point where such tricks would work on me. You're Lin right now, so that doesn't matter. Anyway, make sure you properly pay up. Well, can you go with me to a pawn shop? Seems like she doesn't have enough money to pay for the meal without selling something. Oh fine, I'll cover what you can't pay with the money we earned from the quest. The interest rate is 10%. You've changed but you're still the same in that respect. I have no idea what you're saying. I'm talking about your kindness. I feel like if we keep talking, I'll be swept up into her pace. Turning my eyes away from her, I left the store after Yunyun and Fate 4. Part 7, so this is the store you're talking about. Standing in front of the magic item shop that Sir Vanir works at, Princess Leonore crossed her arms. It seems like her sense of curiosity has been sparked by the information that Fate 4 and Yunyun told her, and she didn't try to suppress her mischievous smile at all. A shop run by a mysterious masked man and a beautiful female shopkeeper. Apparently, they aren't a couple or dating, but there's no way there's nothing going on between two young people of the opposite sex sharing the same roof. Sorry to rain on your parade, but the relationship between those two isn't as sweet as you are imagining. And the young people part is dubious too. Sir Vanir is a greater devil whose age is all but unknown, and while I don't know Wiz's exact age, she's at the point in her life where she's fretting about getting married so she can't be that young. While we stood chatting outside the store, Yunyun and Fate 4 disappeared off somewhere. Have they already gone into the store? Anyway, I should warn you, Sir Vanir is a greater devil who can see through anything, and he enjoys the taste of humans experiencing dark emotions, so be careful around him. Hearing my advice, the princess frowned and fell into deep thought. You mention a devil so easily. Say, just what is up with this town? Succubi run a shop in this town, and here we have a magic store run by a greater devil. Don't you think it's strange? I've gotten used to it. There's even a crazy girl who needs to unleash explosion magic once a day living here, a noble lady who loves getting beaten more than she values 3 square meals a day, and a priest whose running joke is that she's actually a goddess. That's a little too much. I know of a few nobles with strange personalities, but I've never come across such an oddball. And there's no way a priest who proclaims themselves to be a god could exist. Also, explosion magic is the spell that consumes way too much mana to be worth learning, right? The number of people who can use it in the first place is rare, and using it every day would be. Princess Leonore was interrupted by a sudden tremor and the rise of a column of smoke in the distance. What was that? Is it an attack by the Demon King's army? That's one of Axel's local attractions. Guess the power of her explosion is just average today. The self-proclaimed explosion connoisseur, Kazuma, claims he can tell the physical condition of the caster from seeing the explosion in person, and after experiencing it so many times, I'm starting to get a feel for it too. I see. That's why no one is panicking. The princess looked around and let out a wow of admiration. Everyone who lives in this town has gotten used to it, so nobody batted an eye. You're taking this really well. Most people go into a full-on panic upon experiencing that for the first time. I am surprised, but I don't dislike this kind of unexpected behavior. A fun, lively, noisy town like this suits me. She sure took it in her stride. Well, it's a good town to live in once you get used to it. Right? If only the capital back home was as lively as this. You really shouldn't do that. The entire city would be thrown into a panic. I ignored her dreadful statement and strode into the magic item shop, and she followed me in while gazing admiringly at the distant column of smoke. Sir, sorry to bother you. If you are here to bother me, then please leave. You are as cold to your customers as always, sir. Someone who doesn't buy anything cannot be considered a customer. I'm used to receiving this kind of cold treatment from him, so I paid no heed to it. Oh, that was close. I almost tripped over something under my feet. I glanced down, and it turned out to be the charred, white-eyed remains of Wiz. She must have bought something useless again and got punished by Sir. Eep, a corpse. Princess Leonore let out a frightened shriek. Ah, right, this is the owner of this store, Wiz. She is. Now's not the time to be calmly explaining things to me. We need to get a priest here quickly. It's fine. This happens all the time, so there's no need to worry. Happens all the time. But, she's charred black and doesn't seem to be breathing. And I think she looks a little transparent too. Well, I suppose anyone would be surprised upon seeing this sight. She crouched down and carefully poked Wiz with her finger. Oh, you are a lot more lively than usual, guardian of this delinquent. You look a little different than usual. Oh my, what's this? The masked Vanir brought his face close to Princess Leonore, which caused her to lean back. As expected of Sir, he saw through that in an instant. Well, isn't this an interesting situation? Now, then, Miss Lookalike, are you looking to buy something? Miss Lookalike. Yunyun, who was browsing the wares in the shop, seemed to have overheard that. Oh hey, this necklace says it'll make you more popular just by wearing it. Really? Let me see. She immediately bit on the bait I dangled for her, and pushed me aside to get at the necklace. I'm really lucky that she's so easily fooled. That masked man sure is amazing. He saw through me with a single look. The princess leaned close to my ear and excitedly said, causing my eardrums to hurt a little, "Sir, please keep this a secret. It'd be really troublesome if others learnt about this." Rest easy. Moi has a reputation for being tight-lipped in this neighborhood. However, if you were to buy this item, my lips might become even tighter than usual. He held up a mysterious item whose purpose is completely unknown. Okay, I'll buy it, so. Please, I'm counting on you. Thank you for your patronage. Shelling out here hurts, but there's no telling what will happen if I refuse here. Sir Vanir is a man of his word, so I suppose it's a good thing that I can ensure his silence with just a bit of money. By the way, what did you come here for? Oh no, you can come here as often as you like. There's no need to worry about paying me back. If dining here for free weights on your conscience and you must pay me back somehow, a few strands of your hair or nail clippings would do. Okay. Sir Vanir said towards Fate 4, who was seated by the window while enjoying tea and snacks. He probably sees her as a gold mine, though as long as he doesn't request anything too overboard, I suppose it's fine. I don't really have anything in mind. Leo, Lin said she wanted to see this place. Oh, so even you can't raise your head in front of that look-alike princess. If she becomes a regular customer, we stand to make quite a bit of profit. Very well, if you ever find yourself in trouble, you can come to me for help. It's good to have Sir Vanir on my side, but as a greater devil, he has his own quirks or two. Many times, I've ended up losing out after Sir lent his power to me. I'll be counting on you, sir. Leave it to me. And feel free to bring that big eater with you as well. Moi will treat her well. Sure. Seems like who he really wants as a customer is Fate 4. I feel like if I stay here any longer, I'll get dragged into something troublesome, so I suppose it's time for us to leave. Wiz-san, is it true that this necklace will make you more popular just by wearing it? Yun excitedly asked Wiz, who had come back to life while my attention was away. Yes, it's true. It's a lucky item that I just recently bought that will attract others to you if you wear it. I'll buy it. Please tell me how to make use of it. If you wear it around your neck, be it men, women, young, or old, every creature will become attracted to you. Even monsters will. The excited voices of those two could be heard even from the other side of the door. Leaving Yun here will probably be good for the store's business, so I think I'll leave her be. The sun is about to set soon, so let's get back to the guild and have a drink. Sure, that sounds very adventurer-like. Princess Leonore often snuck out of the castle because the disciplined life of a royal just didn't sit well with her. She's always looked up to adventurers who were able to live their lives freely, so such activities will probably satisfy her enough. On my right is Princess Leonore, and on my left is Fate 4. When the three of us are together like this, I can't help but become nostalgic. On the way back to the guild, my thoughts drifted to Lin. Maybe I should have asked Sir to divine how Lin is doing right now. It's a little late now, but I should probably ask Sir about it the next time I pay him a visit. Part 8. Damn it, where did she go? Search every corner of this place, from the curtains to the drawers in the closet. Make sure you don't overlook the trash cans or the toilet. Her ability to hide herself shouldn't be underestimated. I was woken up from my sleep by a bunch of angry voices and stomping feet coming from the hallway. Did a criminal escape or something? This has got to be one of the worst ways to be woken up. I even rented a room in a slightly more upscale room than I usually used, and was planning to enjoy my day off. An escaped fugitive, huh? I have a bad feeling about this. They aren't looking for dust, are they? If he really got into trouble again, I'm going to blast him into next week. I took up my staff and went to the door, and the sight that awaited me on the other side was beyond anything I could have imagined. In the hallway stood an elderly man sharply dressed in what can only be a butler's outfit along with several maids, all of them diligently searching for something. There were also a few people dressed like soldiers searching a short distance away. What is going on? This might be a slightly more upscale inn, but it's not the kind of high-class establishment that nobles with their entourage of maids and servants would stay a night at. And I don't think I've ever seen these people in town before. Make sure you check the attic and under the carpets too. Knowing her, it wouldn't be impossible for her to hide in such places. Throw away your common sense and search. If you find her, notify me immediately. Do not try to approach her alone. And don't listen to a word she says. She's a prodigy at psychological warfare and acting. Looks like a little too much to catch just a thief. In the first place, I have no idea why butlers and maids would be out looking for thieves anyways. It doesn't seem like they are talking about dust, and it feels like it'd be best not to get involved. I still feel a little sleepy, so I suppose I can catch a few more hours of rest. The moment I moved to close the door, my eyes met with the elderly butler. He pointed a trembling finger at me. I thought that perhaps there might be someone behind me, but turning around revealed nothing. I turned back to face the butler, who was in the middle of taking a deep breath. We've found the princess. Everyone, secure her. With that, all the maids and soldiers turned towards me. Wait, what? Everyone lunged at me at the same time. I tried to close the door, but the maids grabbed my hands before I could and refused to let go. What's the big idea? I didn't do anything. This isn't because of something Dust did, is it? What kind of nonsense are you saying? Princess Leonore, you should learn when to give up. Wait a minute, did you just call me a princess just now? I'm Lin, an adventurer. Take a closer look, I don't look anything like one, right? If I'm being mistaken for a princess, then it should be simple enough to set things straight. The butler and maids leaned in close and stared at my face. I know I was the one who suggested it, but it is still a little embarrassing. Well, you know you've got the wrong person now, right? So hurry up and let me. No matter how I look, you're Princess Leonor. Did you really think you could fool me by just turning your hair brown? Could it be some high-level technique where she's trying to pass herself as someone else by just changing her hair color? Knowing the princess, it wouldn't be unexpected from her. The maids and butler seemed to grow more suspicious of me rather than less. Hey, that's enough. Let's pay a visit to the guild. You'll be able to verify if I'm an adventurer or not in an instant. We won't fall for that. Everyone, please carry the princess to the carriage. Understood. X for ignoring my words, the maids wrapped me up in ropes and lifted me onto their shoulders. Carrying me like a piece of luggage, they brought me to a carriage waiting just outside the inn. The interior of the carriage is filled with cushioned seats, and from the opulence on display, I can tell that the person who owns it is someone of great wealth and means. Hey, you've really got the wrong person. I won't get angry, so release me now. Princess, please give it up. Having served you since you were born, there's no way I could mistake you for someone else. Do you think my eyes are just for show? Yeah, they probably are. They wouldn't listen to a word I said, and the carriage set off to places unknown. Just what is going to happen to me now? At times like this, that idiot's grinning face appeared in my mind. It really doesn't sit well with me, but, Dust, come save me. Chapter 2 The Truth About That Escape Part 1. When talking about adventures, you can't forget about nightly celebrations. The way it swishes around my mouth is quite a novel experience. I think I like it. Princess Leonor, still disguised as Lin, let out a satisfied sigh after downing a glass of Neroid. We went back to the guild's tavern after visiting Servanir, and since then we've been drinking and celebrating. Hold back on the alcohol a little. It'd be bad if your true identity gets exposed. Well, Keith and Taylor aren't here, so it's fine now, but, it's fine, you know I'm a heavy drinker, right? I'm very well aware of how big a drinker she is despite being a princess. I honestly couldn't count the number of times she got drunk, started something, and had me dragged into it. And every time that would happen, I'd be dragged in front of the king and the butler and forced to endure another one of their long-winded sermons. Whenever alcohol and the princess are put together, the only things that result from it are bad memories. That's precisely why I'm so worried. By the way, how far have you gone with Lin? Have you already done it? What are you asking all of a sudden? Ugh, how dirty. I couldn't help but do a spit take after hearing such a strange question from Princess Leonor. I think some of the booze went up my windpipe. Judging by your reaction, have you not gone that far yet? Oh, shut up. What does that have to do with anything? Even though you look just like a thug, I suppose some parts of you are still pure. Leave me alone. You have at least kissed her, right? Or held hands. Why are you looking away? Wait, don't tell me, you aren't lovers? It's not a one-sided crush, is it? According to my research, you've been passionately going after her. I wanted to ask her what kind of research that is, but I'm afraid she'll say something like, I used the country's spy agency to keep tabs on you, or something even more terrifying, so I think I'll leave it be. Really, I'm just bad at dealing with her. The more reluctantly I acted, the more she tried to pry about my relationship with Lin. She had a smile that felt like she was genuinely enjoying herself. And stop elbowing me in the ribs. Still, I'm a little relieved. I thought you might end up a homeless wanderer after getting chased out of the country, but it seems like you're living quite a fulfilling life. Thanks to you. That seems like a sarcastic comment, but it seems like you really mean it. I see, even without me, you can live a fun life. Ah. For some reason, she gave me a sullen glare. Why is she getting angry now? I've never been able to follow her thoughts. While I was still locked up in the castle living in a strict environment, Rain was out there living a free and easy life. Sob. Stop making weird noises with your mouth. You're not even crying. She put up an act in front of me, but I've seen enough of her not to be taken in. After her act was seen through in an instant, she gave me a frown. You aren't cute at all. And to think, back then you were so uptight and so easy to tease, but now you wouldn't even give a good reaction. I had a lot of practice thanks to a certain someone. I'm glad to be of help to you, oh ho ho. She brought her hand to her cheek and purposely let out an upper-class laugh. The reason why I was expelled from that country was because I took her on the run. The princess and the dragon knight that ran away with her. That formed the basis of the story that Yun Yun and Iris were so obsessed over. However, the truth isn't something that would capture the imaginations of young maidens. If anything, it'd be best described as the comedy of the stupidly serious dragon knight who was pitifully toyed with and put under the sway of the tomboy princess. Part 2. That's enough. Hearing the commander's voice, I lowered my stance. Around me were several knights collapsed on their knees and backs. Damn it, I couldn't lay a hand on you this time either. Senpai, you are way too strong. A fellow dragon knight and a cadet glared at me as they gasped for breath. One of them was a look of begrudgment, while the other was one of admiration. Look at that, he just won a mock battle against multiple opponents. I suppose the title of prodigy isn't just for show. He doesn't even seem worn out. It's almost unbelievable. The praise of the knights watching this match seemed to be tainted with just a hint of fear. Everyone should learn from Rain and improve themselves. That's all for today's training. So that's it for today. As my companions headed back to the dormitories, I alone turned towards another direction. Princess Leonor, please wake up. The princess, who was said to be drop-dead gorgeous when she kept quiet, was curled up against the white dragon, using its tail as her pillow. Normally, a member of royalty shouldn't even be near the dragon stables, never mind sleeping there, but by now I've gotten used to it. Even the way she scratched her belly and spread her thighs are sights I've become used to by now, so rather than being surprised or disillusioned, I simply thought it was a very Leonor-like way to sleep. 5 more years. Now that I'm asleep, I won't be able to resist even if you attack me, mumble. Don't say such scary things in such a clear voice. I have no intentions of doing that, so hurry up and wake up. Aren't you supposed to be taking lessons right now? Are you aware of your position as a princess? As a member of the royal family, you should be more. Ah, hey, don't crawl under Fate 4. If your clothes get stained again, the one who will be scolded will be me. I grabbed the princess by the leg before she could crawl away. No, rain is going to stain me. You are the one staining yourself. Oh, very well, Fate 4, you can nibble on her. Don't do it on the face or anywhere that's visible, though. Ah, wait, you can't. If my beautiful skin were to be scarred, it'd be a loss to the entire country. No, wait, cut it out, Fortune. Stop. As the princess poked her head out in a panic, I grabbed her and pulled the still resisting princess out from under Fate 4. How could you insult a princess like this? I won't forgive you. She tried to pull on her authority as a princess, but seeing as she's still covered in dirt, it doesn't quite have the same sense of majesty. Yes, in that case, please relieve me from the duty of your servant. That's impossible. There's no one else as fun to tease as you. Plus, there's no other knight who is close in age to me. Sigh. I let out a heavy sigh. After being recognized as the young prodigious dragon knight, I thought my future would be bright and full of promise, but I never expected to be assigned as the personal bodyguard of the capricious, pardon me, the rumored princess. If she kept her mouth shut, she would seem like the ideal princess, but the moment she opened her mouth, she'd say nothing but dissatisfactions about life in the castle. Outside of formal settings, she's selfish, willful, and does whatever she wants. I was completely taken in by her appearance when I saw her during the Dragon Knight inauguration ceremony. I really wanted to go back to when I was over the moon after being chosen to be her personal bodyguard and punch myself in the face. Why are you clenching your fist and shaking it for? Oh, I see, you're regretting not making a move on me when you saw me sleeping, aren't you? Sigh, being too beautiful is such a sin. I ignored the princess who said such things while covered in dirt and instead went to wipe down Fate 4. She closed her eyes contentedly and nuzzled her face against my cheek. Unlike a certain someone, you are a good girl. Hey, aren't you doting on the wrong person? Princess, are you done with your nonsense? I turned back towards the princess as she started stomping on the ground. I'm really mad at you, you know. If you want me to forgive you, then stop calling me princess and call me Leonore instead. Please don't ask for the impossible. Our positions might be different, but I consider you to be an equal. That's why I keep asking you to address me by name when we are alone together. I wish she'd stop asking for the impossible. No matter what, there's no way I would be able to call the princess of the country by name. Plus, if someone heard me address her in such a way, it'd definitely become a major incident. I walked up to the princess who does nothing but trouble me with her willfulness and wordlessly raised my hand. What, are you raising a hand towards your master? Please say something. You look really scary right now. Okay, I get it, I'm sorry, please say something. The princess tightly closed her eyes, and I started patting her on the shoulder. There's no telling what they'll say if I let you go back while covered in dirt like this. I've gotten rid of most of the more noticeable stains, but there is still quite a bit of dirt left. She always flings me around at her whims, so I think a little payback is in order. Knowing that she was tricked, the princess opened her eyes and puffed up her cheeks in anger. However, almost immediately, her face shifted to one of thought, and she let out a sly smile. She's definitely up to no good. You got rid of the dirt for me? Thank you. But, I think this part is still a little dirty. Do you mind cleaning me up there too? She leaned forwards and cupped her chest between her hands, emphasizing the dirt still remaining on her chest. If it was me from before I met her, I would probably be a blushing mess right now. Well, it is a little dirty. Very well. I patted the upper part of her chest without hesitation. Despite being the one who tempted me in the first place, it seemed like she never expected me to actually go through with it, and she stiffened up in surprise. I think it looks much better now. Hey, what's with that tepid reaction after touching a lady's chest? Those things are just fat-filled sacks, aren't they? As a woman, I can't let that slide. I've thought this for a while now, but you are too indifferent around women. Sit down, I'm going to lecture you. Afterwards, she lectured me on how important the chest is to a woman until the sun set. As a result, for not sending the princess back until late in the night, I was severely punished. Though the princess ended up being lectured alongside me, it seems like the others knew that I was only swept up by her, and so they released me early. Though by then it was already late in the night. Even as the king and the knight captain lectured me, they occasionally shot me apologetic looks. It seems like the king assigned me to be the princess's bodyguard in the hopes that my serious personality would rub off some of her excesses. Looking up from the courtyard, I could see lights still flickering in the audience room. It seems like Princess Leonore was still being held there. After angering the king that much, I'm sure she'll learn her lesson. That's probably wishful thinking, but still. The next night, the princess once again appeared before me. She seemed pretty well behaved throughout the day, but when I came to check on the dragons in the stables, she was standing there besides Fate 4. She was lectured for far longer than me, so I have no idea how she could so casually pop into the stables. Didn't the king tell you not to take a single step outside your room tomorrow? It's fine, yesterday's lecture went past midnight, so it's still the same day. What kind of chop logic? If you want to get lectured, then please do it by yourself. Don't you think together as one is a great phrase? No, I do not. As a comrade, I don't mind you calling me by my first name. I do mind, so I won't do that. It doesn't seem like she's reflecting at all. She's always been free-spirited and willful, but she's escaped a lot more often as of late. In the past, having her show up at the dragon stables twice a week was considered an unusual occurrence, but now she's showing up here almost every day. Though, I have an inkling about why she shows up here with such frequency. It must be about that thing she always asks while here. Hey, Isn't it about time you give me a ride on the dragon? No way. I immediately answered before she could fully complete her question. She asked the same question that I anticipated, so I gave her a prepared answer. Why not? Here I thought you've become less blockhead as of late. What the princess said isn't entirely false. In the past, my companions and the captain constantly say that I'm too serious and blockhead. But recently, my captain told me that I've become a little more flexible in my thinking. For better or worse, that's all thanks to Princess Leonore's influence. After being appointed as her personal bodyguard and being toyed with by her unpredictable whims, I had to become more flexible whether I wanted to or not. I've become more personable and easier to talk to, so my reputation amongst the other dragon knights has gone up. I'm thankful for that, at least. I take pride in being a dragon knight. That's why I can't let you ride one for fun. This is an order from your princess, so listen to me. That's impossible. It's quite dangerous in the first place, and outside of an emergency, I can't let you ride one without permission. Can't you make an exception? I'll give you my freshly removed panties. She slipped her hands under her skirt right then. I don't need it. It's dirty, so please put it away. I immediately answered before she could finish. It's probably a joke, but it could end up being a serious matter if I don't nip it off. Even so, I feel that Princess Leonore was much more sensible and restrained than when she was when I first met her. She wouldn't have stopped with just that back then. I suppose we both ended up having an influence on each other. Have you lost your sex drive at such a young age? Oh, you poor thing. Please don't pity me. As a knight, I should always be an example for the citizens, so I keep my desires restrained, with honor. Oh, give it a rest with all that honor stuff already. Serious knights aren't in fashion nowadays, you know? Leave me be. There are a few people who criticize my way of life, saying, why don't you learn to have a little fun, and stuff like that. I really don't see what's bad about being serious, particularly so with the embodiment of everything wrong with living free and easy standing in front of me. Hey, are you thinking of something suspicious? Ha ha ha, of course not. I continued taking care of Fate 4 while averting my gaze. Honestly, having Princess Leonore circle me while staring intently at me is rather distracting. Still, she's a lot more straightforward today. Also, I feel a strange tension in the air compared to how it usually was. She was staring intently at me, but the moment I looked in her direction, she immediately averted her gaze. Just what is she planning? She continued wandering around the stables for a while more, before suddenly coming to a stop. Rain, you know I don't have much time left, right? Unlike earlier, she spoke in a subdued voice. The day after tomorrow, I'll be married off to the partner my parents have picked out. That's only to be expected for women who are born into the royal family. The price for being born into such wealth is duty and freedom. Princess Leonore is rebelling against that by acting as she does, though I feel that more than half of it is because of her personality. But I can't bear to spend the rest of my life with a man that I've only met a couple of times. I want to know what true freedom feels like, not this pretend play. Rain Shaker, please, take me and run. Gripping my hand tightly, the princesses met my eyes with a sincere look. Though she said it as a command, her hands and voice were both trembling. I can't just brush her off this time. If she's being this serious, I should reply in kind. If I let my feelings get the best of me and took the princess away, it'd end up being a huge problem. At the very least, I'll be stripped of my position as a dragon knight, and at worst I'd lose my life. I should refuse. I know that. Princess Leonore, Rain, you know who I really want to be together with, right? Just one day would be enough. I want you to show me a world that I've never seen before. I couldn't tear my eyes away from the princess's tearful gaze. After hearing her say that much, even a blockhead like me can understand what she's trying to say. Actually, no, in truth, I've always had an inkling of it. Both the princess's feelings, and my own. If I reject her, this would end with us having a simple master-servant relationship. There's nothing to agonize over. She's a princess, and I'm but the heir to a poor and declining noble family. I've long known that I'm not a worthy fit for her. That's why, as a vassal of this kingdom, and knight of the princess, I should do my duty. However, wordlessly, I attached the saddle to Fair 4 and got on. Then, I extended a hand to the princess. It's just one day, all right. I reluctantly forced those words out. If it's just for one day, we should be able to barely make it in time for the wedding ceremony. Thank you, Rain, she said excitedly, at the same time grabbing my hand and jumping into the saddle. Then, she wrapped her arms around my waist and tightly gripped me. Turning back, Princess Leonore was giving me a wide smile. Realizing how easily persuaded I was, I couldn't help but sigh. Even though she's always messing with me and giving me impossible tasks, I've been charmed by her carefree smile and kindness. By doing this, not only will I lose my position as a dragon knight, I might even be executed. Even so, if I can make the princess's dream come true, I have no regrets. Wait a minute. We need to take this with us. She let go of me and jumped off Fate 4 to retrieve a backpack she had hidden away in the corner of the stables. Princess, what is that? You need some supplies if you want to run away, right? I took these from the treasury. She opened the bag, and inside was filled with gold and gems. It seems like she's made preparations to run away today, no matter what. She flashed me a hopeful smile, her previous meekness nowhere to be found. They say the early bird gets the worm. Now, let's take to the skies, Fate 4. She placed a hand on her waist, her other hand splayed out towards the sky. I might have been a little too hasty. Perhaps we really should cancel. A knight never renegades on a promise he makes, right? What happened to your honor? Ugh. If you go back on your promise, I might be so heartbroken that I'd shout in a loud voice that Rain broke something important of mine. Please stop saying things that can be easily misunderstood. No, never mind, I can't really back out now. Rain, don't worry. You're worried about being blamed for running away with me, right? Don't worry, I properly left a letter behind. After seeing Princess Leonore's gentle smile, I relaxed. As if I could do that. After knowing her for so long, I can tell that she definitely did something troublesome. May I ask, what exactly did you write? Ahem. In order to find my true love, I'm going on a journey with Rain. Please don't search for me. I definitely did not write this under threat from Rain. So, please don't chase after me or search for me. I don't want to be killed. There's no way that will work. No matter how you look at it, that letter definitely casts suspicions on me. Go back and retrieve the letter right now. The people who are close to the princess would probably understand that I was only swept up into this matter, but for the people who don't know what her personality really is will definitely think I kidnapped her. Sorry, Rain, it's too late. What do you mean? I can't believe I found a letter from the princess here. You're kidding me. She's eloping with Rain-sama? And I heard the scream of one of the maids that were close to the princess. Despite her surprise, she continued reading the letter in a loud and clear voice, almost as if she wants the people around her to hear it. Princess, how much money did you give to her for her to say that? I have no idea what you are talking about. Teehee. She tapped herself on the head and stuck out her tongue, but I didn't have the time to appreciate it. What should I do? Can I still explain things if I turn back now? Damn it, I can't believe that bastard got that far. He always pissed me off. That angry voice was the voice of my self-proclaimed rival, a troublesome fellow dragon knight. Oh my, judging from that voice, I doubt anything you say will get through to him. He might even treat you as a criminal and attack on sight. This girl. She leaned in closer with a wide smile plastered on her face. Was this part of her plans too? But, if you really don't want to, we can stop here. I've had plenty of fun already. I'll tell father it's all an elaborate joke. At the end of the day, he does dote on me, so he'll probably let you go. The princess shrugged and smiled. If you show me such a forlorn smile, what are you doing? We are leaving. I once again grabbed Princess Leonore's hand and pulled her onto Fate 4. Is it really okay? You sure are long-winded today. That isn't like you. Anyway, let's go. Yes. As tears welled up in the princess's eyes and she tightened her grip on my hand, I felt that her face has never shined more brightly. I gently patted Fate 4's neck before gripping the reins. She reared up and went out through the exit of the stables as she did so. I could see several soldiers and fellow dragon knights running over in my direction. Fate 4 spread her wings wide, kicking up a large cloud of dirt as she took to the skies. Rain, it's not yet too late. Don't do anything stupid. Return the princess to us. You're just swept up in her whims again, right? There are some people who seek to stop me, and others who seem to understand what is going on. But there's no way I can call it off now. After all, sitting behind me was the princess frolicking around like an excited child. A white dragon parting the night skies. And on top of that dragon rode a young knight and princess. It looked like a scene straight out of a fairy tale. Wow. This is amazing. Look, the people below look just like ants. Ah, that naggy prime minister is over there, so why don't you use your breath to scare him a little? Just a little bit. Come on, just a singe. Hey, are you listening to me? As she repeatedly patted me on the back and chattered non-stop. Did I mess up? Farewell, my bright future. Hello, the road of hardships in front of me. Reality is a harsh mistress. Part 3. After we've been flying for some time, the princess finally quieted down. We were worried that the other dragon knights might give chase, so we cut all the reins and saddle belts in the stables that we could find. Fortunately, none of them seemed to be coming after us. Incidentally, the one who cut them wasn't me, but the princess. Is there any place you'd like to go? I was focused on getting as far away from the castle as possible, so I didn't consider where exactly we should be headed. Well, she is a girl, so she'll probably want to go to some place with a great view or something. Well, for now, let's get out of this country. It's dark out, so it's still okay for now, but a white dragon really stands out. Above all, it's easy to get caught in this country. Let's get out of this place and head to a village by a large forest or something. Fortune would be able to hide out there. Ah wait, I really want to sell some of the gems I took, so it should be a village of a significant size. Well, that sounds nothing like what a girl her age would come up with. Still, princess, did you have other escape plans prepared if I had refused back then? Of course. I had 5 other plans drawn up. I really don't want to count how many times I've regretted my choice. Even if I hadn't helped her, she would probably be able to find a way to escape on her own. But, getting you on board with the plan had the highest success rate, and would be the most fun. Plus, I had faith that you will help me. I had some complaints, but they died in my throat after hearing those words. Even I thought I was being a little naive, but that still made me happy. I know of a place where Fate 4 can hide herself. There's a town nearby too, so let's head there. I visited that place while I was on a mission before. Then, I'll leave it to you. Alright, no more regrets. It's not like they'll forgive me if I turned back now. By the way, can't you fly faster than this? It's fine to go faster, I'm getting bored of cruising around at this speed. Even a dragon carriage can go faster than this. Guess white dragons and prodigious dragon knights aren't that big of a deal after all. I only kept this speed for her sake, but she's saying such things while wobbling around behind me. If you want to go fast so badly, then let's give you a taste. Fate 4, show me what you can do. Princess, please hold on to my waist. Otherwise, you'll get shaken off. You are exaggerating. It'll be Fate. Fate 4 flapped her wings once before falling into a steep dive, and at the same time, the princess let out a shrill scream. Seems like she's enjoying herself. Wait, where at? You can go a little slower. Sorry, I can't hear you very well. Do you want to go faster? Understood, I'll give it my all. Stop. Princess Leonore seemed to be saying something, but I ignored her and sped up. It's definitely not me pretending not to hear her because of her previous words and actions. As an added service, Fate 4 did a mid-air loop and barrel roll as well, and the princess finally fell silent. With this, we can finally enjoy the rest of the flight in silence. Soon after, we reached a hut built next to a steep mountain, and carefully let a groggy-eyed Princess Leonore down from Fate 4. I think I love the ground. She crouched down and seemed to be muttering something to herself. I planned to call out to the residents, but before I could, the door to the hut flew open. What's the matter? It's so late in the night. Jaya. Old man, why are you screaming in the middle of the night? Have you finally gone senile? I'm not going to take care of Gaia. The elderly couple that came to the door let out a terrified scream after laying eyes on Fate 4. It's a dragon ghost. Please calm down. It's me, Rain, the dragon knight that came here to hunt monsters not too long ago. I put my arms out in a placating gesture in order to calm the elderly couple down. The startled pair glanced between Fate 4 and me before looking at each other. Oh, you are Rain-sama. Ah, the heroic knight that saved me when I was about to be attacked by a monster. It seems like you remember me. Not too long ago, I saved the two of them from a monster while I was passing through the area during a mission. I'm escorting this young lady as part of a top-secret mission. I'm sorry to trouble you, but is it possible for you to find a place for my dragon for a while? We do have a spare spot in the barn right now, so I don't mind. If it's a request from Rain-sama, I'll be happy to comply. That'll be a great help. I'm terribly sorry to ask for more, but even if it is just a corner of a room, could you provide us a place to rest until sunrise? Personally, I don't mind making my way to town right now, but Princess Leonore is probably getting close to the limits of her endurance. Under normal circumstances, she would have taken the initiative to negotiate with them, but the fact that she has remained silent the entire time is a sure sign that she doesn't have much energy left. The elderly couple provided us with a room. I gratefully helped Princess Leonore to the bed before sitting on the floor. It seems like I was more exhausted than I realized. For the moment I let myself relax, my consciousness went out like a light. It sure is refreshing to be able to walk around freely in another country's town. Please avoid doing anything that stands out. I gently warned as I walked beside Princess Leonore. She had changed into a plain dress rather than the royal dress that she usually wears. It seems like one of the maids prepared it for her for use during her escape. Fate 4, along with the large bag of necessities that the princess brought along with her, are currently under the care of that old couple living in the mountains while we paid a visit to the town about an hour's walk away. It's just a small countryside town, but the princess was gawking about like a country villager paying a visit to the big city for the first time. By the way you dyed your hair is as amazing as ever. Fufu, as long as I have this disguise magic item, color changer number 5, it's but a simple task. She produced a metal rod from her pocket. That magic item could instantly change the color of anything it touches, not just her hair, and she frequently uses it for graffiti and other pranks. Incidentally, she thought up that name on her own. Rain, do you want me to dye your hair too? My hair has always been dull, so it's fine. Having bright blonde hair might cause people to suspect you are a noble or royalty, but my hair isn't that bright, so it's fine. Princess, after we've seen the sights, we should head back. No way, after coming out all this way and dressing as a regular citizen, I want to do something more fun. And don't call me princess. If I'm exposed, this entire show will be over. Then, Leonore-sama. Real names are no good either. Though, if you insist, I wouldn't mind you calling me by just my first name. Then, let's come up with some fake names. When I said that, she puffed up her cheeks and sulked. Why does she care so much about me using her first name? Fine then, let me take 200 steps back and think of a fake name. What about Françoise? Where did that name come from? It sounds much more aristocrat-like than your actual name. What about Renee, or something instead? It's kinda meh, but I'll take it. From today onwards, I'm Renee. Got it. Seems like I managed to convince her. Now, then, where should we go in order to satisfy this willful princess? Last time I was here, I came with the knights on official business, so I don't really know any famous local sites or anything. I don't even have any knowledge about any places of entertainment in town. Oh, yeah, now that we have the chance, why don't we try becoming adventurers? Don't joke around, I can't let Renee-sama be exposed to such danger. She glared at me when I almost said her title, and quickly corrected myself. Ugh, fine, I'll leave becoming an adventurer to next time. What do you mean by next time? We are supposed to go back to the Kingdom of Bridal after spending one day outside, and tomorrow, she will be married off to another country. Normally, after such an incident, the marriage would be cancelled, but I'm pretty sure they'll do everything they can to suppress news of what happened from spreading. Then, let's go someplace where we can exchange these gems for money. That means either some jewelry store or a general goods store. I had no reason to object, so we went to the most jewelry store, which also happened to be the most elaborate building on the street, and sold a necklace with the smallest gem on it that we brought. Even though it was the cheapest item we brought, it was still far superior to the items they had on display in the store, and we got a fair bit of money for it. With this, we don't need to worry about travel expenses. I don't really have an eye for jewelry, but is that really something that was safe to sell? Well, they did say something about it being considered just shy of a national treasure, but I'm sure it's fine. It's definitely not fine, but I'll pretend I didn't hear it. After we secured the funds, our next step was to wander the streets along to the princess's whims. She spent the entire day in town, and seemed quite content. Renee-sama, it's about time we should start heading back to the castle. I want to say a little while longer, but it's probably not good to be more willful than this. Okay, let's head back. Oh, she surprisingly agreed without a fight. Seems like she really just wanted to experience a day of freedom. I felt a little ashamed to have suspected her to have some ulterior motive. I do want to have dinner with you one last time. Is that okay? When a girl like her looks up at a man with upturned eyes like that, I doubt there's a single man in the world who can refuse. I let out a small sigh. Of course that will be fine. Let's find a place to eat, then. A last meal together with the princess. Let's just leave all those unnecessary thoughts behind and enjoy our last time together. Part 4. When I opened my eyes, the wood-paneled ceiling greeted me. Did I fall asleep? My memory is fuzzy. Why am I sleeping? If I recall, I had dinner with the princess and accepted a glass of wine from her because it'd be rude to do otherwise. And I don't remember anything else. What time is it? I hastily sat up and pushed open the curtains around the window. The sun was shining right overhead. It's already noon. It's long past the time we needed to set off in order to make it in time for the wedding. If we set off at full speed from here. No, wait, it'd take some time to even get to where Fate 4 is. What should we do? I cradled my head and desperately thought, but no good solutions came to mind. Even if we can't make it in time, we have no choice but to return. Where is Princess Leonore? A look around the room revealed a pile of underwear lying in the corner. And they are all women's garments. I quickly flipped under the blankets to check my body. I was bare from the chest up, but I was still wearing my underwear. No way, no way. That couldn't have happened. I have faith in myself. Even if I became blackout drunk and can't remember anything, I'm not the kind of man who could cross the line so easily like that. Right. There's no way something that cliched happened, right? Come on, stop raising a fuss so early in the morning. We were up late last night, so let me get some more sleep. A voice came from my side. I could confirm who it was by just turning my neck slightly, but my body is too stiff to move even that much. No, I don't want to move. Yesterday was intense, you know? Something extremely soft made bare contact with my arm. My neck made a creaking noise like rusty metal hinges as I forced myself to look to my side, and laying there was Princess Leonore, barely covering herself with her blanket and dressed in absolutely nothing else. I would like to believe the reason she's blushing is because of the alcohol that has yet to work its way out. Princess, well, could you put on some clothes? Oh, isn't it too late to be embarrassed now? And don't you think calling me princess is a little strange after what happened last night? Come on, call me Leonore like you did last night. She whispered in a sultry voice, sending shivers down my spine. Just in case, I'd like to ask, nothing happened last night, right? I put my last hopes into that question, but the princess hid her face behind the blanket and tightly gripped it. This reaction. You are horrible. I won't let you say you don't remember after we spent such a passionate night together. You better take responsibility, darling. The moment I heard that, my spirit could no longer bear the gravity of this situation and immediately let go of my consciousness. When I next opened my eyes, it's gotten a little darker outside. I can't believe the shock caused me to pass out until evening. I fearfully checked next to me, but there wasn't anyone there. The underwear strewn at the corner of the room is gone too. I couldn't remember it, but if I really did such things last night, I have no choice but to take responsibility. As a knight. No, as a man, it's only natural. Wait, now is no time to be concerned about myself. I need to make things clear to the princess and reassure her. I couldn't stay in bed forever, so I stood up and got dressed. As I did so, I noticed a piece of paper lying on the table by the bed. A small bottle with a green label is placed on it in order to keep it from flying away. This handwriting is the princess's. Seems like she's written a letter for me. Good morning, Rain. Now, even if we make it back to the capital, we won't make it in time for the wedding ceremony. Oh yes, you slept soundly last night all the way till morning thanks to the sleeping pills I put in your drink. So, nothing happened so you can relax. This bought me a lot of time, but just in case, I'll be in hiding until noon tomorrow. So don't look for me until the ceremony is confirmed to be cancelled. From your beloved Princess Leonore. I crumpled the letter in my hand. Prai Irin Scene sees. I've been had. I fell for her tricks completely. I ran out to talk to the receptionist, who told me that the princess left in the early afternoon. I'm going to find her and drag her back to bridal even if I have to put a rope around her neck. I've treated her with kids' gloves because she was a princess, but no more. I'll never forgive her. I ran around town until it got dark out searching for information, but I couldn't get any clues on her whereabouts. She probably used that magic item to change the color of her hair while she was on the run. If Princess Leonore really put her mind to escaping, it wouldn't be easy to track her down. She frequently snuck away from the castle, and even after mobilizing tens of soldiers and servants to look for her, it's not unusual for her to remain at large for the entire day. Most of the time, she only got caught when she returned to the castle after getting bored. I can't imagine being able to track someone like that down by myself. Think. There's no way we'd be able to make it in time for the wedding ceremony, but I can't just let her go after messing around with me like that. If I don't get my hands on her and get her to apologize, I don't think I'll be able to sleep well at night. She wasn't at the bar or the casino. It's unlikely that I'd be able to find her using normal methods. Then, if I use abnormal methods. As the plan coalesced in my mind, I ran full pelt towards my destination. Part 5. We are right in the middle of town. What are you thinking? Princess Leonore screamed as she ran all over the place trying to get away. As expected, she's changed her hair color to black. No matter where she runs, there's no way she can escape from my sights. Even if she jumps into an alleyway, I'll easily be able to reacquire her from my vantage point. Stop your useless struggles and give up. If you surrender now, I'll let you off with just a short hogtied trip through the skies. No way. What kind of treatment is that? What happened to you? What happened to the earnest and kind Rain? I'm a little impressed that she can talk that much while running. The earnest Dragon Knight died yesterday. There's no future waiting for me even if I go back to the kingdom now, so my life of being led around by you ends yesterday. Now it's my turn to tie you up and lead you around. I don't think you're supposed to do that literally. I rode on top of Fate 4 in order to pursue the princess from above. If I can't find her walking on the ground, then I just need to do so from the air. With Fate 4's heightened sense of smell, it isn't impossible to sniff out the princess even if she were in the middle of a crowd. The only downside to this method is that the surrounding townsfolk were thrown into panic upon seeing a white dragon fly by. Having a dragon knight from another country do something like this would most likely result in an international incident, but I couldn't care less about it right now. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, so please let me go. Seemingly reaching her limit, Princess Leonore's came to a stop, and I had Fate 4 pull up next to her. If you are willing to go that far, then very well. It looks like you've reflected on your actions, so let's go back to the castle. It's only a slight chance, but if you get down on your knees and apologize, I might consider forgiving you. And make sure you properly tell them that I was dragged into this. I handed the princess a bottle of water as she panted heavily. With this, she should reflect on her actions and perhaps improve her behavior in the future. This marriage will probably be annulled, but it would at least be better for her future. Yes, sorry. She meekly apologized. Yes, it wasn't a mistake for me to harden my heart and go after her like this. I'm really sorry. Before I knew it, Princess Leonore produced a bag from somewhere and threw a fist full of powder at me. Such childish distractions won't. Achoo. I thought she was trying to blind me with sand, but it was actually ground pepper. I only got away with a bit of itching in my nose, but Fate 4, who got a face full of it, covered her nose and started sneezing non-stop. I'll buy you tons of high-grade meat next time. Leaving those words, the princess quickly disappeared down a side alley. I picked up the bottle of water that I dropped and washed the pepper off my face. Well then, I suppose it isn't necessary to forgive her anymore. I muttered under my breath, and Fate 4, her eyes bloodshot, nodded along with me. If she's willing to go this far, she must have done her preparations. Alright, then, let the real game of tag begin. I didn't expect her to continue running for half a day after that. I must apologize for underestimating her. Grrr. In response to my words, Fate 4 gave her long neck a shake. It's quite a feat to escape the clutches of a dragon knight for so long, right, Fate 4? Growling. Fate 4 shook her neck even more vigorously than before in agreement. Eep, please stop. I think I heard something, but it's probably just my imagination. What should we do next? Even if we go back. It's been 3 days since I left the kingdom of Bridal. The wedding is long over by now. After spending the last 3 days being tossed around at the whims of this princess, I feel that something has changed inside me. My doubts regarding my previous way of life have just been swelling. A knight should be self-disciplined in order to be a model for the citizens. Isn't this kind of life only going to result in a loss for me without any form of benefit? Even if others see you as a problem-causing and willful person, the most important thing is if the person in question is enjoying it, right? As I looked at Princess Leonore, my convictions in my previous worldview became more and more frayed. Fate 4, between the serious me and the me who lives freely, which one do you prefer? She tilted her head and stared at me. Is it wrong to desire freedom? In response, Fate 4 aggressively shook her head in denial. Why are you suddenly shaking? I looked down at the rope that connected the dangling princess to Fate 4's neck. I had some reservations about tying a princess up and carrying her away like this, but she has since tried to escape twice, so I had no choice but to pursue the strongest of measures. Princess, if you reflect on your actions, I can pull you up. Humph, I won't be broken by just this level of torture. I suppose I should respect her for having the fortitude to say such things in this situation. Fate 4, why don't you give your neck some exercise? As instructed, the white dragon started waving her neck around in circles. Stop. I'll get nauseous. If this keeps up, I'll start spewing food from my mouth. Don't you think it's wrong to show everyone the scene of a princess vomiting? I'm sorry, I was in the wrong, so please stop. The princess shouted in terror at first, but after a while, it seems like she got used to it and started enjoying the scenery as she spun around in lazy circles. Look over there. There's a large frog jumping around down there. She really did get used to this quite quickly. Sigh. I feel like a fool for thinking seriously about this. Princess, is there any place you want to go? Can I? You are not playing with my expectations, are you? Like giving me hope only to bring me back to the castle in order to get back at me. Well, I wasn't planning on doing that, but now that you mention it. I'm begging you, please don't do that. Father is definitely blowing his top over this incident. There's no telling what he will do if you bring me back to the castle. The princess seems genuinely concerned, but she'll probably be fine. The king really dotes on her. The princess might be the mastermind, but I'll probably end up being forced to take all the blame for this incident. You have my word as a knight, I won't betray you. Well, even if we do get caught, don't worry. I'll make sure to cover for you and take all the blame. Then, I'll be counting on you. I say that, but the world isn't such a kind place. The princess is smart and cunning, but she's quite lacking in worldly knowledge. Though I suppose it's only natural for a princess. She doesn't understand how serious this matter is. Considering how short the road ahead is, it'd be a waste not to enjoy myself to the fullest. Did you say something? The wind is too strong, so I couldn't quite catch that. I didn't intend to say it out loud, but I guess it forced its way out anyway. No, it's nothing. I was just wondering if it became known that the marriage was called off because of this incident, no one would want to marry you and you'd be doomed to a life of a spinster, that's all. You said the one thing you shouldn't say. I'm a little uneasy about that too. If you are not careful, I'll arrest you for disrespect. The princess wriggled her body like she was planning to crawl up onto Fate 4's back. Does she not understand how precarious a situation she's in, hanging from a single rope like that? Normally, I would have given in right here and apologized, but I decided that I would never give in from this day onwards. I'll abandon my honor as a knight right here. My status will probably be revoked when I go back anyways. I should take a leaf from the princess's book and live a little more freely. For starters, how about a little counterattack? I feel like I want to practice with my spear all of a sudden. Ha, ha. I took out my spear and started swinging it around. Hey, wait, stop. It's dangerous. What are you going to do if you hit the rope? If you don't get your act together, I'm going to curse you with being treated like garbage by women and having men fall for you. Why is your curse so filled with malice? We traded such silly barbs with each other as we continued our journey through the skies. Part 6 on the 4th day after we ran away. For some reason, we found ourselves at a glittering building, a casino. Really, why did we come to a casino? If you want to let it all go and enjoy yourself to your fullest, then you have to go to a casino. You did say you want to enjoy yourself to the fullest, right? So you heard me. The princess said that the wind was too loud, but she heard me clearly back then. You're a man, so you must have gambled at least once, haven't you? Well, if it's stuff like buying everyone dinner if we lose in practice matches, I've done it once or twice. No, that doesn't count. Blowing it all in gambling, indulging in drinks, and chasing after beautiful women is what a real man should do. She said passionately, but that's just a no-good grifter. It's so far from who I am that I am having trouble imagining it. It's a way of life that has nothing to do with me. First off, we need to change the way you speak. Such a differential tone doesn't fit with a dirty out-of-the-way casino like this. You need to dress a little more sloppily, drink cheap beer, and speak in a rougher tone. The other customers and the dealer glared at us after hearing what the princess said. Princess, you're too loud. Sorry, she's had a little too much to drink. I repeatedly apologized to the people around me. I hailed a clerk, shoved a pouch of gold into his hand and told him to buy a round for everyone present. You're surprisingly good at handling such situations for someone new to this. I don't want to hear that from you. When you hang around a certain someone long enough, you eventually learn how to safely diffuse such situations. Well, isn't that great? Learning how to deal with others is a valuable skill. Does she get the sarcasm, or not? I can't tell from the smile she had. Anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. We don't really have to. I picked out clothes for you, so we're fine on that front. The unique, thug-like outfit that I'm currently wearing was picked out for me by the princess. It was a bright red jacket worn with the sleeves rolled up. The princess said, having long sleeves rolled up like that makes you look more unsavory. As a knight, it's hard for me to understand such matters, but I do agree that it looks pretty good on me. The princess was also wearing something more plain instead of her royal outfit. It's a simple green one-piece dress without any frills or decorations, but with her body, she looks good no matter what she wears. Dressed like this, the two of us look like a village girl and her slightly thuggish boyfriend. If you don't match your tone to your outfit, it'd be very jarring. Right, now start practicing speaking more like a Yankee. Yet another ridiculous request. So I just need to speak more roughly, huh? Come to think of it, I used to have a senior that bragged about being evil in the past. He had a strange way of speaking whenever he started talking about his old stories, so maybe I can imitate that. Okay, yo. I'll try my best, yo. It's not even close to passing, but I'm sure you'll get used to it after a while. Anyway, let's go play some games. Yes, understood. Princess Leonore pulled me over and pushed me into a seat. This seems to be a card game played around a semi-circular table. I haven't seen you around before. Do you know the rules? I do have some familiarity with card games. Ow. I've played card games before, so I can handle it. The princess elbowed me in the side, and I changed my way of speaking. If I don't pay attention, I quickly slip back into my old habits. What about that pretty girl over there? Is she not playing? Oh my, you sure have a good eye. I'll refrain from charging you a viewing fee, then. I'm just here to be a witness of sorts, so don't mind me. You mean making sure I don't mess up, right? Acting was never my strong suit, but I'll try my best not to disappoint her. Anyway, let's start the match. I've never seriously gambled for money before, but I suppose I can try and enjoy it. But just enough so I don't get hooked. Part 7, Why Can't I Win? Ever since then, I've been on a losing streak. After losing 20 straight games of cards, I changed to a game of roulettes instead, but I still lost 20 straight rounds in a row. Yay! I won again. Beside me, Princess Leonore was in a great mood. Even though she said she wouldn't play. I always thought that things always end up working in her favor, but now I'm thinking that she just has high luck. The reason why I haven't run out of money even after losing so much is because she won it all back. Normally, I should be thanking her, but seeing her constantly win while I couldn't even win a single hand kinda pisses me off a little. Come on, one more match. You know, I don't think you are cut out for gambling. Why don't you take your girl and go home for the day? Shut up, just start the next match. Damn it, even the dealer is taking pity on me. It doesn't matter how much you lose. I will earn it all back for you. Ah, a gigolo. I thought I heard the player next to me say something really rude, but I couldn't care less about him right now. I can't rest easy until I show Princess Leonore, who's looking at me with a cocky smile on her face, my good side. This time I'll definitely win. Come on, red 6, red 6, red 6. I muttered under my breath as I watched the wheel spin. If the ball landed in the spot I placed my bet on, I'll be able to recoup all my losses in one fell swoop. I prayed and put all my hopes in that little ball, and it landed in the spot next to mine. Oh, I won again. Teehee. Grah. Why? Why can't I win? You aren't cheating, are you? I approached the dealer, and he vigorously shook his head as the blood drained from his face. No, no, that's impossible. If we were doing such a trick, we would have let you win a few times to prevent you from getting suspicious. I've been doing this for quite some time now, but you are the first person I've seen who has such a long and unbroken losing streak. If I could control where the ball fell, I wouldn't let it land where your girl has placed her bet. Actually, can you please take your girlfriend home for the day? Please. Oh ho ho. This is the luck, beauty and temperament I was born with. God has blessed me. Commoners should prostrate themselves before me. Naya ha ha ha. The princess let out a high-pitched laughter. I think the alcohol is really starting to get to her. Because of my constant losing, it doesn't seem like the owner is hurting much financially, but I can see how the princess's haughty attitude and constant streak of victories is getting on his nerves. But now is not the time to care about that. I'm not leaving until I win. Hurry up and start the next game. Sigh, it's just not my lucky day. The dealer seemed to be saying something, but I couldn't care less. I'm not going home until I win. On the 5th day. Customer, I'll give you back half of what you spent, so please stop. We came back to the casino. I couldn't win a single game yesterday, so I need to make up for my losses today. Shut up. Hurry up and set up the next game already. You've gotten really good at speaking roughly. You might actually have a talent for acting. Unlike me, Princess Leonore has won every game she played. She was banned from the casino, but forced her way in with the excuse that she's only here to observe. I can't concentrate with you around, so go somewhere else. Honestly, you are getting in my way. Irk. Aren't you getting a little too into character? The princess puffed up her cheeks and glared at me, but I shooed her away and she sullenly left the building. Good, now I can focus on the game. Even though I had no interest in such games before, it's turned out to be mightily interesting. It'll definitely be more fun if I were to sneak a victory. And the match is over. Guess you picked the wrong hand. Not even a single thing went my way. Why are they all turning out like this? Why? You aren't cheating, are you? We aren't. Didn't we have this conversation yesterday? Hey, someone go fetch his guardian here. Isn't she quite troublesome too? Even so, it's still better than dealing with him. They sure are rude to their customers. I'm just acting as a bad guy. I don't actually enjoy gambling that much. I don't, but I'll definitely make back what I lost yesterday. The 6th day. Please stop gambling. All the money I've earned is almost gone by now. Shut up. I'm going to give you an easy life once I win big, so shut up and hand it over already. I snatched away the pouch that Princess Leonore tearfully offered, and opened it to check the contents. It's stuffed to the brim with gold coins. Hey, there should be a lot more than this. Don't you dare hold out on me. If you take any more money, what should we live on tomorrow? We don't even have money to buy bread anymore. What is she supposed to eat? Just have her hunt a giant frog or something. She'll happily eat one raw. Fair 4 can take out a monster of that level in a single blow. The princess tearfully clung onto my waist, and remained clinging on despite my best efforts to shake her off. Man, what a scumbag. Don't neglect your child like that. I feel sorry for his wife. The customers are just shooting their mouths off. Upon hearing that, the princess grinned. Ah, she's enjoying it. If you keep doing this, the owner is going to say, you know what to do if you can't pay, right? Come to my room after taking a shower, and do all kinds of nasty things to me. She screamed like the heroine of a tragedy and cried in an exaggerated fashion. The owner is such a person. So the pervy gazes I occasionally sensed wasn't my imagination. Thanks to the princess, the reputation of the owner of this establishment suddenly took a dive. Knock it off already. I'm going to sue you for obstruction of business. Why do you have to pick my shop of all places to put on this kind of act? And the person in question suddenly appeared next to me and started angrily telling me off. Seriously, what kind of grudge do you have against my shop? The girl won so much money she made the dealer cry, and the guy does nothing but lose money and lodge complaints. Thanks to the two of you, my dealer has holed himself into his room. And now you're pulling this kind of act in front of my store. Weren't you banned yesterday? This whole act was an idea thought up by the princess to get back at them after banning her from the premises yesterday. Though I did get a little too into it. Hey, throw them out of here. A bunch of guys dressed in black surrounded us. Oh, bouncers, huh? Fine, let's get out of here. What are you saying? This is where it gets interesting. Here, you can make do with this, right? As she said that, she tossed a large mop to me. It's quite a bit shorter than the spear I usually use, but it should serve well enough in a fight like this. Still, I don't think picking a fight with ordinary citizens is a commendable course of actions. Hey, you are using your old voice again. You need to show off your thug side. Right, let's start over again from that last scene. Ahem. How dare you weaklings bare your fangs against me? Don't start over. Go home. The men in black lunged at me all at once. I tried to intercept them, but I just couldn't bring myself to seriously attack common citizens, so instead I scooped up the princess and ran away. Part 8. After finally shaking them, I set the princess down at a nearby park. My whole body is covered in aches after I had to shield her from blows. Though, thanks to my daily training, there doesn't seem to be any major injuries. The princess crouched down and shivered. Was she injured? Are you all right, princess? Ha, that was amazing. Causing a riot at a casino is just like that scene in the novel I read a while ago. Yeah, this is how it should be. There wasn't any need for me to worry. She seemed to be having the time of her life despite our situation. I don't think I'll ever be able to imitate her, but I'm just a little envious. Rain, you're having fun too, right? I mean, you are still smiling. The princess produced a hand mirror and held it up to my face. My reflection seemed a little troubled, but the smile at the corners of my mouth is unmistakable. I've thought this for a while, but I think you restrain yourself too much, Rain. You only have one life, so it'd be a shame not to live it to your fullest, right? Take a page out of my book and smile. That is an order from your princess. She placed a finger on the corners of my mouth and forcibly pushed a smile on my face. I feel like nothing good will come out of me taking a page from her book, but if it's an order from the princess, I suppose I have no choice. Understow. Gotcha. I'm going to act like a delinquent with all my might. Hee, I'll look forward to it. So, what are we doing next? I've said it before, but I want to become an adventurer. Adventures are the epitome of freedom. Now is the only chance for me to become the protagonist of a thrilling adventure novel. She crossed her arms and passionately declared. I refused back then because I was concerned for the princess's safety, but if I put my mind to it, I think I'll be able to keep her safe for an adventure or two. And, honestly, I want to try being an adventurer too. I've worked with adventurers several times while on a mission to exterminate monsters, and most of them seem to be the embodiment of freedom itself, like the princess said. There are some knights that are critical of what they call lack of discipline, but personally, I don't mind. If anything, I'm actually a little jealous. Alright, let's head to the Adventurers Guild, then. Really? Yes. I love you, Rain. The princess said in a sultry voice and gave me a wink. Yes, thank you. Even though it's a joke, I'm still happy to hear it. Oh, you are happy. It's not a joke, though. Did you say something? Nope. Come on, let's get to the Adventurers Guild. Her cheeks were puffed up in anger and she seemed to be in a bad mood. And she was over the moon just a short while ago. I really can't get a handle on how quickly her mood changes. She grabbed me by the arm and started pulling me with her. I had no reason to resist, so I simply followed her lead. Oh, so they really have a tavern in the Adventurers Guild. The moment we entered the guild, the princess gawked all around, not even attempting to hide her curiosity. Well, I'm the same way, so I can't judge. There were several waitresses and clerks hard at work, along with several adventurers who were busy getting drunk despite the sun being still out. I can kinda understand why the princess looks up to that kind of freedom. So this is what it looks like inside. Wait, princess, didn't you visit the guild at the capital during the times you snuck out of the castle? I tried to visit several times, but father has a really close relationship with the guild staff there, so there's always a quest to bring me in posted up there. So, if I went there to play, I'll definitely be caught. That's why every so often she'd be brought back to the castle by adventurers. Thinking about it, apprehending the princess is a quest with little risk and a huge payday, so it'd be very attractive to any adventurer. But wait, if we become adventurers, won't they need to investigate our identities? You don't need to worry about that. An adventurer's card can serve as an identity card. And you can use a fake name for it too. Oh, and your old tone is back. Right, sorry. I need to pay attention to that in the future. I walked up to the counter and hailed the female clerk that was manning the desk. Pardon. Hey, I want to be an adventurer. What should we do? If you would like to register, there's a fee involved. Oh, right, sure. There's enough for both her and me. I handed over a few coins. Yes, that's just enough. Now then, I'll briefly explain what being an adventurer is about. I already knew about what an adventurer does, so I didn't really pay close attention, but the princess seemed almost fascinated by her brief explanation. That's the short of it. Now, can you please fill up this form? Height, weight, age, and your other physical characteristics. She handed a form over to the both of us. I just had my weight and height measured by the order, so I can just use those figures. My physical features are a little trickier. It'd be blonde hair and blue eyes, but those are common traits shared by the nobility. There are former nobles that end up as adventurers, but those traits are still pretty rare. If it's just blonde hair, it'd be fine, but with blue eyes as well, it'd draw unwanted attention. I wouldn't be surprised if the guild is on the lookout for a runaway princess and her knight bodyguard. Right, blonde hair and red eyes. See, you were right to listen to me. The princess had a triumphant smile. Right now, I'm wearing a set of red contact lenses. It's one of the disguise tools that I borrowed from the princess. Apparently, it's also a kind of magic item. The main issue is the name. I don't think it's likely that my name will be known by the guild, but since the princess is going by the fake name of Renee, I should go by a fake name too. Are you thinking of a name? Then, let me think up a name for you this time. How about Dust? You are always going on about pride, so that'd be a good fit. I feel like you've got the meaning mixed up in there. Your naming sense is as bad as ever, but it's only a temporary name, so I'll go with that. I wrote down Dust as my name. Right, there's no issue with the paperwork. Renee-san and Dust-san, right? Now, can you please touch this card? She presented a card to me. Apparently, once this card is linked to you, it'll automatically record any monsters that you defeated. It's a type of magic item too, though I wonder how it's made. I can go first, right? I've always wanted to do this. After rolling up her sleeves, the princess touched the card. Thank you very much. Renee-san, yes? Your strength, constitution, and dexterity are all well above average. Oh, and your magic and intelligence stats are also very high. Wow, your luck is extremely high too. You are quite exceptional. The princess swelled with pride after having a large heaping of praise showered on her. And she also kept glancing at me. It's somewhat infuriating. The royal family often consumes stat-increasing potions and experience-packed ingredients, which is why royalty and rich nobles have exceptional combat abilities even though they never once stepped on the battlefield. On top of that, the blood of royalty is heavily intertwined with the blood of heroes, so they have high stats from the moment they are born. Bright blonde hair and blue eyes are said to be proof of such. You can take any class, but you're most suited for using magic. With stats like yours, you can even take on the advanced archmage class. The clerk said with sparkling eyes. It seems like the princess really is a rare specimen. I think I'll go with archmage. Ah, I'm really troubled. To think I would have such talents together with being beautiful. She boasted specifically so the people around us could hear her too. And it's having the desired effect. The guild staff and adventurers started gathering around and talking amongst themselves. Her personality aside, her stats are really high. Do you want to invite her? We have been hurting for a spellcaster. Seems like several adventuring parties have already set their eyes on her. I really want to avoid doing anything conspicuous. But, well, are you jealous? Hey, are you jealous? Sorry, with my talents and my beauty, I can't help but draw attention everywhere I go. As Princess Leonore spun circles around me, yeah, on second thought, it's not a good idea to make decisions based on looks and ability. I think I'll pass. I'm with you on that. Several of the adventuring parties changed their minds. Now then, Dust-san, please. I touched the card that was placed in front of me. Upon seeing it, the receptionist's face changed to one of shock and disbelief. I don't think I've seen a stat spread this high before. Your luck is the lowest I've seen, but apart from that, it's all top-class material. I'm glad to hear such praises, but as expected, my luck is really low. The fact that I ended up in this place after getting dragged around by the princess is proof enough of that. With stats like that, you're perfect for a frontline class. Wait, you already have a class? AA Dragon Knight. Everyone's gazes focused squarely on me. Ah. Shit. Now that I think about it, I recall touching something similar back when I first joined the Knights and became ordained as a Dragon Knight. Actually, there was someone who was dressed very similarly to the clerk standing in front of me right now. So they got my information then? Aren't Dragon Knights a super rare class? Is he for real? This is the first time I've seen one in person. The neighboring country has quite a few of them under their service, right? He's hot and a Dragon Knight too? Maybe I should take this chance to recruit him. The crowd around us suddenly burst into uproar. This isn't good. Princess Leonore is already causing quite a stir by herself, but if a Dragon Knight is here too, news of this might end up reaching bridal. Princess, we should retreat for now. How could you stand out more than me? I won't forgive you. Now is not the time to be concerned over such matters. I grabbed the princess's hand and intended to forcibly drag her from the guild if I have to. Just then, hey, wasn't there a quest to apprehend a pair consisting of a Dragon Knight and a girl posted on the notice board? One of the adventurers made the worst possible connection at the worst possible time. The looks of admiration they gave me earlier were suddenly replaced by ones of suspicion. They are offering quite a substantial reward for it. To be specific, they are looking for a Dragon Knight with pale blonde hair and a woman with a rough manner of speaking but great looks. The clerk said something that she had absolutely no reason to say. Ah, the adventurers are looking at me the same way a carnivore eyes a potential prey. Well, we'll handle the paperwork tomorrow. Let's go home for today, honey. Of course, darling. I want to take a bath when I get home. We put on a show of affection, intertwined our arms, and tried to leave. Don't let them escape. I have nothing against you personally, but I need to clear my tab. In this situation, no one will find out even if I grab his ass, right? All the adventurers came pouring in at once. I immediately lowered my stance and swept my covered spear in a wide arc around my feet. Whoa! Stop getting in the way. I almost fell thanks to you. A few of them had their legs knocked out from underneath them immediately, while others started tripping over the bodies of their comrades. This opened a hole in the wall of people surrounding me, so I grabbed the princess's hand and burst out. They are getting away. Stop dragging your feet and chase them down. I managed to get out of the guild somehow, but now I'm currently being chased by several adventurers with hungry looks in their eyes. This is all your fault, Rain. You shouldn't outshine me. That's now how it went down. Anyway, please keep quiet or you'll bite your tongue. Carrying her would allow me to move faster than running normally, so I lifted her over my shoulder and started running. Why are you carrying me like this? Can't you at least carry me in a princess carry? I am a princess, you know. Can you please stop getting mad at me for inexplicable reasons? Despite our current situation, the princess had a wide smile on her face like she's having the time of her life. This kind of slapstick escape is probably quite enjoyable for her. Part 9. Seems like we won't be able to go back to that town for a while. Sigh. Princess Leonore let out a huge sigh as she sat on top of the white dragon's back. I managed to shake the adventurers somehow and met up with Fate 4, who was hiding in the forests not too far from the town, after which we quickly got out of there. If they've gotten their hands this deep into the Adventurers Guild, it seems like we'll have to wait for quite some time before doing any adventuring. Ah, I wanted to be an adventurer for once. When things have calmed down a bit, let's go try and be adventurers again. You promise? It's a promise, okay? She must have really wanted to become an adventurer, I thought, as she rested her chin on my shoulder and prodded me in the back. Yes, I promise. Good, then I'll forgive you. Oh, and your tone. Yeah, it's a promise. I wonder if I'll ever get used to speaking like a punk. And hey, you promised to call me Leonore, didn't you? Oh yeah, Lo. Did I ever make that promise? TSK, you should have just gone along with it. As we chatted, the sun slowly set behind the mountains. There are no obstacles in the sky, so there won't be any problems flying through the night, but after the events of today, I was exhausted both physically and mentally. Princess Leonore seems to be in a similar situation. She rested her head on my shoulder and fought, unsuccessfully, to keep from nodding off. I spotted several lights in the mountains, so I decided to rest there for the night. The 7th day. We were staying at a small village that only had a single inn, and I just woke up. This room only had 2 beds, and Princess Leonore was sound asleep in the other one. She really was a beauty when she was quietly sleeping. What a waste. Hee, what kind of pranks am I going to pull today? She mumbled in her sleep as her face twisted into an evil grin. Let me revise that, she's no good even while she's sleeping. We managed to get away, but it might be dangerous if we don't get away from here. The guild would have sent word back to Bridal by now. If they used teleportation magic, they could easily arrange for a search party to be sent here in an instant. They would know how much distance Fate 4 can cover in one day, so it wouldn't be surprising for this village to be included in the search radius. Princess Leonore, please wake up. I almost got that naggy chancellor to fall into the pit of mud I made. You can do that as often as you want when you get back to the castle. I don't get along with him much either. That sounded really natural just now. Are you getting used to it? Now that she mentions it, I did naturally fall into that speech pattern without intending to put on an act. It seems like it won't be long now before I get used to speaking this way. Please prepare to leave. If we don't get out of here soon, they might catch up to us. Ah, right, they found us out yesterday. I'll get ready to leave immediately. If she gets the situation, then I don't need to elaborate. I quickly changed into traveling clothes, and once I was done, so was the princess. After paying the innkeeper, we headed out of the village. The forest that Fate 4 was hiding in is only a 20-minute walk away from here. Let's go to a city even further away. What about Elroad? It's famous for its casinos. I heard the prince over there is a no-good playboy, but the prime minister there is really competent. The country of casinos, Elrod, that sounds great. Right, it's decided then. We whiled time away talking about what we were going to do when we got there, and before I knew it, we arrived at the spot where Fate 4 was hiding. Sorry to keep you waiting. I bought you a chunk of meat from the town. We emerged into a clearing, and in that clearing was Fate 4, growling at the dragon knights that surrounded her. We finally found you, Princess Leonore. And, Rain. Captain. He was about a head larger than me, with a full beard, a grim expression, and a heavily muscled body. He was the one who recognized my skills despite being a minor noble, and recommended me to the Order of Dragon Knights. If I fought with all my might here, I might be able to defeat him. But there's no way I could raise a hand to someone I owe so much to. Plus, even if I defeated him, there are still the other Dragon Knights and soldiers. With Fate 4 captured, there's no way for us to escape. I did say it'd be nice if you learned to become a little more flexible in the past, but I never expected you to go this far. I always thought you were a more rational man than this. The captain placed a hand on his forehead and shook his head wearily. I didn't know I was such a bold man either. Even I was surprised I would end up like this. Wait a minute, I dragged Rain out here with me on my own will. It has nothing to do with him. The princess stepped up and desperately tried to cover for me. Princess, it's not that simple a matter. A princess runs away with one of her knights just before she is arranged to be married off. There's no way we can tell that story to the other kingdoms. The only way news of this can get out is as a tale of the young dragon knight who kidnapped the princess out of love. That's to be expected. That can't be. I really did drag him out because I wanted to. Rain is a victim too. Right, Rain. The princess grabbed me by the shoulders and yelled, Captain, this incident was all my idea. I'll accept any punishment. What are you saying? Stop messing around. This is MY. Place this man under arrest. Princess, please come this way. The captain interrupted the princess with a loud command. This is fine. The life of one man doesn't even compare to the stability of the kingdom. Plus, I was already prepared for this outcome. I bowed deeply to the princess who was slowly vanishing into the distance while still screaming for my innocence. It's been a really fun week. Thank you. It's been a short life, but I have no regrets. Actually, I do have a couple. If I die, the princess will be sad, and I won't be able to fulfill the promise I made to Fate 4 to stay with her forever. Those are my only regrets. Part 10. It's been several days since I was captured and thrown in jail. Rain Shaker. The king wishes to see you. I haven't heard my name called for a long time. I looked up and, glaring at me from the other side of the iron bars, were a few soldiers. They probably fully believe I was a villain who kidnapped the princess. Finally. It seems like the time of judgment has come. I've long since prepared for this, so I got to my feet and stepped out of the cell. Wait, I cannot allow you to appear before the king in such a state. The soldier first led me to a bathroom. For the first time in several days, I was able to bathe and properly groom myself. After I've been made presentable, the soldier led me to the throne room. In the room, beyond the rows of notables of this country, sat the king with his magnificent beard on the throne. Next to him stood Princess Leonore. The king looked stern, but I couldn't sense any intensity in his gaze. He understands that I wasn't the main mastermind and was merely caught up in this. The princess too had a dignified look on her face, unlike her usual expression. However, I couldn't help but notice that her hands were trembling. I got down on one knee and lowered my head. Rain Shaker. I had such hopes for your future. It's a pity. The king let out a huge sigh. It seemed like he really meant it. Normally, the death penalty would be most appropriate in this situation, but on account of Princess Leonore's petitions, we will not go that far. The Shaker house will be dissolved from this day onwards, and you are sentenced to exile. Never step foot in this kingdom again. Taken aback by this sentence, I raised my head in shock. I walked into this room prepared to die, so I never expected my life to be spared in such a manner. The king shot me an apologetic look before closing his eyes. The princess resolutely stared straight ahead without moving a muscle. Looking around, it seems that most of the people knew the truth behind the whole incident, and none of them raised any objections. In fact, several of them shot me sympathetic gazes. From this day forward, I will not allow you to call yourself Rain Shaker. Become a different person and go wherever you may please. Even my name was taken from me. Though, in this situation, being able to breathe for another day is already a great boon, so I'll gratefully accept it. In the early morning, while almost everyone else is still sleeping, I made preparations for travel. That's pretty much it. I packed my stuff into my backpack and left the room that was assigned to me as a knight. I was wearing the clothes that I wore when I ran away with the princess. I was no longer a knight, so such clothing suited me better. I gave a salute to the soldiers standing guard over the back gates, and they returned it in kind. After walking some distance away, I turned back towards the castle and fell into a deep bow. Right now, where should I go and what should I do? Being free is a good thing, I suppose, but I don't have a goal in mind. Whoever's hiding there, come on out. Are you pursuers? I felt a presence behind the large tree a short distance ahead. It wouldn't be strange for some bigwig to seek to have me silenced in order to prevent my secret with the princess from leaking to the other countries. It's me, Rain. The person who stepped out from behind the tree was Princess Leonore, wearing a hooded cloak. Somehow, I expected that she would try to meet up with me before I left, so I wasn't too surprised by this. Did you come here to see me off? I wanted to apologize. I'm really sorry. The princess trailed off, a rare occurrence from her. I think this is the first time I've ever seen her so depressed. What are you saying? I knew perfectly well that it was going to end up like this and went along with it. There's no need to apologize. If anything, it's really refreshing to be free like this. This was partially true, but also partially me putting on a strong front. Rain. A new marriage partner was decided for me. I planned to go along with that. Her confession didn't come as a great shock. After all, I already knew about it. Last night, after the king laid down his sentence, the princess's personal butler paid me a visit. After apologizing for the trouble that the princess has caused, he also said something like this. Ever since that day, the princess has become much more dignified and mature, almost as if she's a different person. I've heard that a neighboring prince fell in love after hearing rumors of her recent demeanor and sent us a new marriage request. Is that so? The princess accepted the proposal on the condition that your sentence would be lightened. She also declared that she will behave in a manner befitting that of a princess. Though I wonder how long she would keep that up. So that's why she behaved that way in front of the king. If he wanted to cover this up, it would have been much easier to just have me executed. The reason why the king couldn't do that was because of his sympathy for me and the deal the princess offered. As a king, he could probably take a breather from this. Rain, what are you going to do now? The princess's concerned voice brought me back to the present. I'm still thinking about it, but I think I'll go on a journey. Being an adventurer doesn't sound too bad either. I see. An adventurer, huh? Yeah, that sounds nice. I'm sure you will earn plenty of accolades for yourself, Rain. Princess, I'm no longer Rain. Oh yeah, then, what about calling yourself Dust from now on? That was the fake name I used back in the Adventurers Guild. Honestly, I think it's a pretty crappy name, but it's fitting for my current self. Yeah, that sounds good. In the end, we never got to adventure together. I do regret that a little. Well, there was no way we could have gone adventuring in that situation. We met, gazed, and let out a bitter smile. A lot of things happened, but I had a lot of fun. That week really was the most fun I've ever had. Now then, I should make a move. I want to talk with her a lot longer than this. I really want to, but if I spend any more time together with her, it'll just make parting ways harder and harder. In the end, I wordlessly extended my hand to her, which she simply stared at. If she were to take this hand and say, "Take me with you," I would have sworn right there that I would protect her with my life, that I would never let go of her again. It's selfish, but there is a certain part of me that thought that, perhaps this is what the princess wanted too. However, she didn't take my hand, and merely gave me a troubled smile. Seeing that, I understood everything. She has decided on the path she wanted to take. As I lowered my hand, for a brief instant, I thought I could see the princess on the verge of breaking into tears. She lifted her head towards the sky to hide that, gazing out towards the stars that have yet to be blotted out by the sun. After some time, she dabbed at the corners of her eyes and once again turned to face me. As a princess, I've decided to live for my country from now on. Rain, no, I mean, Dust, this is a parting gift for me. Saying that, she held out a sword to me. It's a magic sword. They were saying something about national treasure or whatnot, but just take it with you. If it was me in the past, I would have turned it down immediately, but there's no way I could refuse right now with her pressing it against my chest while looking at me with teary eyes. Thank you very much. As I gave my thanks, the princess suddenly moved her face towards me and pressed her lips against mine. You are my knight, so from now on, don't use your spear unless it's to protect me or someone you really want to protect. Do your best with that sword instead. Princess Leonore, her face blushing a bright red, glared at me through her embarrassment. At the very end, she once again did something reckless. Wordlessly, I walked past the princess and raised my sword. Yeah, I got it, Leonore. Tomorrow, we'll go on an adventure. Even as she laid her blushing face on the table, she still said such stuff. It's a promise. ZZZ. Finally went to sleep. After raising a fuss for an entire day, she's finally out drunk. The last time we were together, we weren't able to do any adventurer-like stuff. Perhaps that was still weighing on her mind. I was kind of afraid that people would notice something odd about Lynn after she got blackout drunk like this, but it doesn't seem like anyone is paying us much heed. It was a good idea to challenge Keith and Taylor to a drinking contest. Thanks to that, the both of them retired to their rooms long before Leonore had any chance of exposing herself. This time. Definitely. Yes, let's go on an adventure. Just this once, I replied with my old way of speaking. Chapter 3 That Promised Adventure Part 1. What are those guys doing? How can they be this late? I told them that we'd be taking on a quest in the morning, but Keith and Taylor are nowhere to be found in the guild. Even Princess Leonore, who drank a lot more than they did yesterday, is bouncing around next to me. I told Fate 4 to watch the house, but she silently changed into her rough country outfit and ate breakfast. Seems like she has every intention to go out together with us. Did they drink too much last night? I'll go wake them up. Ah, that probably won't do much good. I made them both drink this. Saying that, she brought out a small bottle from her chest. The bottle is labeled with dark green writing. I think I've seen that bottle somewhere before. Did you do it again? I have no idea what you are talking about. Did she put that sleeping potion that knocked me out back then into their drinks? If that's the case, they won't wake up before noon. I know from experience. What are you thinking? We can't go on a quest without the two of them. They have spent a lot of time with Lynn, haven't they? It'd be bad if my identity was revealed during the quest, right? Plus, with me and this little one, we can handle anything that comes our way. She casually patted Fate 4 on the head as the white-haired girl continued eating. Ah, she probably doesn't know. You know, it'd be a piece of cake if she returned to her dragon form, but there's no way we can let her do that. If someone happened to see her in her true form, it'd cause a huge uproar. White dragons are treated as symbols of wealth, and even a small fragment of their bodies can be sold for high prices. If it became known that such a creature was sighted near town, the adventurers would be tearing the place up looking for her. That's what happened last time, after all. Then what should we do? Those two are already fast asleep. She crossed her arms and puffed out her cheeks in anger. You were the one that got us into trouble in the first place. Oh fine, let's go with our usual routine. Loner, that's your cue. Can you please stop calling me Loner? I said in a loud voice, and immediately, the response came from someone seated at a table a short distance away. She had absolutely no presence at all until she shouted back, but I guess she was here after all. Turning around, seated at the table was Yun Yun, the Loner Crimson Demon. Of course, she was alone. You're free, right? Let's go on an adventure. What's with that way of inviting? Sure, strictly speaking, I am free right now, but there's still a proper way to invite someone out. A pain in the ass as usual. Even though clearly being free, she still ends up throwing a fit. I'm really sick of going through this song and dance every time I invite you. Are you coming or not? Answer in 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Wait, I'm sorry. I'll go with you. I'll join you, so please let me go with you. If you're going to come crying to me and apologizing like this, you should have just agreed from the start. Right, that's one member down. You know, I really don't think that's the right way to ask a girl out. I think I heard someone say something, but I'll ignore it. Now, let's go secure our other member. When I got up from the table, Fate 4, having finished her meal, trotted up beside me. The other two followed behind. Hey, who is the other member you're talking about? Hey, I said hey. Fine, if you are going to ignore me, I'll talk to myself about everything that happened in the past. Please don't do that. You've met the other person too. Ah, I knew it. It's our usual members. Seems like Yun Yun has an idea of who we are going to recruit. Princess Leonore doesn't seem to be quite so quick on the uptake and fell into deep thought. Well, having something to occupy her mind will make her easier to deal with, so I'll leave her be for now. I walked into the usual alleyway and came to a stop in front of the store. Negotiating is going to be a pain in the ass, so instead, I took in a deep breath. Ah, what should I do with this chipped cup that Sir Vanir asked me to throw away? Sir just used it, so it hasn't been washed. I suppose I'll just throw it out. You can't. If you are going to throw it away, give it to me instead. I'll treat it as a family treasure. Lowly Succubus hurriedly came running out of the store, staring at me with bloodshot eyes. It's honestly kind of scary. It's still early in the morning, so you don't have much to do, right? Well, sure, that's true. But never mind that. Where's Vanir-sama's cup? Great, everyone's gathered. Let's set out on our adventure. I grabbed Lolisa under my arms and started walking away. I'm still technically on the job. And why are you carrying me like a piece of luggage? And what about Vanir-sama's used cup? We're going on a quest right now, so come with me. I'll give you Sir Vanir's cup as a reward later once we are done. You should have told me that sooner. Manager, I'm heading out. I'll be back by nightfall. Lolisa shouted towards the store, and the door opened in response. Looking back, I could see the manager of the store cheerfully waving us goodbye. It's great that she has such a flexible workplace. He pretty much just kidnapped her. This is basically a crime. Princess Leonore and Yun Yun covered their mouths, whispering in voices just loud enough for me to hear. I just saved us a lot of trouble. She'd end up coming with us in the end anyways, so what difference does it make? The process of conversation is what makes interacting with others fun. This is why you aren't popular. Yeah, Lin-san. This kind of stuff is what makes people unpopular. They sure are shooting their mouths off, but just ignore it. It'd be easy to win an argument against Yun Yun by herself, but Princess Leonore is a master of wordplay, so getting into an argument with her is asking for trouble. Virgins who aren't popular are easy to trick in dreams because they lack real experience. Even if you make a few mistakes in your scenario, they won't be able to tell if it's intended or not. That makes them easy to serve. That's why you shouldn't make fun of them. Don't worry, Dus-san, I'm a very understanding woman. Keep at it. Hey, what are you trying to say? Is Lolisa trying to cheer me on with that speech or put me down in a backhanded way? Part 2. So what's the quest you took today? I didn't hear about the contents either. Is it a monster extermination quest? I was kidnapped without being told anything, so I would like it if you told me the details. Come to think of it, I haven't told them what quest we took yet. Only Fate 4 seems completely uninterested. One of the quests calls to hunt down 2 giant frogs, and the other one is to take out a giant worm. I picked them up because they both are centered around hunting giant creatures. The frogs are to secure some meat to feed Fate 4. 2 of them will probably provide enough to keep her sated for a while. Sure, I made an agreement with the princess to have her pay for her food bills, but at our current rate, she's going to run out of money before too long. Hey, I know about giant frogs, but what exactly is the other one? Ugh, I ran into that thing once when I was with Megumin. For some reason, that monster gets requested in dreams quite often. There are quite a few customers who say that they can't get enough of seeing that monster swallowing people. I think I'll pretend I didn't hear lowly succubus say that. Simply put, it's a huge carnivorous worm. Large in size, but with a really soft body, so it shouldn't be a problem for us. While it does take a lot to die, we should be fine as long as we don't get swallowed. It's an easy monster to take down, but for some reason female adventurers have a really adverse reaction to it. We tried to take on a quest to deal with one in the past, but Lin was really stubborn and kicked up a fuss over it, so we eventually had to give up. Ugh, that's the worst. I kinda don't want to fight one either. I'm fine with it. Actually, I want to see something getting swallowed as reference for the future. I want to study both men and women getting swallowed, so I'll be counting on you, Dust. Does it taste good? 2 of them seemed opposed, one of them is looking forward to it, and the last one has no idea what she's doing. The one who has no idea pulled herself onto my back and strapped herself in with my carry strap. Has she internalized that that is her place when it's time to fight monsters? I don't want to be swallowed today, and the meat doesn't sound too tasty either. Let's go take out the frogs first, the little lady will get hungry soon. Yeah. I need to do something before my entire body becomes covered in drool. My shoulder is already soaked. It seems like she's using me to carry her so she expends as little calories as possible. It's a complete reversal of our old positions, the smartass. Seems like you have your own troubles too. Seeing how drenched I was, the princess pulled away from the others and offered me her sympathies. I extended my drenched arm, and she immediately retreated. If you have any sympathy, switch places with me and carry her instead. That's a different story. When you have sympathies for someone, it means that you don't want to end up in that situation but you're sorry someone is. In other words, no. She's as direct as ever. The other 2 are quite some distance away, so we should be out of earshot. Princess, weren't you hoping to experience events that you couldn't in the castle? Being soaked in the drool of a little white dragon girl is a rare experience you can't get anywhere else. That's true, but I'd be happy going my entire life without experiencing something like that. She frowned and tried to wave me off. Ah, I smell food. Fate 4 stopped drooling and glared straight forward, where 2 giant frogs are lurking. That's the cue for the long-awaited monster extermination. Hee, I can't wait. Hey, you are supposed to be a rear-line spellcaster, so don't crack your neck and head off in front. Lin-san, leave this to me. Fariba. What are you doing? The princess interrupted Yunyan's chanting by grabbing her from behind and fondling her bountiful chest. Oh my, you have some meat on you. This is my chance to shine, so Yun-yunkin, you just sit back, okay? Yun-yun-chan? Lin-san, you kinda feel different today. Don't give it away. Ah, she drank a bit of my wine a while ago. She must be still under the effects. Ah, so she's just in high spirits after drinking a little. I get it now. We're lucky she's so gullible. She doesn't feel like a drunk person. She doesn't smell like alcohol either. She's completely different from the drunk customers that occasionally visit our store. Lowly succubus, as expected from someone who works in the service industry, isn't so easily fooled. Yun might be fine, but it seems like it's only a matter of time before lowly succubus finds out. Though, I suppose it'd be fine to tell her the truth in secret. While I'm racking my brains over this issue, the person who is the source of all this trouble doesn't seem to have a care in the world at all. Right, let me have a shot at this. I've always wanted to try this out on a living creature. Fireball. The princess casted her spell after saying some dangerous-sounding things, and an abnormally large ball of fire appeared in front of her. What is with the size of this fireball? Yun startled. Wait. That's too much. The fireball was sent off before I could stop it. The ball sailed past the 2 giant frogs and impacted against the dirt mound behind them. A loud boom resonated through the plains, followed by a wave of intense heat that buffeted everyone present. It's hot. Ow. Jaya. My face. I'm going to be toast. As we rolled on the ground to ward off the effects of the heat wave, I heard a loud smack from in front of me. Carefully raising my head towards the source of that noise, I saw the giant frog lying on the ground, their backs completely charred. Ah, I see, we got off this lightly because the frog was in the way of the heat wave. I clapped my hands together in gratitude. Did I overdo it? Princess Leonore sheepishly scratched her head. Lin-san, what happened? You are in great shape today. That was far more powerful than what you usually do. Even back in the Crimson Demon Village, they'll be startled with that level of firepower. Senpai, you are amazing. Was it really that amazing? The praise is getting to her head. Even though she was still scratching her head, her chest swelled with pride. Hey, don't let your guard down. There's still one left. Ah. The remaining giant frog snapped its mouth over Princess Leonore, swallowing her all the way down to her waist. Then, it lifted her up, leaving only her legs poking out from the giant frog's mouth. Baku, Baku. She was shouting something, but I couldn't make out her words through the giant frog. I was eaten by a giant frog once too. It's a little stinky, but it's pretty warm. How is your first time there? I asked for her opinion as I observed her legs frantically kick for help. Buge few bee. I can't understand what you are saying. Stop teasing her already. Light of saber. Union's familiar sword of light split the frog in half, and Princess Leonore, completely covered in slime, popped out. This is the worst. I'm all sticky and slimy. Dust, can you give me something to wipe myself off? Don't come too close to me. Shoo, shoo. I waved her away, in a perfect imitation of what she did just a short while ago. Oh, you sure have a nice personality. Oh fine, for today only, I'll give you the right to hug a wet and dripping beauty. Hey, cut it out. I'm already covered in this little one's drool, so don't mix frog saliva into it too. I looked back, only to realize that Fate 4 has long since crawled down from my back and started feasting on the charred giant frog. Let us both become wet and stinky. Don't think you can scare me that easily. If you have the guts, then go ahead and do it. Princess Leonore came running towards me with a smile on her face, her entire body glistening with slime, and I extended both arms like I was ready to receive her. What are those two doing? You can't see this, Fate 4-chan. Slime play. That could work. Now is not the time to concern myself with what the audience is saying. I plan to dodge at the last moment to embarrass her. A frog's internal fluids are sticky and smelly, so you can keep it all to yourself. When she's just barely a step away from me, I jumped towards the left. Heh, you can keep it to your... What? There's no way I'll reward you with a slimy hug this easily. The princess suddenly leapt in the same direction and collided with me, causing the both of us to collapse to the ground in a heap. Grah, my head. It stinks. It seriously stinks. Why did you dodge? Now that we've ended up like this, let's both get soaked. Here, here, here. Hey, stop touching me in strange places. I tried to pry the princess off me, but I couldn't get a firm grip because of the slippery slime covering the both of us. Dust, let me join you too. Fate 4 suddenly jumped in as well. It seems like she thinks we are playing some kind of game. Because Fate 4 trashed around like she was swimming, I couldn't get up at all, and the situation steadily worsened. They are completely soaked, but they look like they are really enjoying themselves. Union Senpai, do you want to join them too? Right now you'll be able to slide in very naturally. The more people I have for reference, the better. I went through a similar situation with Megumin, and I think I had enough of giant frog slime for one lifetime. I'm going to wash off the three of you at once. Create water. A large quantity of water washed over us, taking the slime together with them. I experienced something really horrible thanks to you, Dust. That's my line. If we take this to court, I'll definitely win. The three of us gather around the magically created fire to warm ourselves. We decided to take a break while waiting for our clothes to dry, so the other two were seated nearby, helping themselves to snacks. Fate 4 was happily roasting the other giant frog that we defeated. Right, that's one quest down. I've had a great experience, so I won't go out alone to fight the next monster. The best thing about adventurers is working as a team, right? Please do that. Against giant frogs, even if someone is a little reckless, there are still ways to work around that. But if we were fighting against a strong enemy, that could result in death. She's an important person in another kingdom, so if she ends up suffering a serious wound, it could end up as an international incident. If the worst does happen, I suppose I'll have to get that party priest to cast heal. Her skills in magic are top-notch, at least, so she should be able to heal her without leaving a scar. The other creature is a giant worm, right? Where does that creature live? They can be found essentially anywhere where there's soil, but they seem to prefer places with a lot of rotting leaves. Like this place. Well, even so, it wouldn't just show up out of the blue, would it? Yeah. Achoo. Damn it, I hope I haven't caught a cold. The bonfire in front of me suddenly started shrinking. No, wait, it's my body that is getting raised up. Looking down, a pink something has swallowed me up to my waist. Of all places for it to appear, it had to show up directly beneath me. Kya. It's long and pink and wriggling. It's disgusting. It doesn't look delicious. Princess Leonore shrieked and hurriedly distanced herself from me, while Fate 4 stood still and furrowed her brows. Stop talking about how you feel and do something about it. Wow, Dust-san was eaten. Monsters sure like eating bad food. So this is what it's like to be swallowed by a giant worm, huh? I see, it certainly feels a little erotic. There's something sexual about all this. I've learnt a lot today. Yeah, enough about that already, hurry up and help me. Yun and lowly succubus simply leisurely looked up at me after running over. The creature swallowed me all the way to my waist, so I couldn't even draw my sword to try and free myself. Dust-san, how does it feel inside? Please tell me about it in as much detail as you can. It'd be of great use in the future. How the hell should I know? It's warm and slimy, what else do you want me to say? Shouldn't one of you girls be doing this instead? There's no demand for a man to be in this position. Wow, you're the worst. The princess and Yun said at the same time, which was accompanied by matching cold gazes. Don't worry, Dust-san. There's demand for your side of the fence too. How is that supposed to make me not worry? As we were doing this retarded back and forth, my body was slowly sinking deeper. It's now gone from my waist to my shoulders. No joke, if this goes on it'll be seriously bad. Hurry up and help me. I'll give a special treasure to the first person who helps me. Just so we're clear, what exactly is your special treasure? that seemed to have caught the princess's interest. It's the special diet manju, handcrafted by Sirvanir, that I helped develop with him way back when. The moment they heard that, the girl's eyes took on a different shine. Are you talking about the manju with the weird mask design that even the nobility have been talking about lately? I thought they were out of stock, but there are still some left. Vanir-sama's hand-made manju? Fate 4 was the only one who didn't react to it. I didn't expect the princess to know about it, but it must have spread from Iris's servants, Claire or Rain, to the rest of the nobility. Those manjus are items that Sir Vanir developed from the fruits of tranquility girls that I helped gather for him. They ended up being a great hit and sold out almost immediately. Sir Vanir wanted to immediately increase production, but the fruits of tranquility girls aren't easy to get your hands on, so sales are currently suspended. Of course, there's no way such a valuable item would be in my possession. What I had were several buns that look the same but are filled with regular ingredients you can find at any souvenir shop. It was an imitation product I created. I'll save you right away. Freeze gust. With that, there'll be people lining up at my door asking for them. I'll be able to become really popular. Light of Saber. Vanir-sama's hand made manju. Paralyze. The three of them shot a volley of spells at the same time and instantly took the worm out. I'm a little afraid of what they'll do when they find out it was a fake. I think I'll lie low for a while after handing over the manju. So, where are the manju? Please hurry, it's a promise, right? Vanir-sama's hand-made items are like a part of Vanir-sama's body itself. Despite all of them wanting the same item, they all want it for different reasons. I'll give them to you once we get back to town. There's no way I would bring them along while we are on a quest. Oh, there was no need to rush to save you, then. The three of them turned away with disappointed gazes, while Fate 4 hurried over and stared at me. So she was worried about me. Yeah, having a good partner is worth their weight in gold. Can I eat the worm? It's best not to. The fact that no one was worried about me at all made me want to cry a little. Part 3, are we going back now? It's still bright out. After cleaning myself of saliva for the second time today, we were on our way back to Axel, but Princess Leonore voiced her discontent. Fortune, you still want to play, right? I'm full and sleepy. She turned to Fate 4 for support, but she only got a sleepy voice in response. Seems like she intends to take a nap on my back. You heard her, so stop being selfish and let's go home for today. We can always pick up another quest tomorrow. Plus, I already fulfilled my promise of taking you on an adventure. So you do remember our promise from back then. Don't give me that smile. But I want to be an adventurer for a little while more. There's no telling when Lin-chan will be discovered and they start sending people to bring me in. We might look similar to each other, but we don't act or behave the same way. I've accepted the situation, but thinking about it, Lin has been forced to play princess all this time, and there's no way she would know anything about how to behave as a member of royalty. They've probably already found out. They might have even dispatched people to look for you. Ugh, probably. They are not hiding nearby, are they? She started furtively glancing at her surroundings. Fate 4 imitated her and started looking around at her surroundings too. Dust, there's someone here. Behind that tree. I turned towards the direction Fate 4 was pointing in. Focusing, I managed to catch a glimpse of a different shadow amongst the shade cast by the tree. That bearded butler sure acts fast. Hey, I know you are there, so come on out. There really was someone? The Princess Hazelty hid herself behind me. It's a little too late for that though. Oh, to think that I would be discovered so easily. You sure are something. The person who stepped out from the shadow of the tree was a woman with long red hair wearing a red evening dress. Her bangs covered one of her eyes, and the way her cleavage almost pops out from behind that dress is extremely erotic. She's probably about as huge as Luna. What is with that fashion sense? Is she wearing it out in the boonies because she'd draw all the wrong kinds of attention if she wore that in the city? She doesn't seem like an adventurer. Maybe she's too embarrassed to wear such an outfit in town, so maybe she's secretly indulging in it where no one would see her. Could she be in the same line as me? She sure is devoted to be trying to pick up customers at a place like this. Seeing someone dressed in such an incongruous way out here made the girls start loudly whisper amongst themselves. The other woman must have heard that, for a blush started creeping across her features. Are you making fun of me? I'm not shy or a woman of the night, especially you. What did you say about my fashion sense? Whenever she made an aggressive motion, her breasts wobbled like they were about to spill out of her outfit, so I didn't feel like putting a stop to this. If anything, I want them to make her even angrier. Just a little more and they'll slip out completely. Come on, just a little more. Hey, if you trash around anymore, you'll just make this pervert happy. And the princess just had to say something unnecessary. What are you looking at, you bastard? The woman glared at me as she hastily moved to cover her up chest. Obviously I'm staring at your breasts. What, are you telling me to ignore them after dressing up in such a revealing outfit? Don't be ridiculous. If you want that then go dress in something more sensible. Don't call me a dirty old man just because I take a few glances when you wear a dress that makes your boobs seem like they are going to pop right out. I didn't say that. Occasionally I run into people like this. It's really annoying. It's not a few glances, you were staring at her so intently. You were breathing heavily too, so it's no surprise that people will call you a pervert. You had the same expression you do when you are in the store. Dust, you pervert. Damn it, not a single person is on my side. No, wait a minute. It'd be stranger still not to look when a woman wears such erotic clothing. She's definitely wearing that because she wants men to look at her. The more I say, the more the girls seem to shrink back from me. Why? I've said nothing but the truth. Dust, that's not true. True, women do sometimes choose clothes with how it would look to men in mind, but sometimes they don't want just any man to look at them, but only the one they like. Or perhaps she just likes the attention, which is why she dressed in such a flamboyant and shameless way. Princess Leonore gently placed a hand on my shoulder. The other two looked at the woman in red, who made a troubled expression. I just like this type of clothes. Is it really that strange? It's cool, right? It makes me look good, right? She mumbled as she looked down at her clothes. Sorry, I said too much. It's best to wear the clothes you like. It doesn't matter even if you have bad fashion sense. Yeah, the Crimson Demons all have a unique fashion sense, but none of them feel any shame and boldly show it off. So have more confidence in yourself. Is wearing revealing clothing really that strange? Clothes with less cloth are easier to move around in. I don't think anyone's helping. The girls had a hearty conversation about the other woman's clothes, but we still don't know who she is. As for the person in question, she ended up rolling on the ground after enduring the attack by the other girls. Anyway, who are you? Is it red that's bad, or this dress? Right, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Perrier. I have business with that woman over there. She quickly regained her composure, puffed up her chest and introduced herself. It's really a treat to see those ripe fruits bouncing back and forth. I glanced down at lowly succubus's chest, and the difference really is night and day. What, do you have something to say? If you do, spit it out. It's not good to hold it in. Lowly succubus gave me a deadpan gaze, and I gently placed a hand on her shoulder. Your breasts are really small. Grah, who would really say that out loud? Do you even know the meaning of tact and diplomacy? You are the one who told me to be honest. Why are you getting angry? I'd be crazy if I didn't get angry. She swung her arms around in large circles trying to hit me, so I pushed down on her head. Say, can you stop ignoring me? For some reason, Perrier had a fatigued expression. Come to think of it, we've been getting sidetracked all this time, so we didn't even get to hear her out. Sorry. Anyway, what are you doing here again? I ask, but I'm pretty sure she's sent by the kingdom to take Princess Leonore in. That flashy outfit of hers must be camouflage to prevent others from figuring out her true identity. Sorry, I can't give you the details. But, as I've said earlier, I have business with that girl over there. If you come with me, I won't hurt you. She seemed to have regained her composure. The woman ruffled her hair and puffed out her chest. Dust, I think she's someone hired by father or the butler. Yeah, that dress and demeanor must be part of her disguise. As we whispered to each other, someone took a big step forward and posed in front of us. I don't know what you are planning, but I won't let you take Lin-san away. Yun pointed at Perrier and said such a cool-sounding line. Her face was bright red, but that's most likely because such a scene struck a chord with her crimson demon blood. Yun is far more sensible compared to your average crimson demon, so she doesn't usually engage in such theatrics, but I suppose you can't fight against your blood. Oh, your desire to protect your friends is certainly admirable. Friends, you say? We can't really be said to be friends yet. Why are you getting embarrassed at that? Aren't Yun-chan and Lin-chan friends? Well, they are closer than acquaintances, but it's a bit of a stretch to call them friends. Yun's loner tendencies make it hard for her to make friends, but Lin tries to keep some distance between her and Yun because she's afraid that I or Keith would negatively influence her. After asking that question, the princess turned and whispered something to lowly succubus. Well, if you want to stop me, we'll have to let our strength do the talking. The great Perrier will be paralyzed. X2 the princess and lowly succubus both unleashed their spells before Perrier could finish speaking. Wagurk, being interrupted by both spells, Perrier collapsed to the ground. Seeing her twitch like that while wearing that outfit is kinda lewd. Well, that's the end of that. Another one of your underhanded tricks. You sure don't change. What are you saying? In a duel, the one who lets their guard down first loses. Also, we probably shouldn't talk about that here. She took her out in an underhanded attack, so why is she so proud about it? Is this really okay? Yun hesitantly looked between Perrier and us, seemingly somewhat disappointed at having her thunder stolen. It's fine. She's the one who picked a fight with us in the first place. Plus, she's just paralyzed. If anything, letting her go off without any wounds is a mercy from us. Though, it's doubtful that she'll learn from her actions if we just leave her like this, so maybe we should take this chance to make sure she'll never challenge us again. She's a girl, so don't go overboard, you hear? Yeah. I crouched down before Perrier, who was glaring at me despite being unable to move. The high slit on the side of her dress was flipped over when she fell, leaving her underwear just barely hidden from view. I picked up a nearby branch and prodded at the slit. Oh look, just a little more and your underwear will be visible. You can refuse, you know. If you don't do anything, I take it that you consent. Just a little more and I can see the color of her underwear. Ah, your teary-eyed and defiant gaze really is a sight to behold. Now, just a little ow-wow. What are you doing? Princess Leonore held her fist in front of her after smacking me on the head. That's a crime. I know that you are a scumbag, but you'll end up in the care of the police again at this rate. Making moves on a defenseless opponent, huh? It feels like people who have the same proclivities as darkness would really enjoy being on the receiving end. I should note this down. Pervert. There was only one person who didn't reprimand me. Come on, this is precisely the point you go all out so she'll never think of crossing our paths again. Hey, what's the big deal? I get to see her panties, and she gets to go free after just showing me her panties. It's a win-win for everyone. Perrier-san, was it? Anyway, she'd be on the losing side. Having your panties seen by a perverted delinquent is like a form of torture. Yeah, a woman's underwear should only be seen by the person she likes. Yun started lecturing me out of the blue. She couldn't win against me normally, so instead she decided to piggyback off the princess. The paralyze effect would wear off soon, so we should go. Ah, right. It doesn't look like there are any monsters around, so let's leave her here. Right. Just in case, paralyze. Now, let's go. After the princess casted her spell again, the 5 of us resumed our journey back to Axel. Part 4. After we returned to town, we parted ways with Yun and lowly succubus after receiving the money for the quests. Right now, we are enjoying a meal at the guild. Fate 4 just ate 2 giant frogs, so she seemed satisfied for now and only had a small glass of juice. They've started sending people after me. What should I do? Just give up and head back. In the first place, this body double plan has no chance of holding up for very long. Lin might look just like you, but she has no reason to act like a princess. Well, I did ask one of my trusted maids to give a letter to her, telling her to pretend to be me for a while, and I'll properly reward her afterwards. So she did think it through. Though, judging from current events, then they must have found out somehow. Lin isn't as skilled in acting as you. I even told my maid to help her. We've taken care of that woman in red somehow, but if she is here on the king's orders, she'll come knocking at our door again. They don't want to draw attention to the princess's disappearance, so they probably won't send in a large squad to search for us, but I should make some preparations, just in case. I wonder how Lin is doing now. She won't be locked up, will she? You don't have to worry about that. I made some preparations to make sure that she won't be blamed for taking my place. If anything, the old geezer is probably apologizing to her now. That person is quite strict with the princess and very capable as well, so he should understand the situation once it's explained to him. She's probably being treated as an honored guest right now. Part 5. Why won't anyone believe me? I was currently locked in a room furnished with the most expensive furniture I've ever seen in my life. All that bearded man says is, your acting is good, but it still needs work. In order to vent my frustrations, I grabbed a pillow off the 4-poster bed and prepared to fling it before thinking better of it. If I accidentally broke anything here, I don't think I'll be able to pay for it. Princess, huh? I can't believe they seriously thought I could be a princess. What a joke. I picked up a picture frame next to the bed that depicted a woman wearing a resplendent dress. She really does look like me. Scarily so, actually. She looked so much like me, I was starting to doubt if that really wasn't a picture of me. If it wasn't for the hair and a certain feature, I could show them my breasts and point out the sheer difference in size. But I'll save that for a last resort. My sense of embarrassment prevented me from taking the last step. I believe that is a wise decision. Who's there? I thought I was alone in this room, until a woman's voice called out to me. I hastily looked around and saw the maid standing next to the bed that was clearly empty just moments before. When did you? I'm a former thief who was hired to keep an eye on the princess and rein in her frequent escape attempts. I'm well versed with lurk, trap detection, and eavesdrop skills. Additionally, I'm skilled in the usage of the whip, so it comes in handy when restraining the princess. Just what kind of person is this princess? Since when have you been here? I've been here from the very start. That means you heard everything I said, right? It's embarrassing, but never mind that. If you heard all that, then you understand that I'm just an unrelated person who got caught up in all this. There's no way anyone would think me talking to myself like that was an act. Once they realize this misunderstanding, they should let me go. Yes, I am aware you are not the princess. You knew. Princess Leonore briefed me on the plan. Incidentally, in addition to being the princess's personal maid, I am also her collaborator. Plan. Collaborator. This is starting to sound really suspicious. Wait, don't tell me I wasn't caught up in this by chance? There are a lot of things I don't understand, so can I ask you a few questions? Go ahead. It's okay. I thought for sure she wouldn't tell me anything. First off, didn't you say you were hired to rein in the princess's frequent escape attempts? That was the case initially, but I've since been bought out by the princess. I'm happily collecting 2 paychecks right now. She said all that without her expression changing in the slightest. It's none of my business, but that will definitely become a huge problem if it leaks out. So, what is this plan you talked about? The princess has long since looked up to living a free life. Then, she received a certain piece of information. That there was an adventurer in Axel that looked just like her. That's referring to me, right? Precisely. The plan was to make use. Enlist the help of the lookalike to gain her freedom. This person looks sharp and has a good control over her expressions, but she's been letting her true thoughts slip out all this while. If what she said is to be believed, my current situation isn't the result of random chance, but the result of Princess Leonore's machinations. For more details, please read this letter. Princess Leonore left it behind for you. The handwriting on the letter she handed to me was truly astounding in quality. As a princess, she's probably been taught to write from a very early age. So this is what a lifetime of strict refinement looks like. Imagining her growing up under such strict conditions made me blame her a little less for placing me in my current situation. It would be interesting to see how she explains this to me. Lin-sama, my deepest apologies for involving you in this situation. I apologized, so please forgive me. It's not such a bad deal for you. After all, it's not often that commoners could live like royalty. You can indulge in all the luxuries you want, and you can be as willful and selfish as, that might not work out. People have really stopped listening to me recently. Sure, I ran away, stole a few national treasures, and blabbed about national secrets in the tavern, but even so, don't you think that's horrible? After reading till that point, I gazed up towards the ceiling. The chandelier hanging from the ceiling is clearly visible. That means that there's nothing wrong with my eyes. Say, what kind of person is Princess Leonore? Reckless, willful, and cunning would be the best terms to describe her. You sure don't mince your words. From the contents of the letter and what the maid told me, I think I have a pretty good idea of what kind of person this princess is. I gathered my bearings and continued reading. Anyway, it's no fun just to listen to me complain. On a slightly more serious note, I wanted to experience the free life of an adventurer once. Even if it is just for a few days, I wanted to live a life free from any restrictions. And there was a promise I couldn't fulfill. Promise. For some reason, that word stuck with me, even though I've never even met her once in my life. Of course, I'll compensate you for the inconvenience. Enough for you to live on and relax for a few years. So, I'd like you to pretend to be Princess Leonore for a few days. Though, I suppose the reward might be a little small for that. Oh, I know, if you can stick it out for a few days, I'll tell you some juicy details about Dust's past. I couldn't help but reread that line. Juicy details about Dust's past? What does she mean? Does the princess and Dust know each other? I was only casually skimming the letter before, but it seems like I would have to pay more attention from here on out. I straightened my posture and continued reading. That caught your interest, didn't it? If you want to know what my relationship with Dust is, you get where I'm going, right? Though, it'd be troublesome if you were to doubt what I said was true, so ask the maid to give you something once you are done reading. Oh, and if you still want to refuse after reading this, that's fine too. I've made preparations for you to be released at any time. Well, I've written quite a bit, haven't I? Linsima, I wish you the best in making your decision. That was the end of the letter. There are a lot of things I want to say, but first, I should confirm it. Miss Maid, what was the item that the princess entrusted to you? Here it is. She handed over a single photograph. On the photo showed a white dragon, Princess Leonore, and Dust, a cheerful smile on his face as he squinted at the princess. Who is this supposed to be? It gives me chills. I could feel goosebumps creeping up my body. Who is this man smiling like the gentlest of souls? I've never seen Dust make such an expression in my life. He's younger than he is now. And this white dragon is Fate Fortune, right? And this girl smiling without a care in the world must be the princess. And Dust is looking right at her. A strange feeling clawed at my chest after seeing this unknown side of Dust. So, you mean Dust used to serve under Princess Leonore? If you want more details, you're going to have to ask the princess in person. If you want to know more, do your job and act like the princess, huh? How interesting. I've been frustrated by the small snippets of information that have reached me. I don't really care much about him, but it does annoy me when someone does something behind my back. Fine, I'll play the part of the princess and get every last detail out of her. I really don't care about Dust's past, but when he goes to such lengths to hide it, it makes me just want to expose it. I really don't care about hearing old stories about Dust. As I clenched my fists, the maid broke into a slow, emotionless clap. It's great that you found your motivation. This is a win-win for everyone. Now, I'll have to make you learn at least the minimum of courtly graces in the next half day. Saying that, she spread out a piece of paper on the bed. It seems to be some kind of schedule. Say, other than sleep and food, the rest of the slot seems to be stuffed full of activities. Indeed. You'll be having dinner with a prominent nobleman tonight, so you'll have to learn your manners and proper language before then. The princess is a tomboy, isn't she? Then we don't need to strictly keep to the decorum. The worst thing about her is that she acts like an honor student in front of others. That's why she has a good reputation amongst those who don't know her truly. She really is quite the piece of work. Right then, let's start our enjoyable lesson on the manners of dining. While I was lost in thought, the maid brought in a few dishes, and I could tell at a glance that none of these dishes are stuff I've ever eaten before in my life. Just looking at them makes me salivate. Let's do our best. For the first time, the maid gave me a smile. However, she held a whip in her hand. Did I agree to this too quickly? I'm totally worn out. Still wearing my strapless silk dress, I threw myself onto the bed. I attended my first ever banquet and tried my best to act as a member of royalty, and to be honest, I have no idea if I succeeded or not. Though, the bearded butler and the maids did properly back me up, so I don't think my true identity was revealed just yet. Thank you for your hard work. Suddenly, a voice whispered in my ear. Normally, I would be surprised, but I'm so worn out right now that even the energy to react is too much. Can you stop sneaking up on me like that? Pardon me, it's a habit. Will this maid ever stop speaking like a hitman? So, did I pull off acting like a princess? I think that's worth a passing grade. That's good. I never knew pretending to be someone else would be this exhausting. I did fine today because I had a lot of allies backing me up, but if I have to keep doing this, eventually I'll have to act like a princess in front of royalty. I think I'll stop right here. Just thinking about it gives me chills. Miss Maid, can't we call this off? Unfortunately, once you've accepted, you can't back out. You're like a lone shark, she calmly replied. Seems like I have no choice but to wait for an opportunity and sneak out. Incidentally, slipping out is like a hobby for the princess, and she uses her high magic power and extreme cunning to sneak out of the castle almost every night. That's why our maids and soldiers have become very good at keeping an eye on and retrieving people. The maid warned me in advance with an expressionless face. True, the people here seem to be on the same level as first-class adventurers. Even when I went to the toilet, even though I couldn't see anyone, I could still feel several presences hovering close by. I'd probably be caught instantly if I tried to run. Did I agree too quickly? Now, it's only the first day after you've made your social debut. Seeing you like this makes me worry about your future. Oh, very well, I'll tell you a story to inspire you. A story to inspire me? What, are you going to tell me some heroic tale that'll make the children happy? Yes, it's the most famous story in our country. A rebellious princess and the dragon knight who was hailed as a genius. How would you like to hear the tale of their elopement? I lifted my body up, almost on reflex. Tell me more details about that story. Space, Part 6, and that's what happened. After hearing that story to the end, I started feeling frustrated for some reason. Hey, is that Rain person who sounds just like an ideal knight really Dust? It's not completely impossible, but I find it very hard to believe. I find the current Dust-sama to be even more unbelievable. He is like a completely different person entirely. Did he sell his soul to a devil? That's what I want to know. The two of us looked at each other and sighed. Our sighs happened to perfectly overlap with each other, and the unexpectedness of it made me let out a giggle. Unfortunately, you seem to be telling the truth. So, is it really true that he took the princess's hand and led her out? It is true that the two of them ran away together. However, the princess herself is the one who spread the story, so who knows how accurate it really is. She placed a finger on her expressionless face, so she can doubt the words her master says, even though it came from the princess herself. Lying is like breathing for her. That's why how you conduct yourself on a daily basis is important. I agree with that. Spending all this time with Dust really makes me appreciate that. Though, back when the princess was telling this story, she really looked like she was enjoying herself. For some reason, hearing that line made my frustration flare up. Even though I have no interest in who Dust was or what he did before, it just ticks me off that he kept such a secret from his party members. I really do not care if he was flirting with the princess or having a fun time with her. Oh, you seem upset. Is something to matter? Not at all. If Lin-sama could play the part of the princess perfectly, people might start to think, do we really need Princess Leonore? I wonder how frustrated the princess would feel upon seeing that. Just imagining it gives me chills. I don't really care what the princess thinks or what Dust is doing, but I do want to do something to get back at the princess who forcibly dragged me into this. I don't really know what relationship they have with each other, but a little revenge sounds apt for this situation. If you still want to refuse, I'll pay you right now and escort you back to the inn. No, it's fine. I'll keep playing the princess with you. Yes, I'm not jealous or anything, I'm just plain pissed off. Chapter 4A Conclusion for that Dragon Knight Part 1. It's been 2 days since Lin switched places with the princess. We expected someone to interrupt us while we were drinking at the tavern, but somehow, we were able to make it through to morning without any incident. Did that red-haired woman not report back to the others? But they should have sent quite a few people to secure the princess once they found out that she was a body double. Dust, I think I'll lay off the wine for a while. Me too. I can't believe that I've been asleep for an entire day. Taylor and Keith, who spent the entirety of the previous day asleep after consuming sleeping pill-infused beer, drank water with a grimace. You need to learn to drink in moderation. As the saying goes, you can drink without getting drunk. We had to get Yun Yun and Lolisa to cover for you, so be sure to go thank them later. Princess Leonore, under the guise of Lin, lectured them, even though she's the one who drugged them in the first place. I see. I'll bring them a gift as an apology later. I didn't think I drank that much. Let's let bygones be bygones. It seems like the two of you are properly reflecting on it, after all. I'll lay off lecturing the two of them today. After all, the original cause was the princess. Showing a bit of kindness every now and then wouldn't hurt. Every time you see someone in a position of weakness, you'd be the first in line to berate them and attempt to extort money. So what's with you today? Did you make a lot of money from this quest? Come on, share some of it with me. I go out of my way to be kind and this happens. Actually, I take all of that back. There's no reason to take pity on these two. You know what, I'm going to have you pay for Fate 4's food as punishment. Then I'll call it even for what happened yesterday. You have no objections, right? Go ahead and eat your fill, Fate 4. That sounds great. I'll leave it to you two'd. Thank you very much. The two of them reluctantly took charge of paying for Fate 4's breakfast. Fate 4-chan, this is today's recommended item. It's renowned for being both filling and tasty. It's a little pricey, but what about having this for dessert? A nearby waitress who overheard the conversation showed up with a menu in hand in an attempt to tempt Fate 4. Hey, don't recommend the most expensive thing on your menu. Sorry, but can you offer something cheaper instead? The two of them, knowing Fate 4's appetite, desperately tried to convince her to go for an alternative, but in the end it seems like the waitress won. The pile of plates grew larger and larger, while Taylor and Keith's spirits fell even lower. When they started drowning their sorrows in beer, the princess suddenly tugged on my sleeve. What? About what happened yesterday? I was certain that my pursuers would have come knocking on the door, so why hasn't anyone showed up? She said in a whisper, but to be honest, my other companions are probably too busy worrying about the state of their wallets to pay attention to anything we said. Who knows? Maybe that red-haired lady is late in reporting back, or perhaps is acting alone. She's sent by the kingdom, right? Look familiar to you? Not at all. I've memorized the looks of all the maids and soldiers in the castle to avoid being caught when sneaking out, but I've never seen her before. I think she's focusing her efforts in the wrong place, but for what it's worth, the princess's memory is top-notch, especially when it comes to remembering faces and names. In the princess's own words, if I can remember all that, I don't need to spend a lot of time on studying or learning etiquette. It's really convenient. Hailed as a genius, but she often focuses her wits on pulling pranks and getting up to no good. So she's a hireling. From the looks of her, she doesn't seem to be a proper professional. Most likely an adventurer or a small-time thug from another town. Or perhaps she doesn't know the details and was only told to bring me in. After all, it wouldn't do to have officials from Bridal raise a huge fuss in this country. If that's the case, I sense a lot of opportunities for entertainment in the future. Ehehe. She licked the foam of beer from her lips and let out a smile. Ah, she's planning something wicked again. Still, how should I proceed from here? It's not out of the question to hand her over the next time we meet. I do feel sorry for the princess, but I'm concerned about how Lin is doing too. Duosti, if you sell me out, I'll make sure to tell everyone about how you were when you were a knight. Especially all those salacious parts. Damn it, she saw right through me. Still, even if I don't do anything, the fact that Princess Leonore is no longer at the castle has already been revealed, and it's only a matter of time before Lin comes back to us. And when she does, it's only natural that the princess would be revealed as a fake. So that's where you were. I turned towards the source of that irritated-sounding voice, and found Perrier standing with arms crossed behind me. There's no one else with her, so she must be working alone. Say, what should we do? It seems like what happened yesterday is weighing really heavily on her. Perrier was wearing a jacket over her red dress. You did put her down pretty harshly yesterday. You best apologize. Sorry, I didn't do it out of spite or anything. I just thought it was really an eccentric sense of fashion. I really can't understand the appeal of dressing up that way, but that's up to your personal taste. It sounds like she was trying to patch things over, but all it seemed to do was inflict more damage onto Perrier. She seemed about to collapse, but was able to barely support herself by clinging onto the side of a table. Forget about my clothes. Just come with me. If you plan to resist, I don't mind going wild here, she said with a smile, but just what is she thinking? Going wild inside the tavern of the Adventurers Guild would make the entire guild your enemy. Axel might be known as the town of beginners, but due to certain circumstances, there are quite a few veteran adventurers who've made this town their home. Especially the men. I'm sure you don't want to drag innocent people into this. I don't really care about dragging them in. The princess instantly answered, and Perrier's jaw dropped wide open. What did you just say? These people have nothing to do with you at all. What of it? As long as I am fine, I don't really care about the others. Slamming her mug onto the table, the princess made a shameless declaration. I'm sure part of it is the alcohol speaking, but it's most likely at least half true. Why, you are the worst. This is why royalty are such scum. What do I care for the thoughts of the commoners? Oh ho ho. With that, she put her feet on the table and laughed. Judging from her looks, it seems like she's well into her cups. Now that I notice, there seem to be a lot more empty mugs at the table than I initially thought. She must have come to terms with the fact that she would be brought back to the castle any time now, and taken the chance to drink her fill of all the cheap wine that she normally couldn't enjoy. TSK, you must really be something to get so drunk in the middle of the day. Don't you feel any shame knowing that others are working hard out in the sun while you are sitting here getting drunk? No person in their right mind would start drinking in the middle of the day. If your family could see you, they'd be so disappointed. There's no other word than pathetic to describe you. Perrier said that in a loud voice, perhaps still bearing a grudge over her choice of clothes getting disparaged. Sigh. Have you ever been told that you can't read the mood? Ha! What are you saying? Where do you think you are? This is the tavern of the Adventurers Guild, you know. Finally realizing that she made a mistake, Perrier broke out into cold sweat and cautiously started looking around her. Well, sorry for drinking in the middle of the day, lady. Family, huh? I'm a virgin, but I do want to have a family before I die. Let me show you how wonderful alcohol is. Come over here and let's have a drink together. As other drunks started surrounding her, even Perrier couldn't help but lose her composure. What are you trying to do? I won't let you off if you do anything to me. What, you're charging? Well, name your price then. I'll give you everything I earned today, so come have a drink with me. It seems like those clothes gave them the impression that she was in the business. Cut it out. Why would I hang out with scum? Glug glug glug. A mug of beer was forced into her face while she was in the middle of talking. Are you trying to get me drunk? Heek. You won't get me drunk that easily, heek. Did she get drunk from just one mug? Despite her appearance, she seems to be a real lightweight. Oh, that's a nice drink. Come on, drink up. It'd be my treat. Bring out a barrel of wine. The lady's face blushed a bright red to match her hair and dress. Taking a seat with the group of drunks, she started drinking and completely forgot about us. What did she even come here for? Don't leave me out. I'm going to drink my fill too. You've had too much to drink. Come on, let's go outside and get you freshened up. As for you two, good luck. Taylor and Keith were so concerned with the amount of food that Fate 4 was eating that they barely glanced my way. It doesn't seem like they heard about what happened earlier either. It wouldn't be a good idea to tempt fate any further by remaining here, so I grabbed the princess and led her outside. I walked around, searching for a deserted place where she could sober up in peace, but when we exited the first alley we came across, she suddenly stopped and stared at me. Hey, what are you planning by taking me outside? You don't have anything dirty in mind, do you? Damn it, you are really annoying when you're drunk. I won't lay a hand on you. Is that because Lin-chan is that important to you? She asked in a clear voice, unlike the slurred speech she was using earlier. So you were just pretending to be drunk? Never mind that, answer me. Is Lin-chan really that important to you? I don't look that much different from her, so won't you be fine with me too? Plus my chest is bigger too. You know, in the first place. I pushed away the flushed and flirty princess who was leaning against me, placed my hands on her shoulder, and took a deep breath. Really, why did you come here? I told you, I came to pay you a visit while on the way to the capital of Belzerg. And is that really all? It wouldn't be strange for her to do something like this on a whim. However, she had no reason to deliberately let Fate 4 escape and have her pass a message. It'd be more her style to keep it a secret until she suddenly shows up from nowhere. That's the kind of person she is. Well, there is the fact that this would have been my last chance to meet with you. What do you mean? She lowered her gaze and whispered in a lonely voice. This shook me to my core. Just as I pressed closer to ask her exactly what she meant by that. I found you. To think that you'd come up with such a plan to get me drunk, you guys sure or something? The red lady interrupted us. Even though she was clearly drunk back then, she now looked completely fine. You were the one who set yourself up. Has the alcohol worked itself out of your system already? While I was drinking with them, a priest I've never seen said, "You are really bad at holding your liquor," and cast heal on me, so I'm perfectly fine now. What a nosy person. But this place is fairly deserted, so I didn't need to worry about passerbys listening in. That's perfect for our purposes. Anyway, who exactly hired you? Hire? What are you talking about? I was ordered to come here. To secure the willful princess of the kingdom of Bridal. Yeah, so you were hired by the guy who gave you that order, right? Well, I suppose you can say that. It was an order from above, after all. It feels like we are talking past each other. Incidentally, who gave you that order? It could be my father, or the butler, or perhaps the chancellor. If you ask me, the most likely candidate would be the king, followed by the butler. All I can say is that she's a general of the Demon King's army. Huh. X2 the princess and I said at the same time. Did she just mention the Demon King's army? Why are you acting so surprised? Don't play dumb now, you already knew about it, didn't you? Sorry, not at all. Not one bit. We gave our honest answers. An awkward air descended upon us. No, wait a minute. You guys prepared a body double and ran away because you knew that the Demon King's army was targeting you, right? No, that's not it. I just made use of her because I wanted to run away. This could be said to be a pretty serious situation, but we didn't feel any sense of urgency at all. So, what exactly are you doing? You didn't prepare all this to escape the clutches of the Demon King's army. The princess and I nodded in unison. Then what did I go through all that for? I was planning to negotiate because I thought you were a shrewd person who went as far as to prepare a body double, but this is what she really is like. And my dress was mocked, too. I understand very well her desire to grab her head in her hands and scream. She's just another victim who was caught up in the princess's schemes. Anyway, what does a member of the Demon King's army want with her? Since you're a member of royalty and an adventurer, you should already be aware of recent developments. The Demon King's army is planning a major invasion in the near future. Hearing that, the princess let out a gasp. I've heard some rumors about it, but hearing it directly from a member of the Demon King's army sure lends it some weight. I was traveling to the capital in order to discuss this matter. Isn't that a pretty major issue? Is it really the time to be doing something like this? It's fine. I'm just here as a diplomatic gesture. It's not like I'll be making any decisions. We whispered. I never thought such things would be taking place behind the scenes. Hey, don't ignore me and whisper amongst yourselves. That's really mean, you know. Is she really a member of the Demon King's army? Her words and actions are rough, but she also feels very human. Didn't anyone tell you that you shouldn't interrupt when someone else is speaking? If we can secure Princess Leonore as our hostage, we'll be able to seal away those pesky dragon knights that are the mainstay of the kingdom of Bridal. I see. True, if you can control the skies, you'll achieve a significant advantage on the battlefield. And the greatest threat to any flying beast would be a dragon knight. Oh, it seems like the Demon King's army has some sharp minds at work. However, you guys overlooked a critical issue with your plan. What are you talking about? What issue could we have overlooked? I pointed at the princess and loudly declared, Princess Leonore has no worth as a hostage. What are you saying? I'm the pure, smart, and beautiful Princess Leonore who is akin to the sun that shines over the kingdom. If I were to be captured by the smelly and violent Demon King's army, the entire kingdom would be awash in the tears of the citizens. Those words came out almost all at once. I almost couldn't believe that she would value herself this highly. Why yeah, that's right. Regardless of her behavior, she's still a member of royalty. And she's the first princess too, so there is no way she wouldn't have any value. You just don't get it. She does nothing but cause trouble for the people in the castle all day. They aren't able to touch her because she's royalty, but if the Demon King's army were to take care of her for them, they'd practically jump for joy. Or so I say, but that is a bald-faced lie. She might be willful and selfish, but her straightforward personality and the way she acts without care for differences in status has undeniably made her popular amongst the citizens and common soldiers. You're lying, right? I can't be that hated. Tell me you're lying, please. Princess Leonore grabbed her head and yelled at the sky. I think she's just acting to go along with me, but when it comes to her it's hard to tell what is an act and what is genuine. She's not seriously in shock, is she? True, it wouldn't be surprising for someone like her to be hated by the kingdom. Don't be convinced so easily. It's fine, I'm not hated. It'll definitely be fine, so go ahead and hold me as your hostage. Why is she offering herself as a hostage? No, actually, I think I'll pass. Just a little while would do. Just 2 days and a night would do, so hold me hostage already. The princess pressed up to Perrier's face as the other girl slowly shrunk back. What's up with this situation? You'll continue to be willful even when you are a hostage, right? Not at all. All I need is a skillful chef and a fluffy bed. Oh, and a large bath, 3 meals a day, and afternoon naps. As long as I have that, I won't throw any tantrums. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Why? I gave you a really good deal, didn't I? Could I say that the plan went well? She lost any intention of taking the princess hostage, so that is a success, right? Shut up. You're so annoying. My superiors told me to bring you in alive, but it'd be the same if I kill you here. It'd be troublesome to have any witnesses lying around, so you'll be dying here too. This girl chose the absolute worst way to lose her temper. Hey, aren't you afraid of what will happen if you disobey your superior's orders? I stepped in front of the princess. Oh, can it? I've always been bad at thinking. I can't be blamed for my boss picking the wrong person for this mission. This girl seems to have flown off her handle entirely. Still, I can't say that her actions so far have been particularly intelligent. Her boss really did pick the wrong person for the job. She tore off her jacket, and a large pair of bat-like wings sprouted from her back. Along with it, a pair of horns started growing from her head. So she was a demon, huh? Ah, I see. I thought you were just a tacky exhibitionist, but this is why you wore a dress with an open back. The princess seemed impressed by how those large wings sprouted out without damaging her clothing. Though I don't think that's where you should be focusing on. She seems like a pretty strong opponent. Dust, I'll leave this to you. After saying that with a wide smile on her face, she turned around and ran down the alleyway. Hey, she ran away on her own. Yeah, she did. Her escape was so unexpected that Perrier couldn't react in time to stop her. The two of us stared at each other. Say, is there any point to us fighting? Quiet. I'll hunt her down later, but right now I'm going to vent all my frustrations on you. Doesn't seem like she has any intention of talking at all. Perrier took off from the ground and swooped down at me. 5 long red claws left streaks in the air as she swiped them at my face. I managed to parry it with my sword, but the moment I blocked it she swiped at me with her other hand. It took all I had to hold her off. Your head isn't much to speak of, but you're pretty good when it comes to fighting. I clawed my way to becoming a general candidate solely on my strength. Even my boss gave me her stamp of approval, saying that you can count on her when it comes to fighting, at least. This kidnapping thing was supposed to be taken care of by someone else, but I ended up taking over after showing my strength. I see, so she forced the guy to hand this mission over to her. That means it's not your boss who made the wrong choice. As fellow struggling people, I feel like I would have a lot in common with your boss. After blocking her attacks, I leapt backwards in order to gain some distance. She only blindly attacks without using magic or any tricks, so in a sense she's an easy opponent to deal with, but at the same time, her physical capabilities are monstrous. The attacks come in so fast that it's taking my all just to fend her off. Her claws are a little longer than my blade, so I'm at a disadvantage when it comes to reach. Additionally, she had both hands available. I spotted an opening and tried to land a blow, but she immediately took to the air the moment she sensed the danger. Yeah, she's definitely good at this. Damn it, this might be pretty bad for me. Maybe it'd be better to run away instead of fighting it out here. But if I ran away here, she'll definitely go after the princess next. Then I can't back down now, can I? I lowered my center of gravity and raised my sword. Oh, you're not running away? You're better than I thought, but it seems like your reach is just a little too short. Oh well, I'll deal with you in a jiffy and go chase that bitch down. She soared high into the air and dove down towards me. It'd be impossible to block her blow at this speed. It's not my style, but I'll have to settle for landing a fatal blow as she lands hers. Dust, use this. A voice shouted from behind me, along with the sound of rushing wind. I dropped my sword and grabbed the thing flying towards me from behind. There's no need for me to turn to look in order to grab something that's so familiar to me. Oh, you came back. Once I cut this guy down, you'll be next. I planted the butt of my spear on the ground and pointed the tip at Perrier as she screamed down towards me. Just before she reached me, I shifted towards the side. What? There's no way for her to change directions at that speed. The only thing left where I was moments ago was a spear pointed right at her. And it is obvious what will happen if you charge towards it at full speed. I wanted to go easy on you because you're a sexy lady, but I can't do that if you go after the princess. I stepped into the princess's line of sight to shield her from seeing this grisly scene and hurried on out of there. Dust, I'm heading back. As we were passing by a restaurant, the princess suddenly said that. Where did this come from? It's bad enough that my life was targeted, but there is a chance that Linchen's life is at risk as well. It's unlikely that Perrier was the only person that the Demon King sent. Yeah, if I was the boss I'd send someone else after her too. Perrier had the skills when it came to combat, but she wasn't exactly good at using her head. Right? I'll be safer with my bodyguards, and I can't let Linchan be exposed to danger for my sake. So this will be the end of my selfishness. I had a lot of fun, Dust. Thank you. She uttered those rare, honest words of gratitude and bowed her head. Don't be so nice all of a sudden. You're giving me goosebumps. Hee hee. I won't be able to meet you like this anymore, so at the very end, at least let me act like a proper princess for once. I have to say, that unblemished smile that appeared on her face as she said that really does suit her. Part 2, Leonore is back. Open the gates. The princess stood in front of a lavish mansion in the wealthy district of Axel and boldly declared. The emblem of the Kingdom of Bridal was emblazoned on the breastplate of the guards guarding the gate. It's true, she looks just like Leonore-sama. If they hadn't told me about this in advance, I would have fallen completely for it. The guard scrutinized her before nodding to himself. What's with this guy? That's not how a soldier of the kingdom should be acting. What are you saying? That is an order from me. I won't have you say you've forgotten my face. Of course I remember your face. I faced plenty of troubles both at the castle and on the road. I've even had my salary cut 3 times for failing to stop the princess from escaping. The soldier let out a huge sigh. It doesn't seem like he recognizes the princess. Then let me through. I'll pretend I didn't hear that earlier. I can't do that. I'll keep the fact that you took the princess's name as your own a secret, so hurry up and make yourself scarce. What? Who do you think I am? You are the princess's lookalike, right? Princess Leonore is currently in the mansion, and the head butler told me that there is someone who happens to look just like the princess in the town of Axel. She might try to use her name to pull off some kind of scam, so make sure not to fall for it. This person thinks that the person currently within the mansion is the real princess. Well, I suppose I should have thought about that before. If Lin managed to successfully fool everyone into thinking that she is Princess Leonore, then obviously the one standing out here would be treated as an imposter. Are your eyes for show? Take a good look at me. Who else could such a noble face belong to other than Princess Leonore? Even the way you speak is very much like the princess. I'll admit that you really did your homework, but, really, you should give it up while you still can. Masked man over there. Can you please take her somewhere else? He's not buying it at all. Incidentally, I'm wearing a mask I bought from Servanier's store to prevent the guards from recognizing me. This situation doesn't look very good. Let's head back for now. No way. I can't believe nobody can recognize the real Princess Leonore. Ah, old man. Look over here. It's me. The princess happened to see the bearded butler, accompanied by a maid, walk past the courtyard, and enthusiastically waved towards them. The butler stared at us for a long time before raising an eyebrow and approaching us. Oh, it's the young lady that looks exactly like Leonore-sama. I've heard the rumors, but it's still surprising to see you in person. He ran a hand through his immaculately kept beard as he said that. What are you saying? I am the real one. The one inside the mansion right now is the real fake. Now, I can't have you calling Leonore-sama a fake. That's no way to speak about royalty. Indeed. Even as she is, she's still technically royalty. The maid standing next to the head butler gave an expressionless nod. Hey, wait a minute. Do you two really not recognize me? It seems like having the head butler who had been with her ever since she was born not recognize her was a major shock to her. She took several shaky steps back. The Leonore-sama currently in the mansion has some problems when it comes to the finer points of etiquette, but she's throwing herself into her studies without any complaints. This is just me talking to myself, but the entire entourage has agreed that it'd be perfectly fine if things remained like this. She's much cuter than the first Leonore-sama. Hey now, they just said something really unbelievable. Are these guys serious about having Lin take Leonore's place even after knowing her true identity? Why, you're betraying me. This is treason. A conspiracy. The princess cursed at this unexpected turn of events. What are you saying? I am merely following the princess's wishes. I hope she'll enjoy her life of freedom. I doubt she'll have access to the luxuries that she's grown used to, but I'm sure she'll have a fulfilling life ahead of her. Pooey. The maid spat on the ground without her smile cracking in the slightest. Wait, are you seriously saying that? I'll reflect on my actions, so please say you're joking. The princess tried to jump on the head butler, so I grabbed her from behind to stop her. Is Lin fine with this? Oh, that voice. I think I've heard that voice somewhere before. Well, leaving that aside, the new Leonore left a message for you. If you think that I'm more important than the princess, then feel free to bring me out. Why is Lin being so stubborn? Does it mean they told her about the past? I bowed and muttered to myself, when the maid suddenly came into my line of sight. Her face looks familiar. I think she was Leonore's personal maid. She was a thief, and had a surprisingly venomous tongue despite being almost entirely expressionless. I told her the story of the princess and the young dragon knight to kill time, after which she became really ill-tempered for some reason. She said, if he doesn't lower his head and come pick me up, I'll stay here forever, and in a sense that gave me a really nice feeling in my heart. So you were the one who did it. She must have gotten upset after hearing about the secret that I've kept from her all this time. I did promise to tell her someday, but I never got around to doing so. From the sound of things, her mood wouldn't get better unless I prostrate myself and apologize to her from the bottom of my heart. That's the story, so please leave. Though, on the off chance that you do manage to break through the security and reach the new Leonore, we will agree to trade her back for the ex-Leonore, reluctant as I am to say that. Ex, you say? I heard a trembling, rage-filled voice, so I think I'll avoid looking her way for the moment. Well, you've sure shown some real spine. I'll see if you can remain that way when the fake is taken away. I'll make sure to pay you all back when I regain my authority. Just you wait. Ho, ho, ho. The words of a mere look-alike are but songs in the wind. The princess glared angrily, but the butler seemed unfazed. They must have suffered quite a bit at her hands, so this is their opportunity to get a little payback. There's no room for me to interject. From how things look, I'm practically guaranteed to have to sneak in there to rescue her. Still, I suppose it isn't too bad. And it's unlikely that they are being serious about this. I'm sure they are only putting it this way in order to get the princess to seriously reflect on her own actions. If she returned of her own will, she'll be somewhat less willful in the future. The butler seems to be counting on that. Sighed. If the ex-Leonore were to return, that would mean an end to these peaceful days. Ah, what a pity. I can't believe we have to swap out the pure Leonore-sama who was so elated by just a dress and a meal. Sigh. The head butler and the maid let out a huge sigh. Princess Leonore, seeing their actions, started trembling with rage. Of course, we'll do everything in our power to stop you, so please be prepared if you do decide to challenge us. It's been some time since I've needed to use the skills I had developed as a thief. The two of them cracked their knuckles and struck up a confident pose. Are these two seriously intending to get in our way? Stupid. Stupid. I'll definitely make you cry. Let's go, Dust. Ah, yes. As the teary-eyed princess dragged me away, I looked back at the mansion, and met the gaze of Lin looking down at us from the second floor. Wearing that dress that ill-fitted her, she stuck her tongue out at me. She seems to be in a bad mood. Well, in order to brighten her up, I suppose I should treat this a bit more seriously. Part 3 That night, we observed the mansion from our vantage point. There were 4 soldiers in front of the gate. The crest of bridle was emblazoned on their breastplates, so they must be soldiers that they brought in from back home. Why did you drag me out here? It's work time for me now. Pinky Hair said something, but I ignored her. Beyond the gates is a wide, open courtyard. It's best to assume that there are a few more traps and guards hiding out there. Has Lin-san really been kidnapped? If that's really the case, after I rescue her, as a thank you gift, she can be my friend. The gullible loner Crimson Demon was saying something too, but I ignored her. Hey, explain exactly what is going on. I know that this Lin is just a lookalike, but what's exactly happening? Yeah, how did Lin get mistaken for Renee-san here and end up getting locked up in a nobleman's mansion? Keith and Taylor pressed me as they drew closer. I would really like to ignore them too, but I get the feeling that these guys will probably leave if I do that. I only told them Lin was in trouble in order to drag them out here, so they know nothing about the situation. Well, Renee-san is a certain noblewoman whose parents recently died. One of her relatives tried to force her into marriage in order to secure her inheritance, and she ran away to avoid that. As a result of a chance encounter, they mistook Lin for Renee, accidentally kidnapped her, and is now trying to use Lin as Renee's replacement for their own gains. That's the story the princess and I came up with in order to secure the aid of my companions. Using the old fake name of Renee does bring back some memories. I'm really sorry for causing this much trouble to Lin-sama. The princess sorrowfully said while dabbing at her eyes with a handkerchief. She's used to lying and putting on acts, so something like this is a breeze for her. My companions are all good people at heart, so they were completely taken in. I see. A nobleman who wished to force a girl to marry him, a woman who runs away because of it, landing the adventurer who took her place in a huge crisis. I feel like this situation will really appeal to a portion of our customers. I should note this down. Lowly Succubus, standing in the back, was furiously writing something down into her notepad. Doesn't that mean Lin-san is in really big trouble? If a villain is involved, everything changes. As a Crimson Demon, I won't let such a situation slip me by. Yun is surprisingly enthusiastic about this. I guess the Crimson Demons do have a penchant for games of justice. If Lin is in danger, I can't ignore this. You can count on my help on this matter. She's the only girl in our party. Without her, all that would be left is a bunch of scruffy old men. Taylor and Keith bought the story too. Still, is there a reason for us to bring the child along? Taylor's gaze was directed at Fate 4, who was clinging onto my back with the help of the carrier string. Normally she would have been sleeping soundly in bed, but instead she's having a nap on my back right now. I don't feel safe leaving her alone at the inn. Plus she's been clamoring to come along with me lately. I'll make sure she gets away if anything happens, so don't worry about it. It is true that she has been clamoring to come along with me, but the main reason I brought her along is that, as a white dragon that has made a contract with me, the closer she is to me the more powerful I grow. If push comes to shove, that will really come in handy. Right, here is the plan. First off, Yun will strip completely nude and blast away with her spells. No way. I'll definitely become a criminal if I do that. And why do I have to be nude? There's no need for that. How cheeky can she be to interrupt me before I could even finish outlining the first part of my perfect plan? It'll be fine. It's the middle of the night, so no one will be looking. That's not the problem. If you want to do that so badly, why don't you do it yourself, Dust-san? I don't mind committing minor crimes, but major crimes like that are a little. Don't make me do anything that gives you pause, Dust-san. Yeah, stop messing around with stupid plans like that and think of something more realistic. I support the nudity, but at least try and use your brain a little. Taylor and Keith joined Yun in lecturing me. I really racked my brains coming up with that plan. Okay, fine, why don't you guys come up with something? If my plan is so stupid, then I'm sure you'll be able to come up with a plan I can get aboard with easily, right? I looked at my companions in turn before stopping in front of Yun. Me. Maybe we could ask the guard at the gates to please return Lin-san to us. Oh, that's a good plan. As the person who came up with it, I'm sure you have no issues going up and asking him yourself. Me. You want me to go? Dust, aren't you being a little too cruel there? What's so cruel, Taylor-san? If you are going to raise objections to my plan, then I'm sure you would have an alternative plan in mind, right? It's easy to just criticize, after all. So go on. Yun gave me a fearful look before stepping out of the shadows and inching towards the gate, trembling and looking every which way as she did. She's pretty much the textbook example of a suspicious person. She started talking to the gatekeeper, though due to the distance I wasn't able to make out exactly what they are saying. After some time, she dejectedly came wandering back towards us. He told me that girls shouldn't be out alone this late. You're totally useless. Does anyone else have another plan? Everyone averted their gaze at once. They are afraid to say anything because they know they'll be asked to carry it out if they do. Let me explain my plan. The only person who didn't avert her gaze, Princess Leonore, raised her hand. Oh, do you have something interesting in mind? Something like that. The noble in charge might be a villain, but the underlings under his command know nothing about what's really happening, so I would like to avoid harming them as much as possible. So we should do this. Everyone leaned in to listen to her whispers. First, we should split up into 2 teams, one to sneak into the mansion to rescue Lin-san, and the other to stay outside here to cause a distraction. Splitting into 2, huh? True, taking them head-on and forcing our way in is impossible, so having a smaller team would make it easier to sneak in undetected. I'm fine with it. The issue is how to split everyone. Seems like Taylor and Keith are in on it. About that, the team sneaking in should be me, Renee, Fate 4, and Lolisa. What do you think of that? I'm going in too. Lowly Succubus pointed at herself in shock, almost like she never expected to be picked at all. You're good at using mind-affecting spells, right? It'd be a great asset when sneaking in. Plus, as a succubus, it's her job to sneak into a man's room without anyone noticing in order to give him a dream, so infiltration should be an old hat for her. Wouldn't it be really dangerous to take Fate 4 with you? Yun shakily raised her hand. You're too naive in your thinking. What would you think if a man snuck into your house carrying a young girl on her back? It'd be quite a surprise, right? I would be able to take advantage of their surprise to get the drop on him. Plus, even if we happen to get captured, they'll definitely let her go. Yes, I'll definitely get them to leave her be if she gets caught. Oh, and the goal of this mission is to get me and Lin-san to swap places once again. I've managed to get some unsavory information on that nobleman during the last few days I spent in town, so I'll be able to get him to call off the wedding, the princess confidently declared, but those are all lies. To anyone who doesn't know the truth, she'd look just like an inspiring noble heroine who forged her own path through sheer will and effort. Apart from me and Fate 4, everyone else present seemed to be having such thoughts run through their heads as they watched her act. Right, then, let me get down to the details. Part 4. The order of operations was decided and everyone got into their positions. Though, in truth, most of the plan is riddled with holes and relies heavily on improvisation. A single girl walked past the gates. Perhaps because she's walking alone at night, she seemed restless and jittery, and ultimately very suspicious. Hey there, pretty thing. How about having some fun with me and the boys? Hey, your line. Ah, sorry. How about having a cup of tea with us? Tea. Are you really fine with me? You aren't mistaking me with someone else, are you? A pair of adventurers called out to her, seemingly trying to hit on a weak woman. Or it would be if it wasn't for the smile she had on her face. This wouldn't do. Yun, you need to put up more resistance. Otherwise there's no point in doing this. And Taylor, put a little more effort into your act. Sorry. I don't get asked out very often. Why yeah, you want me to act more thuggish, right? What would Keith and Dust do? We might have put the wrong people for the job. Keith is doing fine for his role, but the other two are really bad when it comes to acting. Fortunately, the three of them did manage to draw the attention of the gatekeepers with their antics, and all the men at the gate are currently looking their way. Are they hitting on her? No wait, it sounds like it might be a couple's quarrel. It might be best to stop them. And isn't that girl the one who came up earlier? Taking advantage of their distraction, Leonore, lowly succubus and I snuck up to the gates and walked past them. I was wearing the mask in order to avoid having my face recognized. We considered climbing the walls and getting in that way, but they're high enough that it wasn't a viable option. I might be able to get over the walls by myself, but not if I wanted to bring the princess along. Plus, the other side would be expecting us, so breaking in through the front might end up being more surprising. Right, we've successfully snuck into the courtyard. I've memorized the layout of the mansion, so follow me. We hid ourselves in the shadow of a large tree in the courtyard. Leonore pulled out a piece of paper from her bosom and led us. It's nice that it came in useful, but why did you have a map of the mansion on you? I had to get it. Getting out of this mansion is part of my escape plans, so naturally, I had to prepare a map of the layout beforehand. I didn't feel like complimenting her foresight at all. The courtyard is needlessly large, so there's still quite some distance between us and the mansion. There's nothing that we can hide behind between us and the main door. There are a lot of lights around too, so we'll definitely be spotted if we go through the courtyard. That's a problem. What should we do? Well, we'll just have to stick to the shadows, dodge the lights, and see where that takes us. Princess Leonore and I, along with Fate 4 clinging onto my back, crouched down and slowly made our way across. Just as we covered about 80% of the courtyard, the surroundings suddenly became a lot brighter. Jaya! My eyes! Arg, it hurts. The princess, who was coincidentally looking in the direction where the light came from, rolled around on the floor clutching her eyes. Using my hands to form a sunshade, I squinted towards the source of the light and saw the head butler striking a pose along with several maids on the roof. So you finally appeared, Beta Princess Leonore. Don't call me Beta. Even if you say that, we've all agreed to serve the new Princess Leonore. In other words, you are nothing but a look-alike. Stay right there, I'm going to turn you all into burnt bacon. Fyro, what are you doing? It's really dangerous to poke me while I'm chanting. I stopped the princess from doing something stupid, and she snapped at me instead. She was really going to shoot a fireball at him, wasn't she? I don't want to hear that from a princess who blasts away with magic at the drop of a hat. What are you going to do if the mansion catches fire? Lin is still inside, you know. I don't really care about the head butler or the maids, but I can't let any harm come to Lin. Then what are we supposed to do? Yeah. A bunch of soldiers came out from the mansion while we were talking. It seems like you're worried about Lin-sama, but there's no need for concern. She's right here. The butler stepped to the side, revealing Lin wearing a dress standing behind him. She was looking down at me with a cold stare, her arms crossed. Oh, you really did come. Yeah, I came. Let's go home, Lin. No way. Why don't you go off and flirt with that princess? Just like you did in the past. Lin puffed up her cheeks and turned away. You're not jealous, are you? Is that bad? Wait, what did she just say? She's not the kind of girl who would honestly come out and say that, right? I said, is that bad? I've heard an old story about you here, Dust. The reason why you approached me when we first met is because I looked so much like her. That's what's going on, right? You couldn't forget about the princess, right? That's not it. No, I mean, I did mistake you for the princess when we first met, but after spending so much time together, I don't want to hear your excuses. I thought you were shaping up recently. I have just a little, really just a little bit of, for you. The most important part was said too softly for me to pick up. After saying that, she stepped back, and the head butler went back to his original spot, breaking my line of sight. Ho ho ho, hearing the young ones have a sweet and sour conversation is something special. Now then, former Dragon Knight Dono, the new Princess Leonore doesn't seem to have any intention of hearing you out. What will you do next? The head butler has already seen through my identity, so I got rid of the mask I was wearing. When Lin is in a bad mood like this, it doesn't matter what I say. She won't listen to a word of it. In other words, there's only one thing left to do. That's obvious. I'm going to forcibly drag her out and prostrate myself before her. As I said that, everyone present gave me an exasperated look. Isn't there something cooler you could have said at a time like this? You've changed quite a bit, but I'm relieved to see that you're still as bad at dealing with women as ever. That bit of you hasn't changed at all. Those voices prompted me to shift my gaze, and emerging from the bushes were a pair of knights accompanied by their dragons. You guys are. Those two were my former colleagues and dragon knights. One of them was my self-proclaimed rival, and the other one was my junior who used to look up to me. Did the princess bring dragon knights as part of her entourage too? There are better ways to put that, but, in a sense, I'm a little jealous. Rain, you finally found someone you really want to protect. I turned towards the source of that voice, and met the somewhat lonely gaze of the princess. Yeah, I found someone who is important to me. I see. I suppose that's a load off for me too. You know, the date for my marriage has officially been decided. That's why I wanted to see you one last time. To see what you've become. I did hear her say something about her marriage getting decided before I left the country. I didn't keep up with news from the country after that, but, I see, you're finally getting married. Congratulations. Those words came out of my mouth without prompting. There is no longer any of the wavering from before. Hearing that, the princess gave me a smile. Then, go get the princess that you really want to protect. She gave me a slap on the back and I took a step forward. Oh, do you intend to take out this many people? We even have dragon knights on my side. What are you planning to do? These are all the elite troops that we've gathered in order to prevent the princess from escaping. Especially the maids. They were chosen based solely on their capabilities with no regard to their backgrounds or personality. You guys can show your true natures for today. He's speaking like some villain in a play. Get him, get him, get him. I'm going to turn you into ground beef. Oh, today's ingredients involve a lively human, huh? I do love making men cry. The maids produced countless weapons from nowhere. One of the maids was lovingly stroking a machete. Another one was waving around a long whip studded with barbs. You gathered yet another bunch of colorful characters. You should at least pay some attention to their personalities. So that's how they are. I never knew that. If the princess's words are to be believed, they don't usually act that way. In addition to the soldiers and those dangerous-seeming maids, there were also dragon knights present. Your odds of victory are less than 1 in 1,000. If the princess would get down on her knees and sincerely apologize for her actions, it would not be out of the question for us to accept. There's no way I would do that. Dust. Send those idiots flying. Even in this situation, the princess is still headstrong. But that's just how it should be. I didn't get all the way to this point just to see the princess grovel. Understood. It's time for me to get serious. That's your cue, Fate 4. I took off the carry strap and lowered Fate 4 to the ground. She was still yawning and sleepily rubbing her eyes, so I leaned in close and whispered into her ear. If you do well here, I'll... No, that's not it. Partner, lend me your strength. Okay. Her eyes suddenly glowed and she gave me a wide smile. Taking off her dress, her body started growing to several times her original size, and a pair of large, white wings grew from her back. In the blink of an eye, she regained her true form, a white dragon, and rubbed her cheek against me. I didn't expect that such a young girl would be a white dragon. Is that how you snuck out of the castle without anyone seeing you? I ignored the fearful and admiring voice coming from the head butler and got onto Fate 4's back. As I did so, my eyes met with the princess again, and she, with a slightly forlorn expression on her face, opened her mouth. Farewell, my knight. Instead of replying with a farewell of my own, I merely raised one of my hands. Let's go, partner. At those words, Fate 4 flapped her wings and carried me high into the sky. There's no reason for me to fight my way in on land. Watch me take Lin away in a single swoop. Sorry, but I can't let you do that. Taking back the white dragon is also one of our missions. Don't take this personally. Flying in front of me were the pair of dragons and their dragon knights. Hey, come on, this is the part where you read the mood and let us go. Don't say that. Unlike you, senpai, we are just lowly palace workers. If we let you go, our salary will be docked. Plus I always wanted to have a real fight with you once. Not just in training, but on an actual battlefield. He tossed over one of the pair of spears he was holding. Seems like you're serious. I've crossed spears with these two numerous times. I've yet to lose, but these two aren't opponents that I can take lightly. In my prime, I could have easily taken on the two of them and won, but I've since quit being a dragon knight and the two of them have kept on training. I wonder how much the gap in our abilities has narrowed. Growl. Seemingly sensing my worries, Fate 4 growled in concern. Yeah, I have you with me. Plus I don't think I've grown any weaker since I became an adventurer. If anything, I'm stronger than I was before. Not just physically but mentally too. If I wasn't strong and smart, there's no way I could have survived this long as an adventurer. Rain senpai, please forgive me. Let's do this, Rain. It's been some time since I had such a practice session. At those words, Fate 4 violently flapped her wings. To someone on the ground, Fate 4 might look like nothing more than a flash of light as she streaked through the night sky. The wind rushed against my face and pushed my hair flat. However, I kept my eyes open and focused on the other two dragon knights. I targeted my former junior who hastily got his spear into position and swept at his side. You wah. He managed to block the blow in the nick of time, but the force of the impact threw him to the side, messing up his posture. I planned to take advantage of that and take him out of the battle in a single blow, but just before my spear could reach him, I suddenly changed my target in order to stop the spear coming at my back with the butt of my own. Oh wow, you managed to block my attack even from that position. Your skills haven't rusted a single bit. I can't believe you managed to pull that off while riding on a shaky dragon. The one who got in my way was the other dragon knight, my self-proclaimed rival. Thank you, senpai. Don't let your guard down. That man isn't called a prodigy for no reason. I know that very well. I used to look up to him, after all. The look in their eyes totally changed. Breaking through them won't be simple. Let's decide this fair and square. Or at least, that's what my old self would say. Looking at the two dragon knights cutting through the air towards me, I grinned. Holding out my other hand, I snapped my fingers. What is that supposed to? What the? I suddenly feel sleepy. This is magic? But where did it? I drew closer to the two men who were trying desperately to fight off the drowsiness and knocked their weapons out from their hands before delivering a sharp blow to the stomach with the butt end of my spear. Seeing that their riders have lost their fighting spirits, the dragons slowly and carefully descended towards the ground. In a true battle, this is your most potent weapon. Wouldn't you agree? I tapped at my forehead with my fingers before looking up towards the sky. Floating right there was lowly succubus, dressed in her usual lingerie-like uniform with her arms crossed. I might be a devil, but I still think that there was something wrong with that. Weren't you supposed to have a cool fight scene to show off your good side? What are you talking about? It doesn't matter what you do as long as you win. The victor can write anything he wants into the history books. Even if you win underhandedly, it'll be written down in history as a brilliant technique. That's not the level we are talking about. She doesn't seem entirely convinced, but she did put them to sleep like the plan called, so I think I'll leave it be. We split up with lowly succubus the moment we entered the gate. I knew the enemy would focus their attention on us, so she would take to the air while we kept their attention. When I snapped my fingers, that would be the signal for her to use her magic on them. In any case, thanks for the help. You're welcome. Still, to think that Dust-san is really that rumored dragon knight. There are some truths that really should remain buried. I must make sure to never let Yun learn about this. Leave me alone. I decided to reveal my secret to lowly succubus since I knew of some of her secrets too. I'm really glad that she's so quick to catch on. All that's left is to kidnap Lin-san back. Good luck, Knight-sama. Former knight. Former. And I'm not kidnapping her, I'm taking her back. I patted Fate 4 twice on the neck. She understood my intentions and flew down to the roof of the mansion. Once the maids saw us approaching them, they scattered before Fate 4. The only person who remained in place was the head butler, who stood there watching us fly by. Stepping onto the roof, I came face to face with Lin, who stared back with half-open eyes. What are you doing here? Your princess is down there, you know. I came to pick you, kidnap you. My princess is you, Lin. Saying that, I extended my hand. I fought through the embarrassment to say those words, but Lin's reaction is surprisingly tepid. She didn't move to grab my hand, but neither did she run away. She simply stared at me. Are you embarrassed? Shut up, don't look at me. I can't help it, I'm not used to this. She turned away from me without giving me a chance to look at her face. The bits of her neck that I managed to catch a glimpse of were bright red. Fate 4 thoughtfully leaned over, so I wrapped my arms around Lin's waist and pulled her onto Fate 4's back. Kaya, what are you doing? She immediately started struggling when I plopped her down in front of me. Let's take a night stroll together. Holding on to Lin from behind, we took to the skies. As we did so, Lin calmed down. Wow, it's beautiful. So this is what Axel looks like from the skies. She let out an honest voice of amazement. This seemed to have lightened her mood, so I decided to continue with this scenic flight. Hey, Dust, is it really fine? Leaving the princess alone down there. About that, there's one huge misunderstanding you have about her. Princess Leonore is soon to be married. Lin's eyes opened to the size of baseballs and her mouth dropped wide open. Is it really that surprising? What? You're kidding, right? I mean, she eloped with you. We didn't elope, though it's true that I ran away with her. Her fiancé at that time called off the marriage arrangement, but someone else put out a marriage request. It seems like the ceremony is going to be taking place soon. I only just learnt about that though. Oh, I feel like such a fool. So, you don't have any feelings left for the princess, right? Normally I would respond with a joke or avoid the question, but I already told you, right? The princess that I want to protect right now is you, Lin. My embarrassment is almost overwhelming, but I managed to power through it. Ugh, that really doesn't suit you. Wait, you're not embarrassed, are you? Don't you dare turn around. As revenge for earlier, Lin leaned against my shoulder and started teasing me back. I get the feeling that tonight will be far more memorable than the time I flew through the night sky with the princess. Epilogue. After that night, Princess Leonore and her entourage made up and left the town of Axel, heading towards the capital of Belzerg like they originally planned. We did spend quite a bit of time flying around town on the back of Fate 4, but it was pretty late out, so it didn't seem like anyone witnessed her. It's a bit of a relief for me to know that a white dragon flying around didn't become the talk of the town. As for my relationship with Lin, there didn't seem to be any major changes. Why do you have that pathetic expression on your face? Even right now, she's eating her salad opposite from me like she usually does. Well, in truth, that's really all there is to it. After that night, she fell asleep the moment she got off the dragon after the tension bled out of her. Say, haven't you two been acting a little weird since that night? Keith suddenly interrupted with something weird. It feels like you two are a lot closer, or rather, you seem to be weirdly concerned about each other. What are you saying? There's no way I could have those kinds of feelings for Dust. It's rare to see Lin this flustered. Could it be that she is conscious of me too? Keith, stop teasing her. Even if it is true, it's between them. Though, all I can say is finally. Taylor, don't say strange stuff too. It's fine, isn't it? It's not like we should hide it from our friends. Now, whisper your love to me like you normally do. I'll kill you. Gurk. She punched me right in the face and sent me sliding back along with my chair. You bastard, even if you are hiding your embarrassment, there should still be a limit. I've had it with you. Step outside, I'm going to lecture you. That's fine with me. After you. Damn it, just as I thought we were making some progress, this happens. I should settle once and for all who is, you are. Damn you, you shot your magic at my back. I heard chanting, so I dove to the side, and a flash of light blew through where I was just moments before and flew out through the main door. TSK, you dodged that. If I didn't dodge it, I would have been dead. Even though we were having a shouting match, my companions simply laughed and looked on. Actually, not just that. Oh, it's been some time since we saw Lin and Dust go at it. I'm putting my money on Lin. I'm betting on Lin, too. Actually, Dust, hurry up and lose already. Do your best, Lin. If you need it, I'll assist you. The adventurers have started to gather around us. Why is everyone taking Lin's side? Go take a look at your everyday behavior. X4 everyone, Lin included, said the same thing. Don't say it at the same time. Damn it, what a bunch of noisy guys. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Princess Leonore, this really is the place for me. I really enjoy spending every day together with my friends. Ugh, don't attack people while they are lost in thought. You were thinking about your love anyways, right? Why are you bringing that up again? Well, if you insist on doing that, I have some plans in mind too. The only person I love is you, Lin. I boldly declared in front of a large crowd. Ooh! X3 the crowd that has gathered around us let out a rowdy cheer. Because of my unexpected declaration, all eyes present were focused on Lin. And the person in question was shaking with her head lowered, just like she was on that night. You can go ahead and leap into my chest, you know? I opened my arms to receive her hug, but she instead head-butted me in the stomach. Stop saying nonsense. There's no way I would do that. And it's embarrassing in a place like this. I didn't catch her last words, but if she's going to put on such an attitude, then I have some plans of my own too. You really let it get to your head just because I'm a little nice to you. Fine, I'll strip you naked and make you beg for mercy. If you think you can do it, then go right ahead. As usual, whenever we get into a fight, the drunken adventurers would start gathering around us and turn the entire thing into a scene. It's full of idiots, but this town is the best place to me. Everyone, please be a little quieter. The one who threw a wet blanket on the entire situation was the receptionist, Luna. Everyone present, including me, fell silent in response to the volume and severity in Luna's voice. I'm making an emergency announcement right now, so all adventurers present, please remain here for a while. Hey, come on, this level of rowdiness is nothing out of the ordinary. And what's this about an emergency announcement? Normally they would just laugh and turn a blind eye, so what's with her this time? There is some news we would like to share with everyone regarding those rumors of the Demon King's army approaching this town. Her serious tone and expression caused every one of us to simmer down immediately. Afterward, how did you like the 6th volume, everyone? This time, the truth of the rumor that Alice mentioned in Continued Explosions has been revealed. In the rumor, it was made out to be a tragic story of star-crossed lovers, but the truth is, please consult the main volume. The main character in that rumor is the princess, but in truth I had quite a bit of trouble settling on her character. Akatsuki-sensei gave me his notes, but as she is a character that doesn't appear in the main series properly, I had to flesh out her personality and decide on the specifics of her characterization by myself. As fans of KonoSuba would know, this world is full of quirky characters. Not only the main characters but the supporting characters each have their own unique personality. After Fate 4, I had to really rack my brains to come up with a character that would fit right in and not be overshadowed by the others. A character that would stand out in another series would be completely overshadowed in KonoSuba, after all. Speaking of the princess, while she might look very similar to Lin, it's actually a simple task to tell them both apart. All you have to do is to move your eyes down a little. However, it can be easily covered up with clothes, so only those close to her would notice. Also, if you look too closely, magic might start flying. Incidentally, when I first read the notes on Dust's backstory, my first impressions are, who is this supposed to be? I mean, it's Dust we are talking about, you know? That the character who is said to be even worse than Kazuma when it comes to scumminess would actually be that prodigious Dragon Knight is already surprising enough. But to think that he used to have such a personality too. The person who influenced that exemplar of a knight was that princess. Now that I think about it, isn't she the most twisted character in this story? Well, moving on from the characters, let's talk a little about the plot as well. Princess Leonore, after coming to Axel, felt that she wouldn't be able to enjoy herself fully if she was with her entourage and swapped places with Lin, who looks just like her, in order to freely enjoy herself. Well, that's the general outline. Honestly speaking, Lin just got caught up in this, the poor thing. Speaking of characters, what that troubled me most upon picking up this spin-off was how to handle the characters of Taylor and Keith. I would really like to give them more screen time and more chances to shine. Incidentally, have you all watched the movie, KonoSuba, Crimson Legend yet? Of course, I caught it in the cinema. I've mentioned this before in previous afterwards, but I was originally a huge fan of KonoSuba, so even if I wasn't in charge of writing a spin-off series, I still would have caught it on the big screen. The anime was great, but catching it in the cinema is really something else. The acoustics and visuals are great, of course, but the best thing is being able to laugh with the other people in the cinema. That sense of closeness and belonging is part of the charm of going to the cinema. The one regret I have is that I originally planned to watch it on release day, but I fell down with a cold. I would have definitely affected the other moviegoers if I watched it in that condition, so I had no choice but to wait until I had a full recovery. I went to see the movie once I've recovered, but by that time the first screening special booklets were unavailable. Ah, I really want that booklet. I wonder if the editor who reads this would be able to get his hands on it and slip it to me. To the Crimson Legend. Now then, the customary words of thanks and appreciation. Akatsuki Natsume-sensei, the 16th volume is the best. I can't wait to read the next installment. Though, as it's nearing the end, I do feel a little conflicted over wanting to read it or not. Mishima Kuron-sensei, I was really happy to see Kazuma plastered on the front cover of volume 16. Kazuma is usually stuck in the background of some other character, so seeing him take the lead with the other characters in tow is really moving. Yuki Hagure-sensei, thank you for illustrating Princess Leonore who doesn't appear in the original series. I really can't show anyone else the face I make when I admire your renderings. To everyone at the Sneaker Bunko editorial department, Mr. M in charge, and everyone else involved in getting this book to print, thank you for your continued support. Thank you very much for your work this time too. And to everyone who've picked up this volume, thank you very much. Hirokuma Short Story 1 Fate 4 and Restaurants, C. I let out a huge sigh after checking the contents of my wallet. My gaze rose towards the table, Seinai, which made me let out an even longer sigh. A mountain of plates lie on the table in front of me. Just a short while ago, this table was piled full of food that wouldn't have looked out of place at a banquet hall, but now the plates are almost all empty. I looked over at the girl hiding in the shadow of the mountain of plates. Her mouth is covered in sauce and hasn't spoken a word since she started eating, continuously shoveling food into her mouth without break. I've gotten used to seeing her like this, so it isn't surprising, but I still have to wonder where exactly in that small body of hers does all this food go. Is it tasty? Yeah, it's really tasty. She swallowed her puffed out cheeks in one big gulp before giving me a genuine, innocent smile. Well, that's good. If it was anyone else other than Fate 4, I probably would have had a few choice words for them, but, oh well, that's just how it is. Still, I'll have to get a lot more money if I want to let her have a full stomach each day. Even the underground loan sharks have stopped lending me money. They keep saying something about me refusing to pay, starting a fight, and getting them all in jail for a couple of days or something. Those guys really aren't cut out for service work. You need to be more easygoing to succeed in such an industry. While I was thinking about that, Fate 4 seemed to have cleaned the table out. I'll just ignore how she's staring at the menu. Right now I don't even have a single extra heiress left to pay for the meal. I lifted Fate 4 onto my shoulders as she stared longingly at the menu and left the store. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again. We're really looking forward to seeing you again. The waiter sent me off with a smile. Well, yes, the restaurant must be making tons of money with Fate 4 eating like that. If I were in that position, I'd be hard-pressed not to smile too. Great, now I'm flat broke. I really want to take on a quest, but Lin and the others are on break today. Normally, I would hit up the other convenient parties, but the Crimson Loner chose today of all days to be nowhere to be found, and lowly succubus brushed me off with, I'm busy helping Vonnier-sama today, so that's impossible. Damn it, just when I'm in trouble, everyone just brushes me off. What is it? When I felt someone pulling at my sleeve, and I looked down to see Fate 4 looking up at me with puppy eyes while pointing at something. I have a really bad feeling about this. What is the matter? I'm a little hungry. I followed her finger and my gaze fell upon a roadside stall. She just ate enough food to feed 10 people. I would really love to feed you, but I don't have any money right now. Oh wait, is that? As I was trying to convince Fate 4, a certain sign came into view. Big Eater Challenge. If you win, you'll get a prize in addition to the free meal. Well now, what do we have here? Dust, you are making a really ugly face right now. Ignoring what she said, I grabbed Fate 4's hand and barged triumphantly into the restaurant with that sign out front. In front of Fate 4 lies an inordinately large bowl that you would not think could fit inside such a small child. And in front of it is the restaurant owner who until now was completely at ease. I can't believe it. How could such a small child eat that much? The owner looked at the empty bowl and fell to his knees in despair. How was it? Was it tasty? It was good. Thank you for the meal. She rubbed her belly with a satisfied expression. Even for her, she would be full for now after eating such a large amount of food. Probably. Now then, Mr. Owner, isn't there something you should be giving me? Damn, I put the price that high because I knew no one would be able to finish it. Spare me your grumblings, just hand it over. Hey, let go. Stop being a sore loser and give up already. In the end, I had to forcibly wrench the bag of money from his grasp. With the reward in hand, I walked towards the door with Fate 4 in tow, before stopping right at the exit and turning back to the owner. Hey, your customer is leaving, you know? Isn't there something you are supposed to say? GRR. Thank you very much. I walked out onto the street with those forced words of gratitude at my back. Man, not only did we get a free meal, but we also made out like bandits. Fate 4 is in a good mood because her belly is full, and I am also in a good mood because my wallet is full. Today has been a great day. As I continued walking down the street, I suddenly felt another tug at my sleeve. Dust. Yeah, I get it. Wandering around, I found another store holding a similar eating contest and barged right in. Needless to say, in a few days, there wasn't a single store Axel that was offering an all-you-can-eat buffet or eating contests. Short Story 2 working part-time at the general store. Welcome, welcome. I stood in front of the store and shouted in order to attract customers. There were several people who glanced my way, but no one who bothered to take a look at the shelves. I thought working at a general store consists of arranging all the goods and waiting for the customers to drop by, but not a single customer has shown up. What are you doing? You're not trying to turn over a new leaf by doing hard labor, are you? Welcome. What, it's just Yun Yun. I thought I finally managed to get a customer, but it just turned out to be the loner, Yun Yun. If you are just here to poke fun, then go elsewhere. I'm busy over here. So did the guild finally fire you? Of course not. I just got suspended for a few days. When I got drunk and insisted on massaging Luna's boobs, some other adventurers got in the way and it all ended in a huge brawl. Damn it, it's all their fault. Probably for another stupid reason. Just leave me alone. Oh, right, do you want to buy anything? It's mostly junk though. The storekeeper is going to get angry if he hears you say that. He caught a cold and is sleeping it off. He won't hear you no matter what you say. The owner is currently sleeping in the back room. Still, I'm surprised you're actually hard at work. I would have thought you would just stand outside slacking off. I would love to, but my pay is influenced by the amount of items I sell. I'll get a huge commission if I make a sale. So, you want to buy anything? I'm working in place of the old man who's down with a cold. When we started discussing the salary, those are the conditions he laid down. Cough. If I don't do that, you'd just slack off, he said. Well, he knows me quite well. Thanks to that, my plans to laze around reading the books he has for sale have gone up in smoke. I'm a little concerned that the only person manning the store is you, but these items are genuine goods, right? Do you have any items you recommend? Ah, well, that is a pretty decent sword. I'm a spellcaster. Then, what about that huge shield over there? Have you ever seen a mage with a shield? You know, people don't like customers who are too picky. I know your heart isn't in it, but you should at least try. I can't help it. I've only just started working here. There's no way I could have gotten familiar with all the items in this store that quickly. Ah, I know, what about this? This item will bring you good luck. I highly recommend it. That's more like it. Let me see. What is this? As you can see, it's an empty wine bottle. I pulled out an empty glass bottle with the label scraped off. I did give it a good wash, but it still smells of alcohol. How is this item supposed to bring me good luck? I happened to be drinking from that bottle when I won a game of cards. You know it's pretty rare for me to win, right? Dust-san was drinking from this. Ugh. Ow. She just threw the bottle at me. What are you doing? That's my line. Why is a bottle that you drank from being sold? That's because I put a price tag on it. If I managed to sell that, all the profits would go to me. It's a perfect plan. He'll get mad at you. Haven't you heard the saying, it's only a crime if you get caught? I wouldn't know any such outlaw sayings. Tell me if you have anything to get rid of. I'll sell it for you. We'll split the profit 50/50ths. No way. I don't want to be your partner in crime. And why am I only getting half? Stop being such a stickler for the details. I was hoping to sell her something expensive, but she doesn't trust me in the slightest. She's easily tricked by others, but for some reason she has her guard up around me. Well, in that case, it would probably be better to get something valuable from her than selling stuff to her. You're a brat, but you're quite beautiful, aren't you? Where did that come from? Flattery won't get you anywhere. She says that, but her face is blushing and she's clearly embarrassed. It's not really flattery, I just said whatever came to mind. Your loner personality can't be fixed, but you are pretty to look at. Oh, I've got a great idea. Am I a genius, or what? Don't think I'm some easy woman who'll do anything you say just because you called me pretty. But I'll buy an item or two if you want. Sometimes I'm really worried for you. No, never mind that. Give me your panties. Worried. Kind words. Won't. Wait, panties. Yeah, used panties can go for quite a sum, you know? So just give me the pair you're wearing. Hey, your eyes are glowing. Why, you're kidding, right? Hey, stop chanting your spell. Magic from a crimson demon is no joke.